The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
Ah!
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pink! Stop! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Here we go, Friday, December 1st. I'm AJ Hawk sitting in for the Pat McAfee of the Pat McAfee Show, but have no worries, Pat will be with us soon enough.
Football
is what we're doing here. I'm AJ Hawk sitting in here at Pat's beautifully manicured desk. As you can see, Pat McAfee is down in Atlanta, I believe, the SEC championship game. Pat, what's happening over there?
Yeah, you don't have to believe it, baby. You can see it. It's real. I'm right in the middle of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I'll tell you what, the energy is palpable. The sphincter on top of the stadium is closed because the weather is terrible, but tomorrow, a game that is going to be talked about, not only for the college football playoff rankings and who goes in there, but a game that's potentially going to be talked about forever in the Kirby Smart, Nick Saban. Who's the alpha? Who's the real dog? Who is the GOAT? Will take place on this field tomorrow, and I'm lucky to be here, AJ, and I'm thankful that you traveled out to Indianapolis to host this glorious Feel Good Friday from that desk. Don't break anything, okay? I see you got that new haircut. I mentioned it yesterday to the boys off air. That's not the standard AJ Hawk.
Nope.
You got a little bit of a fade in there.
Oh,
It's a little bit different. Sports Clip was dancing a little bit. You look fantastic. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing, and let's have a great day today, AJ.
Oh, we are going to have a great day. In Sports Clips, I had to I take a little bit of a detour. My guy Jake actually faded me up. He's going to fade me up every couple of weeks, hopefully. But don't worry.
Guy came to his house, Pat. Guy came to his house. He didn't go get the MVP
He
treatment.
can cut everybody. He can cut. I have 3 boys that he can cut as well. I'm probably going to have my wife start getting cut by this guy. I don't know if he cuts women's hair, but he will soon enough, Pat. But I don't know if we're going to talk about hair that much, Pat. But what about last night? Did you get a chance to watch this game that we saw? We actually got a barn burner, high-scoring, high-flying, highly penalized game. Al Michaels was very upset about that, mentioning Cleet Blakeman maybe having a bit of a night on him right here as we see DK just scorching. Pat, what did you think about this?
Yeah, obviously hot start for Geno as they were targeting Bland, and DK Metcalf was doing DK Metcalf things all evening. And I know we're going to show the highlights from obviously first quarter all the way through. And if we're to keep up with all the points, shout out to the over finally coming. I think the story of the game. I think the story of the game is not only the fact that Dak Prescott continues to impress and the fact that CeeDee Lamb continues to prove that he's a proven number one, and Brandon Cooks gets in there, Ferguson does his thing, and Tony Pollard had some great runs. But for me, 3 fourth-down stops in the fourth quarter for that Dallas Cowboys defense. And I think that is a story that is going to continue to carry them. I know they hadn't beat anybody with a winning record in forever, and that was kind of the knock on them. But when push came to shove, DeMarcus Lawrence obviously shooting a gap, getting a big stop on Charbonnet here early in the fourth. This was the beginning of 3 fourth-down stops for them in the fourth quarter. It's just in this fadeaway throw that he made in the first quarter, DK Metcalf ends up obviously landing in no man's land. Don't want to catch that anyways, DB, even though you want to add to your stats there. And then to end the game, whenever they decide not to block Micah Parsons to kind of get this entire thing over with, not a good idea. I mean, that feels like you should block him. But for me, I think Seattle bounced back in a beautiful way after the Thanksgiving ass beating they got from the San Francisco 49ers. And in the Dallas Cowboys, I think they learned a lot about themselves last night. They were down 2 scores in the fourth quarter, and they end up coming back. A little bit of resiliency, a little bit of grit. I think Mike McCarthy's team is very happy this morning when they wake up that they got a win. I think the Seattle Seahawks can be pumped about the way they displayed themselves last night, and I think for the football fan as a whole, It was nice to have a primetime game that had some shootouts. Now, would I have liked to fall asleep? Would I have liked for that to be the Bears-Vikings 12-10 game from Monday night? Maybe, because I had an early flight this morning.
Sure.
But I couldn't help but stay up all night watching that thing. And then I see Tony Gonzalez drop an F-bomb after. It was a great night. It was a great night on Prime, and I think we all enjoyed the hell out of what we watched, AJ.
Yeah, we did. I think Dak Prescott just continuing to play at such a high level is constantly a story. There's all kind of stats out there when you look at different things that running or quarterbacks are doing throughout the league. I know we'll pop them up throughout the show, but man, Dak is he's playing at such a high level, and he's separating himself from the rest of the pack. So here we go. This one, most passing touchdowns since week 8. You see Dak up there at number 20. He has 20 passing touchdowns since week 8. Is that real?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And C.J. Stroud and Justin Herbert, are they the closest to him at 10?
Yeah.
That's second place is 10 touchdowns. I mean, why? I guess now I think we're starting to talk a little bit, con man, about this guy, about Dak Prescott, in a positive light, I guess, how well he's playing. Why is it now, and what are there a lot of people that are sitting there saying, "Oh, you guys just wait. The Cowboys they're gonna do this. This is great what they're doing in the regular season. What are you gonna do in the postseason?"
Yeah, sure, absolutely, and you can kind of have that for any team because they could say that about the Niners if you want, even though that's a much different situation. They had a bunch of injuries, but is there a little bit of a worry that the on-turf record for Dallas versus the on-grass record for Dallas is drastically different? And maybe it's not a big deal if they have home field advantage, but you look at the top of the NFC, the Eagles and the Niners, I believe, play on grass, and their home record versus their away record. But it's impossible to nitpick a performance like that. They were unbelievable, start to finish, the entire night. And even Seattle, I think they had a fourth down stop too in the fourth quarter when Dallas was third quarter.
Yeah, I think it was third quarter. I think it was late third quarter. Yeah.
Can we pop that graphic up, Pat? What do you think about that?
Could have kicked a field goal there too.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. But look at this: the Cowboys are 2-8 on grass, and they're 19-1 on turf. Look, the points allowed. What's the deal? Why is this the case, Pat?
Well, I think down there in Jerry World, obviously they have turf, and they've had a lot of success there. I think they're 14 straight in Dallas. I think is the record. 14-0 in their last 14 at home, which is a turf field. So obviously that's going to skew it a little bit. I think if you look back at the beginning of the season, the Dallas Cowboys were kind of hit or miss too. They were still trying to figure it out. I think when that bye week hit, I think Mike McCarthy was able to self-scout himself, calling plays for the first time in a long time. I think Dak Prescott was able to do some things. I think Mike McCarthy might have empowered Dak a little bit more post that bye week. So I understand that these stats have to mean something, but I think if you just look at them now in the last 5 games, it's hard not to maybe think to yourself, shout out to that, it's hard not to think to yourself, this is a different Dallas Cowboys team.
Yeah.
And I know Stephen A. Smith is waiting. Okay, Dak's going to do Dak, is what I assume Stephen A. said this morning. But this just feels different. And is he playing for another bag? Remember a couple years back, whenever he was playing for a bag, he had his best performance, his best year. They pay him. People didn't know because of the leg injury, was he going to get it or not? Now he's playing for another bag. I think Mike McCarthy has empowered him. I think the play calls by Mike McCarthy have been fantastic. He seems to be in his bag as well right now. I love this Cowboys team. I'm a believer. Now, I was forced to be a believer on First Take. Boys, do you remember that at the beginning of the season?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
I found myself in a position that I did not know I was going to be. Hey, Pat, do you want to do First Take every Tuesday? Oh, that'd be awesome. What a dream. I love Stephen A. I love Unc. I love Molly. I love that whole crew. Would love to be a part of the biggest show on television. Sure. I get in there in the week one, like, Pat, do you think Dak Prescott's a good quarterback? And it's like, yeah, I think he is. He just had a great, and then boom, Stephen A. attacks me. And then Shannon Sharp attacks me. And boom, boom, boom. And then they have that game where they're absolutely terrible. I think it gets the Niners early, and then the Cardinals happen, and everything kind of goes like that. And I'm all of a sudden the face of Dallas Cowboys fans on First Take. And I'm like, how the hell did this become my position? But it did make me pay attention to them more. And I think if you see the way they're playing, okay, they lose Trayvon Diggs. They weren't able to figure that out the first week he was gone. Second week he was gone. All 3 phases, okay? You think about that Aubrey kid who's kicking for him, former soccer player, now just being the kicker for the Dallas Cowboys. He goes 4 for 4 last night. Huge kicks there. He's a stud. You think about Dak. You think about that offensive line, even though they didn't really protect anybody there. You think about their tight end position with Ferguson, how good he is. It's like this team can go. This team might be able to go, and I'm a believer, pal. I don't think the turf or grass thing really matters. I believe in what we're seeing right now out of their football team. And I think if they're on turf, they're great. I think if they're on grass, they're good. And I think this Cowboys team is built to go right now. And I might be a victim of the moment, obviously.
I'm with you, Pat. I don't think the turf or grass thing matters either because what was that, a few weeks ago? They had that incredible game in Philly when it wasn't great conditions, and they probably should have won that game. They went for it a bunch of times on fourth down in the fourth quarter and didn't get it. When they ended up not having to. So they played the Eagles well. They didn't play the Niners great, but like that's who you're going to have to beat. And I think they could personally beat the Eagles because I think they could score with anybody. It's just because their defense is very opportunistic. Like Deron Bland is all there. Mike is going to get chunk plays or negative plays here. I think the Cowboys are, especially in the NFC, very good.
What's up?
AJ, how'd you feel about them saying, "Oh, is that cute, Bland? You got that little Jim Nance, Tony Romo call.
Yeah.
You got 5 pick sixes. Let's go right at him." This was kind of the conversation about Diggs last year. You know, when Diggs had all those picks and pick sixes and everything like that, there's some teams that are like, well, as a cover corner, he is a weakness for them. It's like, yeah, but he turns the ball over for him. He's basically a turnover machine. They're like, yeah, but in coverage, he's a liability. Did we see that same type of mindset last night, even though he got a pick in the second half, obviously. Yep. Shout out to Bland making up for it, getting his hands on the ball again. But is that going to be something that people are going to do, you think, going forward, AJ? That was certainly eye-opener for me early.
Yeah, it definitely was. And you see this DK one early, just not a great – if you're a DB and this happens, I'd like to talk to Darius Butler, obviously, about this. And what are your thoughts if something like this happens to you early in a game? Like, you have to have a short memory and try to figure it out and get back out there. But, I mean, just look at the physicality of DK. You want to get after DK?
Good throw.
Good luck going finding a way to stop him. But – yeah.
They were targeting him. They were targeting Bland last night.
I guess they won't. They probably won't come out and admit it if they haven't or not. But like, what if we ask them, hey, was that part of the game plan? Hey, you're going to go after Bland and say, hey, prove it to us that you can get pick sixes on us.
That throw.
Dahn.
Yeah.
And Bland could have got a second pick later. I know he got redemption and got one in the third quarter. But man, see, this is great coverage, perfect throw, unbelievable catch.
This one actually made me put a tweet out like, hey, Geno Smith actually just put a ball in a bucket, in a toilet, in a chute, in everything that you could potentially think of. That was a fadeaway ball from Geno. And it was at that moment where I'm like, maybe Geno, because it is Jerry World, it is Thursday Night Football, remembers the offense that they had last year. And with all those weapons, so as we're watching, Noah Fant last night, hell yeah. I mean, there's somebody doing it. Hell yeah. Noah Fant last night, I don't know if the thumbs up just came up on your screen or not. It just came up on mine. It was fantastic.
Missed it.
But that new emoji thing that's happening with the new iPads or whatever.
Sure. Yep.
Noah Fant with that visor.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
So cool, dude.
Huge.
So, and then jumping over guys. I mean, it was like that Seattle team has all the pieces as well. They got an incredible team over there. And I hate the fact that just a few weeks ago I said Jason Myers never misses, and
Man,
it's almost like this is my fault completely. It's almost like it's my fault completely as I'm watching this guy do his thing. And if I had to say anything, Michael Dixon, I think we need to straighten that ball up a little bit. You know, maybe the former style of kicking from Jason Myers had the ball tilted a little bit, but now that he's hitting that little slicer, maybe we need to stand the ball straight up and down a little bit on the hold. I'm not with Jason Myers every day, but this is not normal for the streak that he is currently going through. He'll be able to bounce back. But I think I learned from that Seattle Seahawks team, like, hey, they got it too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like Seattle Seahawks are a damn good football team, and it's nice to remember that every once in a while, even in an L.
Yeah.
This sucks. this whole stat here, yeah, not good for football. Now, I'm sure the ratings will be high, and they'll say that was a great primetime game and everything like that. Need to see guys launch footballs in the sky a couple times, so maybe if the boys could think about that next time, that'd be great. But anytime you have that stat right there, that means things are humming for both squads, and that's good shit. Go ahead, Ty.
No, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with Seattle, too. We were talking about it yesterday with how it is kind of like the tale of two teams going in different directions, and I think just because of recency bias, everyone was looking at what happened with Seattle against the Niners on Thanksgiving. And granted, they haven't been great the last couple weeks, but they are clearly much better than their record indicates. Like, obviously, the Cowboys looked great last night, but I think it's more so you come away or at least I came away from that game thinking like, wow, Seattle actually, like when they play their A game and when Geno is actually playing well, like they can hang with the upper echelon of the NFC, and they are clearly one of the best 7 teams in the NFC. So if they can kind of just stay the course and continue to play at least on offense like they did last night, like I think they'll be a tough out down the stretch.
Ty, you look awesome.
Had to do it. Had to do it.
You look
Big
awesome.
day tomorrow for you guys, huh?
Is that Jack Campbell?
Yes, it is.
Signed.
Yes, it is.
Signed Jack Campbell.
Go Hawks, it says.
With that mustache, dude? I mean, you are ready.
I mean, you just at some point, you know, it's hey, we got to pull out all the stops. All right, every gimmick you got in the bag, every trick you got in the bag, you got to pull it out. And And here we are on Friday. I mean, you can't hide anymore. There's nowhere to run except for straight ahead to Lucas Oil Field tomorrow. So I'm not a jersey guy, but what are you going to do? Had to throw it on. Had to, do somewhat of a little handlebar mustache, and we're ready for tomorrow. I'm feeling great.
What's the line right now?
21.5.
21.5. Is that the largest ever in the Big Ten championship?
It's probably up
That's
there.
been moving back and forth.
It has
was 21 and a
That
half
seems like
early,
a lot,
then it was
doesn't
20.
it? Doesn't
Yep.
seem like a lot, Pat?
It was 23.
Yeah, just like, go ahead.
It was 23 at one point. Now it's 22, actually.
Okay.
Wow.
It was 20 yesterday, wasn't it?
What's making it
Yeah,
move?
at one point it
Just
was.
money
yeah.
coming in.
Yeah. But
so-
health is the same for both teams right now? Like no one got hurt over the last couple of days?
new.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, just one team doesn't know how to play offense of football. So that's
right.
That's the whole thing. 22 does feel like a lot for a Big Ten championship, especially with an Iowa team that can make it ugly. And Torrey Taylor, the punter, is on the graphic we made here, so that'll tell you everything you need to know about the Iowa team. And I love it. I want to let you know I love it. Just like we thought 9 points, I thought 9 points was a bit too much last night for that Seattle team. And there was numerous times throughout that game where I was like, I know it. And then what if the Cowboys backdoor that thing? They take a shot to CD before that field goal to make it 6.
Oh, he almost got in, man.
close.
He almost got in.
Yeah. And they backdoor that thing. I would have been so pumped, but that's just not how the sports books operate. And that's just, we understand that going forward for sure, AJ.
Yeah, we do. And you mentioned CD. Like, how about how he has played this second half of the season? So far? Like, CD Lamb is unbelievable everywhere you look. And then Jake Ferguson had the big touchdown catch, too. And not scared to mix it up either, is he? You see him mixing up the whole time, all game.
Him and Frank Clark.
Yeah, Frank Clark and Witherspoon. Did you see how much trash Witherspoon was talking? I love that dude because he's laying wood on the outside, coming up against Pollard. And then he's also, even when he was getting cooked, he was still letting him know, like, I'm not going anywhere, baby. I'm staying here all night.
I do wish that we would have a chance to chat with DB today because it felt like there was an opportunity to just throw the ball deep and a pass interference would be called every time.
Yes.
Yep.
And that can't become just like, and we know Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl with that. He's potentially starting for the Cleveland Browns still because of that run and how talented he is. And he was way ahead of his time in that particular offensive strategy. But last night, there was, I think it was Woolen was running full speed and his hip barely touched a guy. It was early for Dallas. And I'm like, they're calling that. And then they started just calling that over and over again. And I would like to echo the sentiments of Al Michaels. It's like, hey, come on. You know what I mean? Like, we got a great game right now. Can't have you guys deciding like 30-yard gains, 40-yard gains out of nowhere. But I do appreciate and respect Cleve Blake. He's jacked.
Oh, yeah.
Jacked up.
Like, Cleve Blakeman is jacked up. Good personality, too. But his crew seems to call a lot of those things. If you have that crew on a game and you're a quarterback, it's like, hey, we're hucking this thing. They're going to give us a PI more likely than not. And that's a real strategy that can take place, AJ.
Yeah, and Woolen, too. You mentioned Woolen. Did you see the one on CD Lamb, too, in the second half where, he barely grabbed his shoulder? And even Kirk was saying, like, hey, I'm not seeing much here. That's just kind of two guys going after the football.
There's a tough one on Bobby Wagner as well, Pat. I don't know if you saw it late in the game. They didn't come back to a second angle, at least from when I was watching. It looked like he timed it up perfectly. He hits him, and they throw it like it was a no-brainer call. And then even Kirk they kind of went hurry up, I guess, and they didn't really get another angle. But Kirk even mentioned, like, I don't know about that one. Like, they just felt like I don't know. They think they were taking control of the game or something.
And now that we're just burying refs, who's the super genius on Amazon and NBC?
Ooh.
Terry McCauley.
Terry?
Yeah,
There it
Terry
is,
McCauley,
Terry.
yep.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron complimented him the other day. We need to stop complimenting that guy.
Okay, good to know. Noted.
I can't. I'm done with him. I have been done with him. And then last night, the Jackson Smith and Jigba touchdown, like as we're all watching the replay, we're like, that ball's clearly on the ground. And then he's like, hey, you aren't going to be able to. And he says everything like so matter of fact every single time. And it's like he was completely wrong. And they went on Herbstreit went on a full promo about Jackson Smith and Jigba's body control. And I got to see this and blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, not a touchdown, actually. Well, that's because the super genius, Terry McCauley, gets another one wrong. Who would have guessed this guy? And Aaron complimented him the other day. And when he said it, I almost was like, are we sure that guy
Same guy
is a good one? Yeah, and I know the NBC Amazon kind of thing, so now we get that guy 2 nights. That's great.
Yep.
Doesn't it show you, though, and make you appreciate Gene Steratore that much to realize, like, hey, it's not easy to be good at that gig. Like, you have to be engaging, you have to be on, like, instantly, and you have to read the game and know exactly what it's just – Gene is awesome.
Blandino's been really good too. Like I watched a lot on Sunday when I was at home, and Blandino and Steratore are
they kind of talk you through it.
Yeah.
I like that they kind of talk you through it as they're watching. They'll like tell you all the different little things that they are thinking and that the refs are thinking that they are in New York. It just I don't know. There's something about it, man. They're storytellers almost. How they're educating us on what's going on.
Yes, as opposed to just being like, yeah, I'm not getting into this again. But I don't like that Terry guy. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't know him as a person. I assume he's a good guy. Maybe. I don't know. He wants to be a ref, so, that whole thing about the trait that you have to have that particular case. And we need more refs, so I'm not going to bury all refs and everything like that. We appreciate him. Oh, yeah. But that guy, every time he opens his mouth, I'm more likely to think he's wrong than he's right. And the way he delivers his messaging, I hate. I'm sitting in my house just like, shut up. This guy. And then he gets that one wrong immediately in the first quarter. It's like, yep, this is classic Terry McAuley. This is just classic Terry. What they need to do, and Aaron kind of talked about that, we've talked about this, just give Gene a bunch of money.
Yes.
Just give Gene a bunch of money. Let him in there in the replay little dorm room they have that we saw the photo of. And just like they had that stooge Walt Anderson drop into that Monday Night Football game, just have Gene be the guy that drops into all these primetime games. Let him handle it and let him have say in this thing, but let's pay him. Let's get a sponsor to pay him. Let's get somebody to pay him, and let's get it right. Because, like, at least maybe I have faith that Gene would message into Clete Blakeman and be like, please tell your boys they don't have to drop a flag on every single play. There's 3 touchdown celebrations that had to be halted last night because these stupid refs are dropping flags that don't matter. It's like, come on, bro. It's a tough job. Tough job, I get it. But on prime time, we need to tighten this thing up for the good of the league. For the good of the league, for the good of the game, AJ.
Hey, what do you think? Do you think Clete Blakeman takes offense to when he sees the clip of Al talking about him? Well, what did Clete Blakeman running away with this one or whatever he said?
I don't know. It's not Clete's fault.
No.
Like, it's his crew, I guess. So I don't know what the delegation rules. Like, you think Clete tells the boys and his crew beforehand, like, not throwing a lot of flags today? You think that's something that he is in charge of? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know how that whole thing goes. I like Clete a lot. I'm a big Clete guy.
I was going to say he's pretty widely respected as being like very good, right? So it's not like I don't think anyone's like pointing at him and saying, "Hey, this is an issue." But also, you do wonder what those conversations are like with him and his crew before the game starts.
Yeah. Heavy is the head that wears the white cap.
True.
Heavy is the head. So Clete's going to take blame for that entire crew. But great football game last night. That wasn't the only sport that was dominating last night, though, AJ.
No,
hockey is awesome.
Yes.
Hockey had a night last night. Hockey had a puck drop, all 10 guys on the ice fight each other. Hockey had Sidney Crosby scoring a goal, which is great. Hockey had a couple other things. And then there was a goalie goal last night. A goalie goal in the NHL last night. Now, it just so happened to be Tristan Jarry, the Pittsburgh Penguins goalie, who's a freak athlete, a stud, and sometimes forgets to stop pucks. But last night showcased how incredibly athletic and awesome he truly can be. In the history of the MLB, how many pitchers have thrown no-hitters or perfect games?
Like 19 maybe. I think it's around there. Under 25 for sure.
Yeah, I think it's like 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's like 15. Do you know how many goalies have scored in the history of the NHL? I think it's like 14. So that's like what that's like the history of that's like the history of this entire thing. So whenever you see something like this, you have to acknowledge it, you have to appreciate it, and you have to think to yourself, you know what? Hockey is awesome. And last night hockey had a huge night. Frank, way to go, pal.
Yeah.
Frank, way to go to hockey last night on a nice Thursday.
I didn't do a damn thing, but it's nice to hear you acknowledge the sport and give it some love because that was a huge moment for the Penguins and Jarry specifically, who hasn't had the best year. But, man, that's a real confidence booster. That can really turn things around for the team and the boys.
Pittsburgh Penguins down 2-0 in that game at one point.
Really?
Down 2-0.
Great win.
Then Sidney Crosby comes, scores a goal. How you doing? Top shed, thank you. And then, boom, snipe.
Clean.
Snipe.
Did you say there was a full line brawl, too? Somewhere?
Yeah, it was a different game. Literally, I was watching the Thursday Night Football game, and it was an awesome game. And then I would check X, still alive.
Still alive.
For now.
Still kicking.
For now.
Still alive. And then it was like something, just another boom, boom, bang, pop. Here we go. Here we go. let's just drop in and fight
Oh,
Boston.
Sharks and
This
bees.
team-
That's how we roll.
Yeah, who would have thought the Boston Bruins would be a part of something like this? But, like, hockey had a huge night last night. And I know it's not easy to watch because sometimes the evenings that it's on, there's other stuff happening. But we're brewing right now for an end of a hockey season that is going to be awesome.
Yep.
It's just like hockey's doing it right now. And I would like to give a nice stick tap to the entire league and a big-time thank you, AJ.
Yes, I would. Oh, there, look at this. I got a little basketball. We had the play-in tournaments or the in-season tournaments. How did those go? Didn't those go off swimmingly? Everyone loved it.
Fantastic. Yeah, the first round of the knockout round starts on Monday night, but you're on top of it.
Are we painting the courts just to separate it? Like, hey, this is so we know
Yep.
these were those games.
It could be confusing because there's in-season tournament courts, there's city courts, and then there's the normal courts. So you got to
City
kind of
courts.
just
Yeah, city
Yeah, like-
city edition courts.
Oh, sweet.
Bro, it's all the Mega Bowl. It's all the Mega Bowl.
Yeah.
It's great promotion. I appreciate the fact that they're trying to do something. And I don't know if we're allowed to announce this or not, but Adam Silver's coming on the show next week.
Yes! No way!
commish.
That is awesome.
Yeah. He's coming on next week, I believe. I don't know. I don't think we're supposed to say that. Zito sent an ask if we should say it or not, and I'm just going to say it. Adam Silver's coming on the show. So
right.
Roger Goodell, once again, stop being scared. Roger Goodell.
Oh, so the NBA
Roger.
NBA commissioner is coming on. The NHL commissioner came on.
That's two.
And Raj is still scared.
Well, not to mention
Yeah,
Greg Sankey, SEC.
Greg
SEC.
Sankey, the SEC, he's coming on today. He'll be sitting right here. I got questions for him,
There's a
obviously.
commissioner.
And then the MLS commissioner pitched to come on, and we said, when Methie makes it in the playoffs,
Yeah.
that's the time.
Yep,
Then
makes
we'll
sense.
talk to him.
Let's not waste this entire thing. So, yeah, Raj,
Come dance.
Don't be a wuss.
Doors open.
doors open.
Maybe
Yeah,
if
he's
Skims
scared.
signs an NFL deal, then Roger will come on. I assume that's what Adam Silver's coming on, right? For to promote.
If we get Adam Silver and Skims, I mean, yeah, let's have a program.
That'd be
let's have a show. I think we're just going to be. This is one of those things going to ESPN that happens. You know, like we would never in a million years. First of all, we got hockey rights, which is cool.
So
that we get to
sweet.
show that
Sweet.
that happened in the past. Whenever we were just on the internet, we would have got kicked off the internet by the NHL. So like happy we get to do that. Shout out to ESPN. I'm live on the stadium. I got this setup. I mean, can you zoom that camera out a little bit? Can you look at what they do here, bro? Look at this seat that I'm at. Look at this desk. Shout out Miss Hare and shout out to everybody. Look at that. Look at this.
So sick.
That's awesome.
What a joke. What a joke. Shout out to
Unreal.
ESPN.
Nice.
Shout
Cool TV too.
Yeah, WRP 43-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went. That's the one I'm looking at down there. Obviously, it's a great screen there. But also, like Adam Silver coming on the program, that's dumb. That's not
Absurd.
supposed to happen. Can't wait to chat with him about everything they got popping off. But yeah, Monday night, Celtics Pacers. AJ, that's a big one in that in-season tournament. Tyrese Halliburton coming off his biggest game yet, 44 points last night. He's electrifying. The Pacers scored points, and the Celtics are supposed to win it all. Right? Would be a real shame.
Oh.
You guys get knocked out of the in-season tournament by the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, look,
Con.
I understand what you're saying, but we keep this jersey in the rafters for a reason, okay? I don't give a shit about the regular season anymore because last season I did with the Bruins, and I'm not doing it with the Celtics this season. Yes, we should win the in-season tournament. Yes, we should win the NBA championship, but I'm not talking about it until we get there. And, you know, just so we all know, they have these, you know, made-up ratings that they do in the NBA, like best 3 guys on the court at one time versus everyone else. Top 4 people in those fake stats, the best 3 guys, are 3 different lineups from the Boston Celtics. So I'm not worried about it whatsoever going forward.
You want to talk about fake rating? Those are stats, not ratings. But like
Yeah, you get
you want to talk about fake ratings, though. Wait until the next release of how many people are watching this show. That sounds fake. All of it sounds fake.
Yeah.
It is. I was reading through, listening to some stuff. I'm like, that doesn't sound real. I'm like, no, this is real. This is how many people. I'm like, okay. Well, that's way too many people. We need to lose a bunch. Then we need to get down a little bit.
Okay.
But all those numbers are fake. And it doesn't mean anything. You know what I know? Tyrese Halliburton is about to dunk on Porzingis' face.
Whoa!
Okay, and we're going to win the in-season tournament, and we're going to bring that thing to Indiana. We're going to have a parade
Yeah.
right past your apartment in your face, Con man.
Well, you don't want to do
Downtown.
that. You do not want to do that because if you go and past my apartment, then you're going to have to drive through about, 2 or 3 streets of poop because the bums have been out lately. But Halliburton's a fantastic player. 44. He's unbelievable. 44 points. Sometimes that's not even the best thing he does. I think he had 16 assists in the game, had no turnovers. But once again, the Celtics are the top class. Okay, the Pacers are a great story. They score points. Wemby, he's a cool story. Everyone, LeBron doing his thing at 39 doesn't matter. This is a new era. It's the Celtics era. Okay.
All right, whatever the case is, let's get back to the NFL. Purdy's doing some chit-chatting, AJ.
Yeah, Purdy, what is it? Why is he he's not really worried about this? He's not putting as much attention to this game as maybe some others. I know, Evie, we have a little clip we may be able to run. Let's see.
Feel any certain way going back to Philadelphia, place where you got injured last year? Is there anything in your mind about just going back to that location?
I mean, yeah, I got hurt there and everything, but for me, it's week 13. We're going on the road in a hostile environment. We're late in the season, so every game is obviously big for us, and so that's where I'm at with my mindset. Am I going to go back and feel a certain way? None of that. It's a new year, two new teams. Slightly different in ways. So that's how I'm looking at it.
Different 49ers players who've gone through significant injuries, like Jimmy Garoppolo in Kansas City, Navarro Bowman in Seattle, went to the stadium, gave themselves a moment to just kind of take it in about the past in that stadium. Will you give yourself a moment, or will you just game plan as usual?
I mean, usually every single game, whenever I go in the stadium, I take a little moment just to be thankful for where I'm at and in the game that I'm about to play in. So none of that changes. Am I going to go in there and get all, sentimental about, man, I've come a long way since? It's not really like that. We have a goal in mind, and I'm trying to be the best version of myself every week. So am I going to go into the game saying I want revenge and all this kind of stuff? It's not like that, So I'm just going to try to go do my job and be the best Brock that I can be for this team.
Be the
best Brock.
Best Brock he can be, Pat. That sounds pretty good to us. He's already been pretty darn good Brock for a while now, but I want to make sure we don't let this gentleman wait on the line any longer. We have a guy who comes on all the time, friend of the program. Please welcome Mr. Michael Lombardi.
Yeah!
AJ, Pat, how we doing? I love Purdy on that. I love Purdy. I want Purdy on my team. But when you say that, what he said in there, that was very Belichickian. He was very about the moment. I mean, that's really what it's about. It's a new year. And if we play this game up any bigger in week 13 than it is, then all of a sudden if you lose and, oh, my God, you can't play in the big game, and then the stories start rolling in. I love the kid. The kid's great, and he's playing great. And, Pat, let me tell you this. He's not a seventh-round pick anymore. We got to grade him the way we see him.
Hell yeah. Well, Coach, let's talk about that real quick because – Herbie kind of fell into it yesterday. Kirk Herbstreit, who we love, obviously. We absolutely love.
Yes.
And we love Kirk Herbstreit, and we love Big Ben, and we love Al Michaels. Yeah. But he basically said, you put Bryce Young in that San Francisco offense, how do you think he's doing? And then Dan Orlovsky obviously said, you put Mac Jones in that San Francisco offense, let's see how he do. Like, everybody seems to think that, and I think it's because he was Mr. Irrelevant in the seventh rounder. Yeah. People still keep that in their mind. This dude's an elite talent. I don't know why. Why do you think that is not really the conversation of this all? And every time he speaks, I feel like this dude is an elite guy for a long time. I love Brock Purdy. I think he's a top 10 guy right now already. Top 8 maybe. Yeah. I haven't gone through a list. Why is there always that narrative, you think, behind that Shanahan offense? Have we seen Jimmy G not be able to execute as well as Brock Purdy? Obviously, Trey Lance not be able to execute as well as Brock Purdy has. I think you go back to Matt Ryan. I don't know if Matt Ryan was able to execute this offense as good as Brock Purdy is right now. Like, why is that a narrative, you think, Lombo?
I think because of where he was drafted and everybody can't believe it, and that's the way the NFL is. If you don't go with the pedigree, if you are somebody who's outside the pedigree. I mean, Brady heard a lot of this early in his career. Fifth, 6th round pick. Wasn't very good, didn't start, had to alternate with Drew Henson there. But if you study the kid's background, I'm talking about Purdy, he came in, he played right away. He started, took Iowa State to levels they haven't been to in a while. So what happens is we ignore the obvious. Like Sam Howell, for example. Like Sam Howell's a 5th round pick. If you study Sam Howell's career, okay, you go back to when he played at Monroe Valley High School. And he threw for 13,000 yards, and he started for 4 years. And then he goes to North Carolina, and he walks on the campus, and he starts as a freshman. He makes all ACC, and then he's a 5th-round pick. See, I think what happens is what Bill Walsh used to say all the time is players that have too much tape on them, we tend to nitpick on them. Whereas the player that has 1 year of tape, we just tend to overlook everything. Well, he's really good. When the player with all this tape, well, why did he do this? Why did he do that? And Howell being a 5th round pick is as much of an injustice as Purdy being a 7th. People just said he can't, and guess what? He can.
Lombo, that's interesting you say that. What makes, when you're sitting there like evaluating quarterbacks, let's say, we know come springtime when the draft comes up, there's going to be all kind of talk where these quarterbacks may be drafted. What makes it so difficult to evaluate these quarterbacks where some guy like a Brock Purdy falls to Mr. Irrelevant and we see what he can do in the NFL? If they knew that, obviously be drafted higher. Like, what's the toughest thing about when you actually get in there and you evaluate these guys and you're trying to make them a top 10 pick maybe?
I think what the question's never answered is when we draft them, what are we doing with them? What offense are we going to run around them? Quarterbacks are like baseball stadiums. Baseball teams build their team around the stadium, right? If you got a short porch in left field, you want right-handed hitters. It's how you build your team. So when you have somebody like Lamar Jackson, for example, that poor kid sat in that room for 32 picks. I mean, I was screaming the whole time. There's no way he belonged in that room for 31 picks. The guy won a Heisman. He almost beat Clemson in Death Valley when they were really good. But when you drafted Lamar, you couldn't say, okay, he's coming in and playing in this offense. You had to say, okay, he throws the ball really good in the middle of the field. We need big receivers with large catch radiuses, guys that can run with it after the catch, but we're going to dominate the middle of the field, and his ability to make plays are going to extend it. But everybody looked at Lamar in a traditional fashion, like, oh, he's got to be a rhythm thrower, he's got to be a West Coast. No, you got to have a plan for every one of these guys as they go forward, and it's a hard thing. Walsh said this all the time, AJ. He said, look, very few people can coach the quarterback, but even fewer can evaluate him. And I think what the NFL is, we have way too many people giving opinions about quarterbacks that really don't know.
All right, well, I want your opinion on a guy named Dak Prescott. You've won 3 Super Bowls, obviously. Hey, congrats, Lombo.
Hey, baby, Lombo.
Thank you.
Lombo.
With Joe Montana, who was a 3rd-round pick, by the way. There it is. I mean, if Purdy and Joe Montana, like, if you just look at Purdy's numbers, like, nobody complained about Joe being a 3rd-round pick because why? Joe at Notre Dame was really good, but Joe split time at Notre Dame. He got messed up there as well. I'm sorry for interrupting, Pat.
No, I love hearing about Western Pennsylvania Paisano, great Joe Montana. Shook his hand this offseason in Hawaii. It was great. It was an absolute honor. I didn't know his legs were as skinny as they were. He's got little Evan Foxy legs, but he obviously.
He was quick.
But I'll tell you what, you put him on that court you got there at the Dome, and he would dominate. The guy got offered a scholarship at NC State when NC State was really good. And they wanted him to go down there. The football coach went over to the basketball coach and said, hey, did you see this kid play basketball? If you take him, we can maybe have him as a dual player. And they did. Norm Sloan, then the coach at NC State, said, yeah, we'll take that guy. But then he went to Notre Dame instead.
Well, hey, that baby Joe. Thank you for being awesome, Joe. I mean, that is a beautiful thing. You talk about Joe Montana, and obviously 3-time Super Bowl champion. You are Michael Lombardi. Whenever you watch Dak Prescott and this Dallas Cowboys team, especially with the win that they had last night, where there was some adversity. They're down late in that game, have to come back. They make some mistakes. 3 4th-down stops by that defense in the 4th quarter to kind of cement a win, I think, is a big deal. When you see how Dak's playing, and you see how that offense is playing, and you see the play calling that Mike McCarthy is doing, do you think this is a team that can win a Super Bowl? NFC, obviously, very difficult. We're just talking about the Niners and Brock Purdy, how good he is. But is this a team you think it's going to be a little bit different than the standard Dallas Cowboys whenever we get into the playoffs, Mike?
I think so. And I said it when Mike took over the play call, and everybody on Twitter was going crazy because Kellen Moore wasn't going to call plays anymore. What Mike was going to do, and everybody got caught up with the rhetoric, he's just going to run the ball and then he's going to throw it. No, Mike was going to take control of the game with his play calling. And you see it happen this year. The Cowboys averaged 19 points in the first half. 19 points in the first half. Okay, they only give up 8. So what does that mean? They play from in front. That allows their defense to rush the passer. What's the strength of their defense? Their pass rush. They've played 80 more plays offensively than their defense has played. So it keeps Micah Parsons fresher. It keeps all their defensive players fresher. And what they've done yesterday, their longest pass play was only 24 yards. They just out-executed Seattle, and they did what they had to do on extended drives. And I think Dak is playing really well. He's got really good rhythm to his game. He's throwing the ball. Like that broken tackle he had in the pocket, he can extend plays. The 4th down play that he gets a touchdown on that's called for holding. Look, I don't know what more the guy has to do to say he's a good player. I know he was a 4th-round pick, but that guy's a good player. Now, you're going to say, well, if he lost to Philly, look, it's not his fault. Steele, if Steele gets off the ball on the 1st down call against Philadelphia and blocks, I think it was Graham, or Sweat. I think it was Sweat. He blocks him. Maybe they're going to throw a touchdown pass there. He's playing really well, and you can't ignore it. And so is this Cowboy team. The numbers the Cowboys team have put together offensively are very similar to what the Eagles did last year in terms of dominating the first half.
Boston Connor got something for you.
Yeah, Lombo, speaking of the AFC and, the other side of the coin when it comes to the Cowboys, the team that a lot of people are talking about right now as being dead and broken are the Buffalo Bills. They're on the bye this week. Can they really do anything to kind of turn around what problems they had? Obviously, they played great against Philly and came up a little bit short in overtime. But what do you think is going to happen there? And also, there was a report that Sean McDermott definitely will be the coach this year, not in any hot water. Do you agree with that? And what do you think they need to do to kind of go back to what we all know the Bills are capable of?
Well, what they're going to do is what the Bills do anytime they get into trouble. They say, Josh, go win the game for us. Don't be the point guard that dishes it. Be the point guard that scores. So that's what they're going to do. And he can carry any team. Look, they have 5 games left. If they win 4 of those 5 games, it gives them 10 wins. The last 3 games of the season, Miami being the last one, can be winnable because Miami might not be playing for anything in that game. So they got a chance to win those 3 pretty easily. They're better than those 3. They'll be favored in all those 3 games. It comes down to the Kansas City and the Dallas game. They're going to have to find a way to win one of those games, and that gets them 10. I think the issue with Buffalo is really lies with their defense. They played 92 plays of offense yesterday. Hurts only had 52 plays, and yet they were able to score and dominate the fourth quarter like they did. I think Buffalo's got to find a way to rush the passer better. They're different than Dallas, right? Dallas gets the lead and can rush the passer. Buffalo got the lead. They couldn't rush the passer to the level that they think that they need to, the way that defense is built. Look, they never play dime. They never play base defense. They're always a nickel. They want to rush the passer.
Hey,
what's the matter?
We're freaking out headspace over here.
The date
It's been sitting on my forehead. I don't have a cough button, so I can't just speak to somebody here. So there's a lot of hand signals. I'm playing charades. My guy's crushing it over there. I appreciate it. So I apologize for not being able to optically pay attention to everything you're saying. But everything I hear you say is always fantastic. Let's talk about the big game of the weekend here, okay? It's in your backyard over there. This Niners-Eagles game. Now, when we talked to you earlier in the week, obviously the conversation was it's the big one, it's the big one, it's the big one. NFC rematch. Niners being favored on the road is a big convo. Have you swayed? Have you leaned? Has this been a tough one for you to figure out this week, Lombo? Have you like watched the film for one team and been like, you know what, yeah, I think they could, and then watch it for the other team? Yeah, I know. This has been a tough one for me because in my mind, Niners are a wagon. Eagles, also great football team. I love them. I think they have the dog mentality. But the Niners have a lot more, I think, to play for, especially after what happened in the NFC Championship, even though Brock Purdy's saying this is just week 13. What are your thoughts on this, and how has the week gone with your thoughts on this game, Lombo?
Well, it goes back and forth. What I can't quite get my hands wrapped around is what's going to be left for the Eagles at the end of the game, right? In the fourth quarter when you've got to win games. Last night we saw Seattle not be able to win the fourth quarter, right? They couldn't convert those 4th downs in the fourth. They only scored 7 points. Dallas scored 14, won the game. So to me, these games always come down to the execution in the fourth quarter. And for Philly to having played a slugfest against KC on a Monday night, 92 plays defensively against the Buffalo Bills, and then have to play again on Sunday, I worry about where are they? I'm sure they've done a great job with their rest and rehab and all that, but how much energy do they have to exert in the fourth quarter? And can they score? And can this game, the pace of the game, be controlled by them? And I think that's going to be the key. Look, both teams have philosophical the way they approach the game. They both want to rush the quarterback, put the pressure on the quarterback, let him make a mistake, and basically just win the game with their defensive front and play from in front. And I think when you go through this game, I think San Francisco right now is probably more rested and ready to do that. I'm fascinated to see what Kyle Shanahan does in terms of formations and how he's going to attack the Eagle team, which is very vulnerable. They're not good on third down, and you can if you can block them, you can throw it.
Go ahead, Ty Schmidt.
Lumbo, what about Sunday night, Chiefs-Packers? Do you think last week after the Chiefs kind of broke out of their rut and looked pretty good in the second half that they've kind of bucked that trend that they can't score in the second half? And on the other side, Packers have looked much better over the last 4 weeks. Do you think Jordan Love has done enough that they are comfortable with him kind of going into the future, obviously that young offense has matured quite a bit over the last several weeks. How do you see Sunday night shaking out?
Well, I think the Packers have done a really good job with their offensive line pass protection, and Love's done a good job improving his completion percentage and his accuracy, especially against man coverage. When Detroit tried to really clamp the receivers down, they couldn't win one-on-one on the outside. Green Bay did a great job of winning the one-on-one matchups, in terms of giving the quarterback a chance to make the throw. But remember, in the second half, it was really Detroit not being able to convert fourth downs or going for it on fourth down. It set up the Packers' only score in the second half. So I think this is a different challenge. Kansas City can rush. Kansas City can play really good man-to-man defense. So I think they're going to learn a lot about Love's future on Sunday night in Green Bay. I really do. I think they're going to give out Vince Lombardi. His grandson, John Lombardi, is going to be there at the game to accept his Hall of Fame ring. So it's going to be a tremendous celebration for him and his family. So there'll be a lot of motivation left in that. If we could only get Jack Venici's name up on the Wall of Fame, that would be better. But I think it'll be a great game. I worry about Green Bay being able to protect Green Bay being able to handle the Chiefs, especially the way Rice has played. Can they cover in the back end? They need Alexander. I think it's a close game. I don't know why the line's 6. I really don't. But the Chiefs seem to always play well in these situations.
Anthony DiGiulio, Franklin Nicholas Moraldo, and obviously me, Patrick McAfee. Not a lot of Italians out in Wisconsin. Something has to happen for you to get to Wisconsin. Sounds like there's a lot of great history of the Italians out there in Green Bay, though, huh, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. And actually, today we were looking at our Spotify. Nick and Spotify suggested we move to Green Bay. So maybe more of us should go there. I don't know.
Hey, Spotify told me that the people that listen to the type of music that I listen to, that would be Jeezy number 1, Blake Shelton number 2, Morgan Wallen number 3, Bryce Vine number 4, and then Jay-Z number 5 would typically be somebody from Pittsburgh.
Oh,
so,
nice. Hell yeah.
Shout out to Spotify
Pretty
saying,
spot on.
Look at this idiot Yinzer, basically, just right to the core. And, you listen to Jeezy when you want to work out. Been doing that since 2005. Shout out to the Snowman. Back when he was just a TRAPSTR, all the way now to the business tycoon. What a dog. Then Blake Shelton, we're having beers together. Me and Blake Shelton have beers together. Morgan Wallen and I in the car, he is awesome. Bryce Vine, good vibes.
Oh, yeah.
He does his thing. And then anytime I do business, and I have to do business, I'm calling Lombo to get his advice, and I'm listening to Jay-Z because I'm trying to become a billionaire. So that's my top 5, pretty much. And I think that's how everybody in Pittsburgh is. But, yeah, a lot of Italian history, I guess, out there in Green Bay, Lombo. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that he didn't have his Hall of Fame ring, so he's going to get it this weekend. There'll be a big celebration. I mean, is there anything better? Pat, you played there. AJ, you played there. Is there anything better than Lambeau Field at night? I mean, the history that just reeks from that stadium is just tremendous. I do think that you have to wear the right shoes on that field. That field is slippery, and if you don't put the right cleats on, it gives them a huge advantage, the Packers.
That thing better be a pinky ring. Anyways, go ahead, AJ. Sorry about that.
Lombo, hey, you always have 1 or 2 games. What do you like this weekend? We need picks from you. What do you think?
I love Pittsburgh this weekend. I think Pittsburgh sets up perfect. They're a 5.5 point. They're 5.5 point favorite to a Cardinal team that cannot play any run defense whatsoever. And if you watch last week when I liked the Rams last week against the Cardinals because the Rams, whenever the Rams can run the football, they're very effective offensively. It gives Sean McVay the balance. You're not going to be able to run the ball, I don't think, against this Pittsburgh team, and Arizona won't run it. And I think Murray hasn't been the same player. If you watch the 3 games when he's been back, he hasn't been as effective. Yards per attempt is down. I think Pittsburgh's playing exactly like they did last year. They've only turned the ball over 3 times since the bye week. And it's ugly, I get it, but they're playing home, and these are the kind of games I think they play really well. And there's so many ugly dogs out there. You're going to have to take somebody that you think might pull an upset if you want to win the lines this week. Could New England win? I think New England has a really good chance, especially with Keenan Allen.
All right.
No.
With Keenan Allen out.
No.
With Keenan Allen out, that's going to be an issue. But I like Cleveland as my second pick. I know Joe Flacco might start. That's going to shock everybody. But I think Cleveland's defense against the Rams will stop the run. And I think they'll put a lot of pressure on Stafford. I think Cleveland's defense can win the game. And if they can run the football, which I think they can, I think they'll play well.
Lombo,
I'm getting 3.5 with the game anyway. Why not, AJ?
You are, but yeah, with Cleveland, though, doesn't Joe Flacco kind of make sense when you think about the weapons around him, what their defense has, what they'll ask him to do? It sounds like a Joe Flacco type of team. Like, this could be great for him.
Right, and I think what people forget about is the offense Stefanski runs is exactly the same offense. He learned it from Kubiak's son, right, in Minnesota. Gary was in Minnesota, too. So where did Flacco have his most success? Had his most success running Kubiak's offense in Baltimore. So I think, to me, this will work. They're not going to ask Flacco to win the game. They're going to ask Flacco to manage the game, complete some passes, and the defense has got to win the game. And this front will give the Rams a lot of trouble.
That sounded like a team that a veteran quarterback would die to get to, that Cleveland team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're running the ball. We got a good offensive line. You got Amari Cooper out there if we need to make a completion, but the run game's going to be able to set this whole thing up. And with Joe Flacco, especially, when you see these refs calling these pass interferences at the clip that they were last night, that immediately becomes like game plan, doesn't it? Isn't that like immediately game plan? Like, right? Don't you think, Lombo?
Oh, absolutely. You got to go after them because you never know. It could be you never know what they're going to call. There's no standard of the calls, so why not take a chance and go after them? I mean, to me, it's just like they can't even explain it. And when you send in the stuff on Monday, they'll tell you they missed the call. Well, that doesn't do us any good. We're all going to get fired. You missed the call. We're all packing our bags here.
Lombo, has there ever been a game? So you mentioned that, like, some people may or may not know after a game, like a coach could come in Monday morning and tell you, hey, I sent in 7 plays to the league that I thought were terrible calls, and they come back and they tell me to keep my mouth shut and doesn't matter what happens. Like, has there ever been a game where a head coach has not sent any plays into the league and said, hey, I think this is a terrible call?
Oh, yeah. When I was, a lot of times. Because it becomes an exercise in futility. You send it in there, and what are they going to do? They're going to send you a bunch of napkins and say, we're sorry, cry on your tissues. I mean, what are you going to do? You just accept it.
Boo-hoo!
Sorry.
Yeah, it's part of it. I mean, I'm still bitter. They called Frank Middleton for tripping in a game against Denver. Jerry Rice scored a touchdown. We'd have had home field advantage. There would have been no tuck.
Come on.
There would have been no tuck. But they had a call. They called tripping. I still don't see the trip call.
Do you know who called it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Walt Anderson, probably. That son of a bitch.
Oh,
now,
man,
I will say.
He always gave us a bad game. What's funny is
everybody. Walt Anderson
gave
he's in charge now, Lombo. He gave everybody a bad. He's in charge. That's the guy.
I know. We would get Larry. I forget his last name. Al Davis would go berserk. We had Larry. He was from Springfield, Missouri, and he did 3 Chief games in a row in Kansas City. I had to call the league office up and said, like, seriously, you can't find another official somewhere out of the state of Missouri?
Listen, I'm Italian. I get it, but this is too obvious what you guys are doing. It's a little bit too obvious what you guys got cooking. Lombo, you're the man, pal.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
have a great weekend, Pat. Enjoy it. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it, Mr. Michael Lombardi. Thanks, Michael.
Lombo.
Appreciate you. Sorry about stepping all over you there on the exit there, Lombo. But what do you think? He had some good stuff to say. So he thinks Cleveland. Who else did he like?
Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
Why'd you say no, Diggs? What's wrong with that?
No, I didn't say no. I don't.
You were like upset that he's on the bandwagon.
No, he's fist pumping.
Yeah, I fist pumped.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah,
you were
my only. I normally have a worry against teams that they're supposed to beat because they tend to not play good against teams they're supposed to beat. But it is home. It's in the Sure, and I worry because Arizona just got their asses beat. And
Sure.
You guys all get paid, okay? You NFL players all get paid. And normally when you get embarrassed the week before, you play a little bit better the week after. So that worries me. But yeah, it is a good matchup.
Oh, mama. How do you think Kyler's going to react to that? You think Kyler's been listening to that while he's playing his Xbox or whatever? Video games don't exist anymore?
No,
Yeah, what did happen?
They're still going.
He's out. Yeah, he's playing a lot of Xbox.
There's also some bad news coming out of Russia.
Oh, no.
Ty?
No, yeah, I saw that.
What?
Didn't even look at the video. It's bullshit. If you've seen this video, just ignore it or let those dumb Russians think what they want to think. It's not true. We did go to the moon, okay? Use your brains. We went to the moon.
I missed it. What happened, Ty? What do you mean?
It's not the Russian news I saw.
Basically,
Russian AI basically said, there's a couple edits to this photo here. Looks like changed the color of the
With
face
Neil
here.
Armstrong? They're saying Neil Armstrong?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not Lance. Not Lance.
Not Lance.
And they showed Putin, and he basically said, very interesting.
Yeah.
So I think he believes it, but guess what? We did go to the moon. And you know why they didn't believe it? Because we beat their ass in the space race. That's why they don't
still
believe
bitter,
it.
and they are still bitter over this.
Putin's also
Even though they've
asking.
been taking us up to the space station for how many years now?
I don't know if you saw Putin's also asking every Russian family to have 8 children.
Is that real?
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah, but what's real, bro? Honestly,
I
what
heard him
is
say it.
real? I saw Jim Harbaugh yesterday say that they were going to beat the hell out of Iowa, but that was Heaven's account again. That was the Heaven's Twitter account again.
That's right.
AI, we can't control anything about what AI is up to, but also we have no idea what's real and what isn't. And the Russian AIs, I don't know if they speak the same language as ours, they said that moon thing, not real. That's what
They
shot
speak.
it.
They don't speak what we speak. They speak commie, okay?
Yeah.
So whatever they are saying,
You're right.
don't listen
You're right.
to it because it's
You're right.
It's communist Russia.
The
Pat.
rock.
I don't speak that. I
Bingo.
don't speak that.
That's why
I don't even understand what you're saying.
Yahtzee. That's why when I see that video, my eyes don't even compute.
Bingo.
Is that what they're talking about? Is that what they're worried about? Russian AI, the U.S. AI? Are we having like?
No, look, the heat.
Are they going
Fuck
after
good.
each other?
It was actually Google AI.
Oh, it's just
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So
Of
they
course.
say.
The traitors in
The
our own
enemy's
camp.
always within your own camp. Bingo.
So
There
they
it is.
say Google AI.
So
although
Benedict
it
Google.
does worry me that the Google AI guy that created it did retire because he was scared.
Is that what he said?
Was
Yeah,
it
Sweet Blake. Yeah, Sweet Blake.
Oh,
No,
Sweet
no,
Blake.
Sweet Blake is no longer with us completely. He is half AI now.
Oh, congrats.
Sweet
to
Blake.
him.
Sweet
Jeez.
Blake was a sweet soul, wasn't he?
Totally.
If we have that picture anywhere, we could pop
He
it
got
up, remind
neurochipped,
people.
yeah.
Zito has that photo
yeah.
of Sweet Blake.
That's not
for
the
sure.
background.
There.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, boom.
Okay.
There it is, yeah. This guy fell in love with a computer, and all of a sudden he gets fired. So Sweet Blake had his heart broke, not by the computer that he fell in love with, but by the humans that decided to fire him immediately afterwards. And I think we need to send him in there to have a little chat with this Google AI that his former lover and say, listen, we don't need you going after Armstrong and Buzz and the boys in the
do
Cold War. Okay, especially not in 2023. And if Sweet Blake was still around swinging his cane and swinging other stuff with this Google AI, this would have never happened. But now all of a sudden the Google AI is heartbroken because the Americans fired its boyfriend. And now here we are trying to go back in time and rewrite history. Ty, I don't like it. I don't love it. I think it's a bad omen for the Iowa Hawkeyes, Ty.
No, absolutely not. Because, like I said, anyone with a brain knows that that's just a big old pile of horse shit. Okay, I'm not even focusing on that. We went to the moon. We won the space race. So, yeah, it makes sense that the Russians are still a little pissy about that. I would be, too. You know, you get your ass beat on a big deal. You know, you get embarrassed at a global level. Can't feel good. Can't feel great, especially for a
What
guy
about
like-
the Red Hot Chili Peppers, though, who say, "Space a Hollywood basement"? They say that, too. Were they? What's that all about?
Well,
That was long.
the Chili Peppers, I mean, those...
A lot of drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa,
those
whoa.
guys. Who
There's
knows?
no-
what-
Whoa, let's not
Easy.
judge.
No, I'm not-
Watch the way you use the words, too. It might have just been
Captain
plants.
Spells.
Plants,
Words
yeah,
or
you're
spells. Yeah.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying we know, okay? Again, we know. Everyone here knows. We've talked about it ad nauseum. We went to the moon, okay? We won the space race. We have buzz, okay?
Bud.
He'll punch you
We
in
have
the
not
mouth.
been
I'm
back.
not arguing.
We've
I'm not
not
arguing.
well because
Maybe.
again we've talked about this too. We did everything there is to do up there.
We
you
hit
know?
a golf ball.
Exactly.
Remember? Who
It's
did
like,
that? Who hit the golf
Tiger Woods.
No,
Oh, sweet. Congrats, Tiger.
no.
He's
But we,
200. He was 200.
200
Tiger was
too.
200 a little bit ago. I don't know where he is right now. He looks jocked, by the way.
Yeah, he just hit a
Yeah.
350-yard drive. Yeah, he's doing fine.
Yeah,
He's back.
Tiger's back. We went to the moon. Sure, Ty. Sure, obviously. Google AI is completely wrong.
Oh.
Let's just keep that mindset going forward.
Yeah, it's
But
full of shit.
Tiger ain't AI. Tiger's for real.
Hell
And
yeah.
he's showing Charlie Woods that he's still got a big stick. I love that.
He is.
I love
real.
everything about
You
it.
hear that music, Pat? You know there's a hard out coming on the other side. But after that, we will have Stanford Steve will be with us.
What?
Greg Sankey will be with us. Coach Artie Smith of the Atlanta Falcons will also be here. So stick around. We'll be right back.
There is a crowd of about 30 people moving through the back end of the business field here. And in the middle of it is this black Samoan man who has become the most famous human on earth.
Great guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. There's thousands and thousands of people skipping class to come see your big ass.
Listen, there is thousands and thousands of you skipping class. It doesn't matter if they go to class.
Moana is one of the best animated films of all time. Okay, can't wait for the live action.
Thank you, yes.
But
You're welcome.
We talk about Moana.
What can I say except you're welcome?
And we talk about Moana.
Honestly, listen, kid, I could go on and on. I could explain every natural phenomenon. The tide, the grass, the ground. Oh, that was Maui just messing around. I couldn't have buried its guts. Sprouted a tree, now you got coconuts. What's the lesson? What is the takeaway? Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway. And the temperature here on my skin is a map of the victories I win. Look where I've been to make everything happen. Look at the me mini Maui just tickety-tapping. That's it.
Still got it.
On the Samoan side, Polynesian side, we have a word called mana. Mana is spirit. Mana is power. Mana comes from in here. It's the thing that gives you goosebumps. It's that thing you feel. It's that thing when I walked out and we felt this thing. This is mana. This is mana. It's very, very, very real, and you could feel it. Wow. Little things like I don't get driven anywhere. I don't want to get driven anywhere. I don't like chauffeurs. Keeps me in my way, just a little grounded. Like I could drive myself everywhere and not telling some guy, hey, take me here, take me there.
That is something I'm going to start saying, like, yeah. Because when they open your door, you feel so bad. I can open my own door, dude. They're trying to be courteous. It's their job. But also, the day I stop opening my own door is the day I become a big old bitch.
Here we go.
That's a big cup.
Sorry, Mike.
And here's the iconic sound. You guys know it. This special Terramana toast goes out to Passion. Congratulations on your show. Very proud of you. Very proud of all you boys. And to all of you, love you guys. Thank you for the support. Keep kicking ass. Cheers. In my world, when I sit down and we're talking about movies and all this other shit, it's never this. It's never this, back with the boys, and you. So I appreciate it, and this one's to you. Thank you, boys.
See you, pal. Cheers.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break here.
Oh, hold on, one more. If you're some man.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, what? Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Here we go, hour 2 of the Pat McAfee Show starts now. Friday, December 1st, I'm AJ Hawk, sitting in for Pat McAfee as he is down at Atlanta SEC Championship.
Football
is what we're talking about. If you look to Pat's right, he's patting a young, handsome gentleman on his shoulder. Mr. Stanford Steve looks like he's already joined you at the table there, Pat. Welcome, Stanford Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, baby, Steve.
Yeah, I had to run to the
Can't
bathroom a little bit through a suite here. I got back literally as the intro was rolling. This place is beautiful. It's remarkable. And this big, handsome man was walking right towards me as I was sitting back down. And I said, why would we ever make something this beautiful wait to join the program? So he sat down without being able to hear a damn thing. I believe my man's name is Mike. Mike, yes. Okay, good guy.
Well
Mike is
done.
good
Yeah,
guy, great
Mike.
guy. Hell yeah, Mike. Met him earlier. He crushed it. And now Steve can hear us. AJ, this dude's a wealth of knowledge, okay? And a lot of people are judging him because of his college game day picks, Tone. You know that.
I would never do that.
For that to come up.
Tone, that's not
It takes a lot of cojones to give out picks on television.
on college game day.
Yeah.
On college football. We love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Stanford.
Yeah,
Big fans of yours. Let's dive in right now.
Yeah.
We're here at the SEC Championship, and there's a lot of factoids and fun little things to talk about whenever you talk about Saban and Kirby Smart. What's the big story you think of this particular SEC Championship, and how do you think it all kind of rolls out tomorrow?
I think this is the fourth time Bama with Saban since 2010 has been an underdog. and every other time they've been an underdog, and this time, Georgia's been the favorite. So this whole idea of Georgia still looking up at Alabama, it's gone. But Alabama likes this. They like not being the favorite. So you got everything you want here. I consider it an elimination game, but we don't know what's going to happen with the other scenarios. But this will be as good as there is in the sport tomorrow.
Yeah, we got a chance to be here whenever Georgia took on Ohio State for the college football playoff, and it was loud. Do you remember how loud this place was?
So
now
loud.
you got a bunch of Bulldog fans and Roll Tide fans coming into this place, and I think this has become a nice little home for this SEC championship. And we'll be talking about Sankey, or we'll be talking to Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, here in about 35, 40 minutes. And Stanford Steve, the big story here, and we're going to ask Sankey about it, is if Alabama wins, Florida State wins,
Yikes.
Washington wins,
Quiet.
Texas wins,
Quiet.
Michigan wins.
Quiet.
They're saying there's a chance that an SEC will not have a representative in the college football playoff. There's no way that's the case, right? This is all just potential fodder for people to kind of get up in arms about here as we sit Friday before championship weekend.
Well, that's the problem that I've had since Halloween, since they brought the rankings out. I didn't believe Oregon was the best one-loss team, and they've kept them there the whole time, and now they move them up, ahead of Ohio State. And when you look at it, I thought the resume of Texas, having that win all the way back in week 2 when we were there at Alabama, was the best win in the country, and I still think it is. And then you factor in what Bama has done coming up to that, and Oregon only having one top 20 win right now. That doesn't compare to what Texas and Alabama have done.
Yeah, but you're a Stanford guy. You're just a hater. Go ahead, Tone. Question for Steve.
Steve, you've got friends in high places. You've got friends in low places. And I know you've got information. There's a rumor circulating around the internet about the concussion potentially for Tate Rodemaker, and is he going to play or not? Are you hearing anything in circles?
Oh, great question, Tone. Sound like you were in our meeting this morning.
I wasn't, but I've seen the internet, though.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there's video evidence of Rodemaker taking that late hit, the targeting call, Brock coming in, and then Rodemaker going back in the game. So, I think Florida State's trying to be as quiet as possible, knowing that they might have gone crossing lines
I'll
with
say
protocol.
this. Steve was putting Pete Thamel's feet to the fire this morning.
Steve! We want the information. We need to know. I'm taking the Cardinal either way, okay?
Yeah, so why are you even asking?
Because I want to see you sweat, Steve.
Oh, that's 24/7.
Hey, it was a real deal in that meeting this morning, and obviously we saw the hit while we were watching it. It looked like that guy got. Seems like that guy got That dude has a concussion. They put him back on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He ended up going back on the field, but when you think about Brock Glenn, his first play out there, he threw the ball, right? So I think that says a lot.
That's confidence
about how
play
Norvell
call.
feels about a third string quarterback, right?
That's the crazy thing about that game is I think those two, Brom and Norvell, are two of the best 6 play callers in the sport. But now you factor in Louisville not maybe being the underdog anymore in this game, but now Norvell having a week supposedly with his third string quarterback. I don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Herbstreit hates his Florida State team.
He does.
Why is that?
He does.
Me too.
AJ, he's been so mad, and there's Connor. Connor's also on his side where he's like, there's no way a backup quarterback should be able to be in a college football playoff. That's Connor's take. That is Connor's take because of the year.
What's wrong with an audition?
I have no problems with it.
That's what tomorrow is, right?
The game is played on the field.
Exactly.
Yeah, and everybody talks about AJ. Everybody talks about Cardale Jones.
Yeah.
He came in one of these situations
Absolutely.
and lit it up. But the difference between that and this situation, I don't know if it was you or Reese, Cardale went in and he threw 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Yeah,
12 gauge,
points.
Yeah, they won absolutely insane. So same type of thing has to happen, you think, for them to end up in the college football playoff? If they go undefeated.
They need a wow factor win. They really do. Just for everybody to see what they with a wow factor win with whoever's at quarterback, the number 2 guy or the number 3 guy, that's what they need. Because I keep having this scenario in my head. Say Florida State is up 12-10 and Louisville has a field goal at the buzzer and they miss it.
Oh, kicker, come on.
And Georgia loses 31-30. They're going to put Florida State in
over Bam.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
Steve, can we get you on the committee someday? What do you have to do to get on that committee? What do we need to do?
I don't know, but Reese's news saying this week is as soon as he was talking to Scott last night, as soon as he retires, he's getting a seat in that room on the committee.
He'll
should have one.
He'll be talking to Boo Corrigan tomorrow on our program. I don't think we're allowed to talk to Boo.
Is that right? Why not?
I've been keeping I'll be keeping my eye on that situation.
Yeah.
Whether, am I asking this guy a question or not? I don't think I will be. So my reactions to his answers, I cannot wait. You know what I mean? Because I don't think I've ever had that situation happen before where it's like,
wait, you're getting muzzled? What do you mean?
I don't think we're getting.
They're muting everybody's mics besides Reese.
You think they'll mute the mic? That's because I haven't even thought about them muting me. I've just thought about going.
Bring your own. Pull one out of your back
Do an
pocket.
answer.
We know those guys. You got great ESPN people. Pull one out of your back pocket when you need to ask a question.
What'd you keep saying 2 weeks ago when Reese put you on the spot? You're like, buddy.
Buddy. That's an interesting situation. Go ahead, AJ, for Steve.
Stanford Steve tonight, right? Pac-12 championship, Oregon. What's going to happen? How do you think the game goes? Does it matter? Whoever wins, do they have to make it? Does that have to be deciding like a big time win where you blow them out? Like what are we looking for tonight?
Well, I'm looking at Michael Penix Jr. Because last week I didn't think he looked 100%. And when you go back and you watch the game broadcast, they got somebody up and down the sidelines with him. You're watching it, and you're like, what's going on here?
Ribs, right?
Then the way they brought him off the field, it's a rivalry game. Fans are rushing the field. And they got him in 2 rain jackets, making sure nobody touches him. Like the look of that didn't look right. Yeah. And when you think about the way Lanning has wanted this, just to build up to everything, and it felt like the narrative walking out of that stadium at Husky Stadium that day was like, all right, Oregon's going to beat them. Oregon was the better team. They just went for too many 4th downs. They'll get them here. But 10 points. 10 points. If you're going to attack that Oregon defense, you want to attack the corners. And Washington's got 3 NFL receivers.
Yes.
So.
Especially one, Etta Dunze. If he's one-on-one, Penix is going there, which I respect, by the way. I appreciate the fact that Kalen DeBoer says, hey, if our guy is one-on-one, it don't matter what we have called. Let's do that. That won them the game against, I think, Oregon State. That won them a game against Oregon. That has won them a game a couple of different times. That's a real weapon that I have a guy that you guys don't. You think everybody's just assuming Oregon's going to.
That's what I'm saying. I'll take the points.
So I said you sounded like an Oregon hater there, the Oregon. But whenever you go through, and I love Oregon, okay, and this isn't a Ty Schmidt, I love Oregon.
Yeah,
this
is
real.
This is genuine, yeah.
It's a real, I love Oregon. I do. I appreciate that the bodacious Bo Nix came back for this moment. This is why he chose to come back. Dan Lanning, his intensity and the way he operates, unique, awesome. He seems like he's a real football guy that is getting the best out of his team. But if you go through the Oregon schedule this year,
Buddy.
Ain't
a lot there.
So it's all eye test.
Like you guys were there. Utah, awesome. We had a blast there.
Yes.
Great program. This isn't a typical Utah team.
Now we're looking at they're not even ranked right now.
Yeah. So that was, I guess they were ranked then, but I look at what teams turn into.
And USC, not ranked now.
Nope.
That's a big win.
I'm not there.
Colorado. At the time.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Steve? What's that? Why is it this way? Why do you think it is?
I think it's obvious.
It doesn't make it. Yeah, I mean the wow factor we mentioned with what Florida State has to do. I think that's what it is, AJ. I think they've just come out and just given every team the business. And when you look at the scores of their game, and then you look at what Washington's gone through and the gauntlet that they have, going back to the USC game and struggling with Arizona State after the Oregon win and playing in the rain in Corvallis, and then playing a rivalry game, and then Oregon's just burying people left and right. It's tough to live up to, and I think that wow factor. Everybody loves offense, right?
Yep.
Everybody loves offense, and that's what they get credit for.
Well, that's why last night's game was awesome versus all the other primetime games.
Yeah.
Because we love offense. You brought out a piece of paper
When
here.
are we going to talk defense?
The
NFL.
NFL.
There's a guy with a jersey on. Is he going to be able to talk?
Jack Campbell. You're talking about Ty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ty. We will dive into the Michigan-Iowa one.
I got a question for him before I go.
No, definitely. Can we? I got a question
let's
about
do it.
this. So, Steve brought this piece of paper out, and I don't think he was the one that said, I need to look this up. Can you zoom in on this? I don't think I need to. Steve wasn't the one that said you need to look into it. No, put this right next to Steve's
Those are
face.
for our friends
Right
at
by his
Penn
face. We need side by side.
Okay, so
ESPN bet.
that would be any line if Florida State was playing against these teams.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, going ahead. You look down here, Kansas State, okay?
Wow.
They're only favored by 1, Florida State would be. Now, I'm not saying sports books are the people that should be picking who's in the college football playoff and who's not in the college football playoff.
Sure.
But this particular photo right here is the reason why Kirk Herbstreit has been losing his mind anytime he gets on a microphone. I mean, it is interesting to think about. That is something that should certainly be taken into account. And I think Saban even mentioned it last year. How much is this type of stuff taken into account, you think, in this college football playoff conversation? And what do you think this means for this Florida State team?
Well, I don't think it's one iota of the conversation in the committee room. Like, no way are they even looking at this. But for the public to see this and then see what Vegas thinks of them a double-digit underdog against every one of the top 5 teams except Washington, that says a lot.
And Arizona only favored by 1.5. Great year for Arizona. Noah Fafita has been fantastic. But then you look at, like, Iowa, they're favored by 12.5.
Shouldn't be.
Florida State's favored by 12.5.
Shouldn't be.
Against Iowa, only favored by 1 against Kansas State if it was to take place. Only favored by 12.5 against Liberty is what what ESPN Bet said and the Penn folks said.
Now, talking to the people that do this and make the lines, they said the volatility on the quarterback situation for FSU is crazy. So what happens is everybody has a number ranking, a power ranking system. Tone could tell you more about it. And that's how they make their spreads. And then they just go off. What number is this team? All right, what number is this team? That's the spread right there. And everybody has said this game, Florida State can move up 5 points or they can move down 5 points based on the effort and the performance they put out there. So that just tells you, AJ asked before, what do they have to prove? They have to prove that they're a quality football team.
They can't squeak by. You're saying that, Steve?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I am.
They can't just squeak out a victory. It's got to look good. They got, like you mentioned earlier, which I love. You said Oregon's been giving everybody the business, which is great. We all know exactly what that means.
They stand on it.
So FSU is going to have to really give them the business, aren't they?
and the crazy thing is that they're the last game. Like, we're going to have every opinion of every other team before they take the field.
Let's talk about the 8 o'clock game in Indianapolis, though. You got a question for Jack Campbell?
Yep, I do. Would you rather take the over 2.5 for Iowa first half points or take the over 6.5 for Iowa points in the total game?
A lot of points.
Oh, first half, for sure. For sure.
Why?
A safety's only 2, right?
Yeah, they'll get a field goal.
Okay.
They would absolutely get a field goal. But, you bring that up, Steve, and listen, I'll take off my Homer hat for a second. I am from.
Oh, really? Journalism? You'll do a little journalism?
Yeah, if I have to. I'm from Iowa. I graduated from Iowa. I love my Hawks more than life itself. Okay, This is it's going to be a real treat tomorrow night. But listen, everyone wants to talk about how their offense is hammered dog shit, and it is. Okay, there's no two ways about it. It is. But don't you think, Iowa, they've been winning ugly all year. You've been talking about it. I think you've kind of had the Hawks back all year long. I've appreciated.
Hashtag swarm.
Yep, hashtag swarm. Iowa swarm. Support the swarm. Doesn't 22 or 21.5, doesn't that feel like too much? Isn't there a good chance that Michigan's looking past Iowa? They are. They're already focused on the playoff. They don't care about this game. Those pesky Hawks, and I'm not just saying this. I really have, as this week has progressed, I've worked myself into thinking there is a blueprint and a way that Iowa can win this football game. Am I crazy, or is that possible?
I don't see it, Ty. I look at what Michigan has, and I get it. The emotion coming off of beating Ohio State, but there's real stuff Michigan has to figure out right away. They lose their heart and soul, the offensive line, and Zinter, that has to get assessed. No. You got Harbaugh coming back, and I get it. Iowa's great, sound defense, and I'm guessing they're going to attack that offensive line for Michigan. When I look at Michigan, they're going to have plenty of tricks in the bag. And they're gonna want to jump Iowa and make this just not even a contest early. So that's what I worry. If Iowa could come out and weather the storm, then you never know. But I expect a Michigan team to come out all hands on deck.
I do believe Ty will be there in person on the field damn near, so he'll be willing them to dubs as well with a couple other members of the Schmidt family, if I'm accurate.
Yeah, that is correct. A couple of my brothers will be coming down as well because, like we've said, you don't know how many more Big Ten championships in the near future the Hawks are going to be going back to. So gotta soak up every last second of this one.
Embrace the journey. That's what it's about.
That's exactly right.
The journey for the Schmidts is going to be how drunk they can get quickly. I mean, I think that is, if I've ever seen the Schmitz in public, I assume that is going to be the case in this particular. But let's talk about it. Go ahead.
I had to I was just thinking, while we're talking about Ty, Foxy was throwing on the pictures from Red River earlier this year. You remember Ty's sunburn?
Still peeling.
yeah.
I'm still peeling.
I will take. Hey, Ty, your skin will take a trip to the sun every once in a while, won't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, you remember when we were down in the Bahamas a couple years ago? I pretty much got third-degree burns on both of my legs, and then we had to fly back. Obviously, that wasn't a fun day, but yeah, I need sunscreen. Sue me. What do you want?
Right. All good.
His
Sorry
last
to
name's
interrupt.
Schmidt. Yeah, you're not interrupting anything. I mean, he was going to interrupt the conversation about the game of the weekend. Miami, Toledo.
Yes.
Here we go.
Back
This
championship.
Yes.
Yeah. It's tough to talk about this one because the last time they played, I had Miami, Ohio on the fridge.
Well, that fridge is doomed.
Gabbert got hurt.
Lost by 4, and their quarterback almost lost a leg.
I don't like that.
No,
Jeez.
it was brutal. So when you look at Toledo, great story. Probably have Miami, Ohio as super dog.
Well, I love that.
Wow.
My super dog is also one that is going to turn some heads, I do believe. Not a lot of options tomorrow. Let's move to the NFL. This guy doesn't sleep whenever he travels in for these production meetings on Fridays because he's got SVP at night, obviously, which is a mid 12:30 show through the night. Then you travel here. So you're up for all these games.
Yeah.
And I love it. Last night was one of the first primetime games where I was able to stay up for the entirety of the
whole thing.
Yeah, didn't have to watch it in the morning, which has become a real old man to me, but I got a baby.
But
sue me.
That takes away time in the gym.
Well, you do it while you're in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually like a perfect
Technology.
Yeah, it's actually like a perfect thing. I saw a Skip Bayless commercial where he was on his bike. You remember that? He was on his bike, and then all the games from the night before were in front of him. And I was like, oh, that's how the olds that stay on TV and wear makeup every day. That's how they do it. So it was kind of like a little insightful. So thank you for that, Skip.
Thank you,
Skip. Thank you. You talking at that guy's funeral too, not being able to get past the decision that was made on a football field. What a time. Anyways, game last night.
Yeah.
You a believer in the Dallas Cowboys or not?
I am.
What does that mean, though? What does that mean, like a believer? Like, because in the NFC East, they got the Eagles already there. The Eagles are going to be tough. The Niners going to the Eagles this weekend. Top of the class, everybody says, even though they got 3 losses. Do you believe in the Cowboys, like, yeah, they'll make the playoffs, have a good year? Or do you believe in the Cowboys to, like, go? Oh, Steve stumped them.
Wow.
Oh.
Sounds like a no, Steve. Sounds like a no, Steve.
Here's the thing with the Cowboys, and they get talked about more than anybody. I get it, but they had 8 wins already going into that game. That was their 9th win. Is that correct?
Sure.
Yep.
All right.
That's correct.
All they did was pick apart the wins they got because they didn't beat a team with a winning record. You only play the teams on your schedule. But
Florida State.
Will they have the opportunity to win multiple playoff games? Absolutely. Will they do it? They've been as close as anybody. And the way I'll tell you one thing with Philly, I was as confident in them as any team in the near future last year. I don't think the world of Philly this year as I did last year. Do you?
10-1.
Yeah.
They're not. They're nowhere near the tier they were last year.
At this moment, or are you judging them whenever they were playing in the playoffs, their best football?
Best football.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that I think we all do. I do that a lot as well because I'll bet on the Chiefs, and I'm like, oh, the Chiefs are the Chiefs that we see in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. It's like, not yet. They're not there yet. I think the Eagles, I don't think they beat the Niners this weekend. I have been pretty open about that all week because how I feel like the Niners are playing right now versus how the Eagles are playing. But I think this potential loss is like one of those wake-up ones for the Eagles.
It's good for you.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
you need it.
I think so, too.
Too used to winning. All that good stuff.
How about on the AFC side? You believer in Baltimore that they can go do it? They seem to be the most consistently dominant team on the AFC side because what a roll of the dice it is on the How many teams? Here on the AFC side. Look at this. You got a 2-9 Patriots team still in the bubble somehow.
I think we can take them off. No offense, Connor.
I agree.
Well, NFL.com just doesn't want to kick off.
Cincinnati, big one Monday night, and Jacksonville will be there for that. I like Jacksonville. I mean, when you look at what they bring to the table, I love Peterson, what he does. Now, the whole idea is everybody's going to want to talk. I mean, the Dolphins are the Cowboys of the AFC, right? All the teams, they haven't beat a team, those upper-tier teams. But I think home field is very critical. And as Van Pelt has been begging for since the start of the season, all he wants to do is watch Patrick Mahomes play a road playoff game. Will we see that?
Doesn't have to ever. When you think about that Jacksonville team too, could you imagine Doug Peterson goes in there And you like them in the AFC as a whole? You like them as the team that's going to
I
make it?
think they're good enough to compete. I really do.
Okay, so could you imagine if Doug Peterson does that? What a bananas coaching job.
Yeah.
And then somehow Philly was just like, yeah, we don't want him. And then they bring in Sirianni.
Yeah.
And they're doing the same exact thing they did with Doug. It's a fascinating business.
Really is.
This whole NFL. And I've been very fortunate to get to hang out with you this season. You're a cool dude, isn't he? Hey, he's a cool guy.
Love you,
Great
Steve.
guy.
Yes.
How long you been on ESPN?
February will be 20 years.
Jeez.
Remained a human.
Let's go.
Yeah.
20 years remained a human. A likable one. That's phenomenal. That's, you know what I mean?
Those guys in the back, too, behind the glass, don't forget to send those soccer pics.
Gumpy.
Is there any haunted houses out there, Steve?
What happened to you guys?
Oh, they had a
He'd go he went
experience.
out in Utah. He had to go to the haunted house. It was scary.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
He said
Thank
he
you for doing
loved
that for
it.
game day.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, I'd
thanks,
do
Gump.
I'd do the show. I couldn't do that. But Gumpy's the soccer better. He is the soccer. Right, Gumpy?
Yeah.
You're like the guy.
Yeah, we got Man City Tottenham, big match this weekend. I know I give JJ shit. I think Burnley beats Sheffield Wednesday or Sheffield
Yeah,
United.
nobody's
chance.
putting money on
Not
that.
a chance.
Yeah, they do it. The Clarets
Minus
do
a
it.
goal and a half.
All right, well, Steve.
Alt line.
Steve, we appreciate the hell out of you, buddy.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you,
Stanford
buddy.
Love you,
Thank you.
Steve. Oh,
Thank you, Steve.
he's a dog.
He is. Great
20
guy.
years of being on ESPN, that's not easy to remain a human.
No.
You know what I mean? They're going to try their best to make you not every single year. And he just, because they kept chopping.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Need you to become a robot. Need you to become super corpo. Need you to be scared to be a human. They just keep chopping wood. You know what I mean? Greg Schiano, everybody like that.
Yep.
And that pine tree right there from Stanford just has stood tall.
That's right.
And remained
That's right.
human. We appreciate the hell out of Stanford.
You think
He's
he-
been very nice to us as well.
You think him and SVP made a pact like, hey, we need to stay humans together? Because it feels like they've done probably the best job of being humans over there.
I think so too. I do. It's not now. Who knows what we will look like in a few years from being on ESPN?
We've never been.
That's true.
Everybody said we change. Early indications say that is not going to happen. Especially with the primate conversation. Thank you, AJ.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Good work.
thank you for doing that on TV.
Trying to
the other
educate.
day. But I feel like Stanford Steve's a good one, so we need to appreciate the hell out of him. But he can't continue to have that record.
What
That's
is his
thing.
record? I always
Not
I
good.
want it.
It
I
ain't-
want it to be better, but I know it's a very tough position to be put in.
There's a small number there on the farthest left.
That's okay. I want a big number there.
Yeah.
Well, that big one's coming though. It's the second number.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
that's not.
And then there's
no, not that one.
That
then there's
fridge
a
is
little
cursed.
one.
That fridge is cursed because I know his record on the College Game Day podcast.
Yeah, it's actually very good.
With Reese and Pete Thamel was actually very good. Yeah.
Yes, so it's hard not to get down too, I think, because he wants to give winners to people.
Yeah.
Like he wants to give winners. He
Everyone
wants to be
does.
a guy that gives winners, especially when you're put in a position to do that. But I love Bear. I think we all love Bear. I don't think he was having winning weekends every single weekend.
Oh,
either,
no.
know? So I'm happy I don't have to do that job that Stanford Steve does. But like, if he just goes 4-0 this weekend, which he should do, I mean, there's a chance that we're all the way back. There's a chance we're all the way back.
Does he agree?
Steve.
4-0. They won't even let me put 4 picks on there tomorrow.
What?
Not enough games.
What are you doing?
Just kidding. I have no idea.
Knock the fridge over.
Michigan over will be in there.
Bring back the 6-pack, Steve. We need it.
Yeah, you need to up the amount of bets so we can get that thing back to maybe even
Yeah.
keel. I love that man, though, and I hope I continue to get to work alongside of him. He is, he dresses super cool, too. Did you see that Jordan flat bill?
I love that thing.
There's been a lot of chaos here on
Are
the
they
field. I don't know if
practicing
that's-
behind you? We've heard random whistles and we see people throwing, but I don't. Are there teams back there?
No, so it's not teams. They're practicing for something else, and everybody knows of this for whenever it gets to championship and playoff weekend.
Yep.
They're setting up the Dr. Pepper chest pass thing.
Oh, nice.
Not designed to be a chest
I don't know.
pass, though, right?
That's
Yeah,
what it
so
is,
like
though.
right here, they're kind of going through it, walking through it all. Can you scroll a little bit more to the right there? A little bit more to the
Hold
right.
on, the game's not till
A little
tomorrow,
more of that-
right?
no, boom. There they are right there. They're not
Nice.
playing. They're not doing it. They're
Why are
kinda
the
walking
refs
them
wearing
through.
their gear already?
Well, yeah.
Just in case.
Because it's a dress rehearsal.
Yeah, they're
they're
locked
doing
Oh,
the
it's like
entire
SNL,
thing
okay.
right.
What do you
All
want
right,
them to wear?
okay.
G-strings?
No, just show up in your street clothes. The game's not till tomorrow.
Well, then how are they going to know who the ref is?
The game's tomorrow.
hey,
Okay,
guys.
whatever. What's that, Pat?
So when I walked in, they were kind of setting this thing up, and they had the I walked past the students that are probably going to be competing in this, and I told them all to make a pact with each other, like, yeah, we won't chest pass. It's football.
Yeah.
Let's throw the ball.
Throw the rock.
You know what I mean? Let's throw. So I tried my best to change it. I did. I spoke. I looked them right in their eyes. I said, hey, let's throw the ball more. It's football. It's not a basketball. And they looked at me, I just walked away. So I think it went in one year, out the other. Good luck to all the parties out there. But, yeah, it's been quite a lively situation. You know, you bring Dr. Pepper into the party, people are going to have a good time.
Every
that
time.
feels like
23
that is what's happening back here. I've been told that there's a chance there's going to be a pyro operation that's going to happen here while I'm out here. There was a time earlier in the week where there's maybe going to be a national anthem practice, too, so I couldn't wait for our entire show to happen.
Yes.
All right. Here we go. I think they've delayed that.
Is Luda still there?
Hanging up there still?
I didn't know if he left or he always just
Sleeping
in the dome.
I do not see Luda.
Okay.
Maybe.
I don't see him.
Is
he in the sphincter?
Is the asshole sphincter camera still up there, or is it always on you?
Sphincter is completely closed. It is a terrible day down here. We're talking like real bad rain.
I think it's nationwide.
Yeah, up here too.
Flight this morning.
Bad.
Rocky.
Buddy. Yeah, the pilot's really good.
Love that.
Shoot good pilots.
Okay.
Actually.
Like Maverick from
real-
last week when he came in sideways.
So, a lot of guys try to impress us. You know what I mean? That doesn't need to happen. Hey, we just need to get this thing up. We need to get this thing down. You don't need to be showcasing that you used to be in Blue Angels. I do appreciate that a guy who flew in the military is flying our plane right now, but we don't need to be pulling any G's. Okay?
Yeah.
We are not in the Blue Angels. Some people get a little excited. They're fans of the program, which I appreciate. But as soon as I get on, it's a little bit of a younger pilot, and they go, love the show, man. Love everything you're about. I'm like,
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Showtime for these pilots.
Yes.
Showtime for these pilots. And the guys I had this morning, smooth as a whistle, baby. They say, hey, you might be a little rocky on the way up, obviously, a little bit of rain. We're going to climb above this storm that America's having, though. And then when we come back down, there's a chance it might get a little. We're going to try to find the air pockets for you. There wasn't many. And then the landing, buttery.
Oh, nice. Love that. It's important. Wow.
Yeah, it was a great travel. Honestly, I am pumped to be here in Atlanta, AJ. Pumped to be here.
Atlanta's a great spot. I mean, it reminds me of when we were back there for the the Ohio State Georgia game last year. I remember the atmosphere of the stadium, how amazing that place was, and the roof. It's a weird situation going on up there. I heard Greg Sankey is roaming around those sidelines. Did you see him anywhere, Pat?
Yeah, he's right there, and the guy that's next to him is like assistant guy who told us earlier we weren't allowed to show that entire Dr. Pepper thing. So as soon as I had eyes on him, we go straight to that Dr. Pepper thing.
Nice.
But Commissioner Sankey is right over there, and when he joins us, there'll just be a level of professionalism and a level of insight that this program is lucky to have a few different times. He's joined us more than one time, boys. Am I right?
Oh yeah,
correct.
This year for at the Cotton Bowl.
Both sides, and
Alabama,
Texas,
both two megacasts.
And we met him. We met him up
Yeah.
at the national championship one year.
2 years ago. Yeah.
In Indy.
Yeah.
I think he learned of us because even though we were just on the internet, when he saved football, when COVID was happening,
Oh yeah.
boy, we really campaigned for this guy to be running everything. We were almost like asking for this dude to maybe run the world.
Yeah,
Hey, I don't know if we
presidency.
we need this guy to kind of get in there because he literally looked at the Big Ten right in their face.
Mm-hmm.
That's you, AJ.
Kind of. Yes, you're right.
It is.
You're right.
He looked the Big Ten right in their face and go, oh, you guys aren't playing football because COVID. Sweet. It's different down here. And then he stuck to his guns. And I don't think a single college football player died of COVID that entire season. I might be. I'm not. Check the stats. Yeah, I don't think. I think everybody survived. So he ended up, now if that backfires on him, I don't think we're talking to him today. And I don't think
Right, no.
But he stood in the pocket there. And I think the people down here in the South love him. And obviously he has a very powerful voice. And there's a situation that's potentially brewing this weekend where an SEC representative won't be in a college football playoff. And that's going to be first question whenever he gets over here. We'll join him. He'll join us in about 5 minutes or so. Hey, Connor, how do you feel about last night when they're promo in next week's Thursday night game?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Where they say, well, you can't put Juju Smith-Schuster up there.
No,
Obviously, he
can't.
hasn't really played football much for the Patriots. Can't even put the kicker up there. Guy's 12 of 18. Normally, maybe you could put the punter for New England, but I don't know how special teams is going this year. So they just put up Bill Belichick as the market for next week. It's T.J. Watt versus Bill Belichick. What does this say to you, con man? And how pumped were you whenever you saw this pop up on the screen?
Yeah, I mean, the first things first, it means the team stinks just across the board. Any of the good players that could possibly be in that TJ position are hurt. And obviously, we don't even know who's playing quarterback. To me, what it says is, hey, Bob Kraft, look, okay? We're not putting up some random player. We're putting up the face of the franchise, the head coach, the GM that has made the Patriots who the Patriots are. The least you can do for the, leader of the team, leader of the Thursday Night Football graphic is give him an extra year. Now, it does mean, and this is for everybody, I apologize. Next week's game on Thursday night might be the worst Thursday Night Football game in the history of prime
Broncos
time.
Colts last year. Colts last year.
Look, Broncos Colts.
Titans
absolutely.
Jags played a bunch of times on Thursday.
They did, but at least those division matchup means something. In the Broncos Colts, that was a 12-9 barn burner. So at least that went to overtime. There was some sort of competitive factor. The Steelers-Patriots game might be 3-0 next week. I think that is a very real situation unless the Steelers kind of continue to build on their post-Matt Canada kind of, journey, if you will, as this offense continues to gain 400-plus yards. But no, it's not good. If you're getting the head coach in the graphic when it should be a player, it stinks. It's going to continue to stink. And I really hope the Patriots just lose out and go 2-15 so we can move on from this poopy football team.
That's the state of the New England Patriots,
Yep.
and we're in the state of Georgia, which is SEC country. And joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference, a man who stared the Big Ten, the Ivy League, the Pac-12, and many others right in the face as COVID was starting and saying, we play football down here. A man who maybe say football, Greg Sankey. That's how we told the story, and don't change it.
Okay.
Like,
we need to go back to the pilot thing, too, because I'm with you.
What's that?
I ask the guys when I get on an airplane, like a small jet, have you flown upside down before? And they look at me, and they're like, why are you asking that? I said, because if it happens today, I don't want it to be the first time.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you're right. I don't mind military folks flying. I appreciate military folks. Need them up
Absolutely.
there. But I think people look at me, they see the tank top, they hear I'm loud and crazy, this guy, and they're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and give him a ride up here. I'm like, I just need to get back on the ground. You know what I mean? I just need to get back on the ground. We're on the ground right now in the night before a massive event for your conference. This has become almost like a pseudo tradition. Come down here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and obviously game days here. And normally there's definitely a college football playoff spot on the line. You've had to have heard the conversations that have been taking place. Allegedly. Now, I don't agree with this, right, boys? Boys, we don't.
No.
We don't agree with this.
No, we don't.
We don't agree with this.
No.
But they're saying there's a chance, if Alabama wins this tomorrow over Georgia, that there'll be no SEC representative in a college football playoff. First of all, do you see that being a reality? And what would the conference's reaction be to that type of situation?
As I recall, the line, they're saying there's a chance, came from Dumb and Dumber, which may be a good description of that observation. People who know and understand football don't have a doubt about our status. And you can look this year, sure, we lost some non-conference games, but this is not a week evaluation, a 1 week evaluation. This is a season evaluation. And you watch how teams perform, how they improve, how they win big games, how they win close games, how they figure it out. And I think the winner of this game tomorrow, in fact, both teams, depending on the outcome, will be fully under consideration. The beauty of playing these games and the reason there's so much interest is, as I look at all the analytics, this is like the one conference championship game where there's a lot of doubt. Who's going to win? It's going to be intense, competitive. There's a lot on the line, but no matter what comes, we deserve at least one team in the college football playoff. We've proven that this year in the last 9. There shouldn't be any confusion about that. And we'll see how it goes.
I'll be excited to hear you and everybody else from the SEC if that is to take place. So you're saying there's a chance, obviously 1 in a million. That is something that has been chatted about just because the amount of fodder that happens around college football as a whole, especially down here in the South. Now, speaking of down here in the South, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, this is becoming a beautiful thing for the SEC. What are your thoughts on the fact that maybe the two greatest college coaches of all time are currently in your conference? And what are your thoughts on Saban and Kirby knowing each other so well and this becoming almost a yearly thing?
It makes the fact they know each other so well makes our coaches show tonight much more interesting because there's stories that come out of the vault that you never imagined.
What is the coaches show? What is the coaches show?
We do that on the SEC network, so we'll interview both coaches. They each get a little bit of individual time, then you combine them to talk about the game.
Oh, really? That sounds great. What's that on?
Laura hosts SEC Network, 611 on DirecTV, and I haven't figured it out yet on YouTube TV, but it's there.
It is.
I found it. I've modernized, so I just have, I don't know are there numbers on YouTube TV?
No, it's just alphabetical, I think. Tone, you're a big Tone. I know you have a question for Sankey, but you're also YouTube TV.
It goes like the traditional ABC, NBC, stuff like that, and then it gets into the sports networks. It's right in the middle there, right in the juicy middle. It's in a great spot.
Okay, perfect. What do you got for Big Sankey, Tone?
Yeah, Commish, we've been talking a lot this year, like when the NCAA rules, like in the Tez Walker situation or in a Harbaugh situation where they make a ruling, what if the team or the coach were to just say no? Does the NCAA have the power there? Does the conference have the power there? Like, does the NCAA can you as the SEC just be like, hey, don't listen to the NCAA, just play this kid, like it's fine? Like, how does that work?
Well, you'd render yourself ineligible for whatever there. So the conference made a decision. There was a lot of conversation about court activity, and that happens across college athletics. Depending on the court order, whether somebody plays or not, when somebody's just ineligible, the advice is always going to be don't play because you're going to either vacate that game or lose the eligibility for your team.
Okay.
That's like the direct bureaucratic answer.
Okay, let me give you another question that you could just give us a bureaucratic answer to.
What was that noise that we just heard?
They're practicing these flames, I guess, right over our shoulder. That was very loud. Shout out to the SEC doing it big. These flames were like Ray Lewis's last game in Baltimore big. We're talking fireballs shooting up to the sky, very loud. Handle it like a professional, which is what you are. So speaking of professional, college football has kind of become that, right, with the NIL and everything that's taking place. The NCAA is in an interesting time. Have you heard the chatter about maybe going away from an NCAA-run football league? Like Kirk Herbstreit, who's one of the biggest voices of college football for the last 3 decades, came on our show yesterday and was like, hey, the time is now. If we're going to move on from an NCAA-regulated football, it would be with this NIL, with the business of it all. Have you heard that? And how do you kind of manage all that while also still being an NCAA-affiliated club?
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard it. I just left a group of legends, former SEC football players we honor this weekend, and the last question out the door was from one of our former players saying, how long are you going to be a part of that? And there's a lot of complexities. I don't think you just move football. That's my view, because I can't look. Last year we had the highest ranked collegiate in the NBA draft, the number 1 and 2 picks in the MLB draft, the number 1 pick in the WNBA draft, number 1 NFL pick. You got to look them all in the eye and say, we're going to give you oh, by the way, we won the women's amateur, the men's amateur, the British Open. You want me to go on? We won 9 team championships, the CFP, and 8 NCAA championships.
It's different down here.
With that being said, you have to figure out how to treat your future Olympians in a fair way, too. And it would be tough to look the first round MLB pitcher in the eye and say, well, we can't do things for you because we're in the NCAA. Am I asked that question? Yes. But we have to have a national association. The association hired a new executive director. Charlie Baker was governor of the NCAA. I think he deserves an opportunity to see how we might improve. He and I spoke this morning about some of the key policy issues. So am I asked? Yeah. Do I think about it? I do. Am I asked more frequently now than ever? Certainly. Does that mean we just take the leap? We're going to give leadership a time to show leadership, and we'll have to figure it out after we see some direction.
That's an incredible answer, and thank you for giving us a little bit of substance there as opposed to just a PR one. You're a man.
Did I give an answer?
Yeah. I think I heard one.
Yeah, I'm asked more. I think about it more. There has to be a reason. It works in, Florida won, for example, the men's golf championship. That trophy with an NCAA logo has meaning because it's a standard.
Agreed.
We have to get that standard right, and it has to course correct right.
Well, and you also told us to give the new guy a shot, which, you're right. Maybe there will be a different feel from the NCAA. A.J. Hawk from Ohio State has a question for you.
Commish, I would love to ask you something, but I promised Ty Schmidt he has something he wants to ask you real quick.
Commish, just curious, not to look ahead. Obviously, this weekend, tomorrow, is a massive ordeal, but a piece of the schedule for the football next year came out, I think, a couple days ago, just kind of highlighting a few of the marquee matchups. How difficult was it going through and kind of putting that together with the addition of Oklahoma and Texas, and how much time went into kind of selecting those matchups?
Sure. First of all, we were trying to protect it because we have a show on December 13th. So somebody at ESPN apparently leaked it.
Oh.
Hey, shout out Pete Thamel.
Yeah.
Shout out Pete Thamel.
Peter.
Chris Lowe.
Oh, okay.
Second, he's wearing an Iowa jersey, and I'm convinced that Iowa has a big bag of offensive tricks for tomorrow.
Thank you, Commish.
I think they've been saving it all year. The defense is specialized, finely tuned. I think it's going to be a big bag of offensive tricks to pull off. And there's a lot. So we announced expansion. We were first in this current movement, July 21. We started August 21. Bunch of surveys, athletics directors, coaches, football players said we want fairness and balance in our schedule. And you're like, well, what does that mean? So then we defined it. It meant we want to see teams more frequently. We want to narrow the competitive bandwidth. In divisions, there's pretty significant disparities between team schedules. So that informed moving forward in May, we have an annual meeting in Destin. Great place for tank tops in Destin in late May, so you're welcome there to talk.
Hey, can we set up the show from there?
We could do it from the beach.
Yes.
I don't know what the rights
Sweet.
clearance
What's
is.
the date? No, we're clear. Rights
Memorial
are good.
Day week.
Yeah, we're there.
So there we decided to stay 8 games, a lot of noise. Then we showed the matchups, you guys may recall.
Yes.
Well, how can they stay at 8 games? We showed the matchup for 8 games in 24, and everybody has a phenomenal schedule. And then we wanted to take time about date placement. So to answer the question about how difficult was it was years long. One of the key decisions was, should everybody play Oklahoma and Texas the first year they're in the league? And all you do when you start making decisions like that is narrow your options. And it came to me and I said, we should prioritize playing Oklahoma and Texas. Every one of our current 14 plays at least one of those teams next year. And so it narrowed. We produced a whole set of schedules, eventually ended up where we are. Those dates, some of them have leaked out. But we'll have a show to celebrate that December 13th. And I'm really excited about what we'll see next year.
Texas and Oklahoma, 2 massive programs. Not just football, by the way, to your point about everything else. That Oklahoma softball team's coming in with some real heat, let alone Texas's baseball team and golf.
Volleyball, Texas volleyball. We have 8 women's volleyball teams, most of any conference. I haven't given that brag yet. And then we have Texas, which is the defending national champion.
Okay, so for all these sports, and obviously the focus for our show is on football, but we'll talk about all the sports. The big conversation is NIL has to have some sort of guardrail. And SEC schools never paid a kid before these NIL things happened.
Thank you for that.
Never. No SEC schools were cheating or whatever it was called beforehand. So it's all very new for everybody, obviously.
We're learning as we go.
Bingo. And we're in the early infancy stages of this entire thing, especially in the SEC and your conference. But is there something, how do you think the NIL conversation goes 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Because the worry is that everything's just going off guardrail. You heard Matt Rule yesterday say, listen, if you want a good quarterback out of the transfer portal, it's $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million. Feels like there's already a salary cap starting to happen. How do you think it looks, and what do you have to say about that? Are you a part of those conversations?
Oh, absolutely. I spent 2 days in Washington, D.C. So the other extreme is interview on CNN. So they don't wear tank tops for those interviews.
How was it there? Pretty good.
I was in the House Judiciary Committee room for so it's like the opposite. I've bookended my week with
This guy's got range. That's what they say about Sankey.
That was from Krusty the Clown Simpsons episode. He's got range.
Yeah,
so,
guys definitely got range.
We'll go back to the question. I am highly concerned because we are shifting authority of our programs away from presidents, chancellors, athletics directors, and coaches to others on the outside, collectives, boosters. We fought for years, despite kind of the smile and wink at the beginning, to keep people out of our programs to the greatest extent possible. And if you didn't, you were accountable for that. We've allowed new economic opportunities. There's a lot of health in that. No one's saying take it away. But the young people in our programs are saying, this doesn't make sense. They're saying, I want to know when I play in a football game and I line up at the line of scrimmage that the person across from me is under the same laws, the same regulations that I have to follow. I want to know the people that follow when they're 17, 18 years old aren't trying to figure out 20 different state laws being recruited. We still have a responsibility to educate. And some of these deals, and you referenced Matt, we overrun the opportunity to gain an education, to set yourself up for life, for short-term decision-making. These are things that the young people on our teams are saying to me, and this isn't like the walk-ons. These are starters. So we do need a different environment. If the status quo reigns, we're going to go further and further away. Right now, we've got this transfer portal that has been unregulated around COVID, a lot of freedom of movement. There'll be more restrictions, and so that'll make some of this a little bit harder to the question about waivers and transfers, but it can't stay as it is. It's just not a functioning system. There's no system of sport that's fully unregulated. There's just not. Globally, there's not. And so we've moved into this space where states determine, and if they make good laws and state A and state B has no laws, the legislators come back and say, well, why do we have any laws at all? If state B is not following anything, why do we have anything? So it's a time of change. It's uncomfortable. One of my concerns is the really, really good leaders get frustrated and say, I'm not going to function like this. I want to build a team. I want to build into young people. Yep, I want them to have opportunity. But I think some of what you even referenced at the introduction is a coach saying, man, this just doesn't make sense. There's got to be a better way to manage this than what we have right now.
You know what I'm worried about as well, and you said a lot about student athletes telling you these things and thinking about them, and obviously the commissioner of a college conference, so you have to think about the student human athletes. Like, some of these contracts that they're signing are terrible. Guys are signing some contracts to get some money, whether it's with businesses or collectives or humans, to get a little bit of cash to go to a place. And it's like the percentage of cash going forward, like there's some bad contracts being offered to these students as well. And that not being regulated, I think, is an issue. There's like so much. I'm a big let's get everybody all the money that they deserve type guy. But also, like, there's a lot of setup for failure here and potential getting screwed over by business, everything.
So here's examples. First of all, states that have laws, I know of no state taking action to enforce its law. There is a lawsuit. It's a former Florida football player. I don't know the details, but has filed a lawsuit because there was a signing for endorsement NIL purposes, and then he learned that extended beyond his college eligibility. That's the rough framework based on what I've read. I don't think that's a singular event. We know from researching some history of NASCAR drivers who sign away endorsement rights to access seats, music. In fact, you take the music one, I've got a friend that works in that space and says, you can't believe what people would sign just to access a car or apartment rent and realize, wow, I forfeited some rights to my catalog. European soccer and access for clubs and signing away rights. That's real. And we've provided no protections for young people. And this isn't like the 59-year-old conference commissioner saying, get off my lawn.
I'm 36.
Yeah. This is meaningful risk with no transparency, no oversight. Anybody can hit print on their computer and have a business card and a contract in hand. And we may not have people with the right advisors around our young people.
Yeah,
and they deserve better than this environment. Forget the coaches complaining for just a second. The young people in our programs deserve better than a state-by-state unregulated environment.
Hey, you'll get it done. AJ has a question for you now, even though Ty had one earlier. I apologize.
Oh, of course, I apologize. But have you ever thought and given any thought to possibly throwing your hat in the ring to become the NFL commissioner someday?
You know, I haven't.
$60 million.
I haven't. First of all, I know Roger Goodell, and I would not want to be the one on there saying, I want your job.
No, later, when he's done. When he's done. You know, when his term is done.
I set my course around the educational setting in competitive athletics. I think from my experience as a low-level college baseball player, man, I learned a ton on that baseball field. I learned a ton on a Sunday night because a coach came and told me what I needed to hear about my role on a team as a backup bullpen catcher and as a leader. And that has been kind of the wind in my sails for years. I never thought I'd be the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference sitting on the Pat McAfee Show, because it didn't exist back then, but in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, talking about college sports. But that's really my focus. So I haven't ever thought about the professional environment.
How are your knees? Good knees?
Yeah, I've had surgery on both meniscus, but I finished 41 marathons, so I think that may
What?
be.
Why are you doing that? Why? Whoa.
There's a level of mental wellness check that I need from that. That's my therapy.
So what are we on treadmill? What are we out?
I don't like treadmills at all. Now it's about 3.5 miles. I did 9+ miles 3 months after knee surgery in July this year.
Is this the thing you're going to be doing forever?
I just enjoy it. You put a pair of running shoes in a suitcase and your T-shirt and your shorts, and you just go for a run. And I enjoy that. Indianapolis is a great running town, as you know. Great running town. But trails, you can go out towards Butler along. There's a trail that used to be like a railroad track, and I got lost out there one time. And
Oh,
ran
yeah,
20
Connor
miles
runs
by
on
accident.
that. Connor, don't you run on that?
Yeah, a long time ago, Commish. I'm not doing it
I
anymore.
thought I recognized you from
Yeah.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
that same panda shirt on. We only got 1 minute before we have a hard out. Thank you for the hospitality. Thank you for being cool to this show, too. I mean, you obviously understand the show. You just talked about being on CNN and then being on this one. You've always been very kind to us, and it's an honor to be at your championship, sir. So
It's great to have you guys. You and I met in Indianapolis when it was the same two teams matched up for a national championship. You were kind to me. I watched. I thought Travis Kelce's brother, the interview you did, I was in New York. I watched that. I thought that was phenomenal, except I should remember his brother's name.
Jason. He's got a Southeastern Conference to worry about. We got champions all over the place. AJ, why don't you take us out while I let Mr. Sankey get back to actual business as opposed to wasting time with us. Good luck this weekend, Greg Sankey.
Good luck. Thank you very much, Greg Sankey. And boys, you heard that. Pat said we're wrapping this hour 2 up here on ESPN. We will continue on YouTube, ESPN Plus.
Yep.
Who knows what other platform, right, Conman?
Just those two. We actually do know. Yeah.
Just those two. I'm glad we
Unless someone's illegally streaming.
We'll be back. The
TikTok
Pat McAfee Show
too.
will be back on Monday. Take a quick break. We will see you on Monday.
Well done.
Nice.
Well done.
Good work, Hawker.
Well done,
Nailed it.
Age.
Great
Nailed that
job.
one. Well, Pat's what's he doing? Chopping it up
I don't
with
know,
Greg Sankey?
We taking a break?
Not yet.
Yeah.
We might take a break in a second or two. You got to pee? Are you going to pee your pants?
I always pee.
Can we go through the experience you had getting your hair cut?
Why?
Just because we
looks
we
so
brushed
good.
on it, but we didn't really talk about it. So someone came to your house.
This is the best haircut you've ever had.
I got a
Ever
text.
had.
Believe me, I've opened my eyes. I've opened my eyes. I got a text when I mentioned on the show, and the guy, Jake, was in his shop cutting. And
Jake the
show
snake.
was on. He texted me and said, "Hey, I can help you out." I met him years ago. Good, Pat's getting his ears back on. I know. I met him years ago. Reconnected. Found a time. Hey, come cut
It looks
myself
unbelievable. It
and
looks
my kids
unbelievable.
as well.
It's great haircut. Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
not saying this like to rile you up. I'm being serious. It's a great cut.
Good. I'm glad. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Do your boys all have the
My
same?
boys?
Yeah, your
Yeah.
boys.
Why do you say it like
Your
that?
sweet
Why do you
boys.
say
Do
it
all
like
your
that?
sweet boys have the AJ Hawk haircut?
They have something somewhat similar at times, but no, they've all had their own little thing. I don't know if Pat's back up and running or not. I know he and Greg Sankey may have taken a little selfie or taken
I love that
a pic
guy.
earlier.
He's
I
the
love that
best.
He gets it.
He gave us a real answer, too. And I feel like we ask him real questions.
Yeah,
We try.
Goodell would never.
That's what I almost told him whenever he said, I don't want to be the guy on TV who say, I want
should.
Roger Goodell's job either. And I'm like, well, you'd be saying his name would be more than his face would be on this program for one reason or another. You're not scared to come on, face the music. He said he was at Capitol Hill just a couple weeks ago not for your birthday party on January 6th, AJ, but because he's actually making actual legislative change.
House
This guy's doing real
Judiciary
stuff.
Committee.
Yeah.
He was there.
When the only time Roger's been there because he's been on trial.
Yeah,
Mr. Goodall.
Actually, I don't think he was on trial. I'll take that back.
That's not.
he's a witness.
Yeah, Dan Snyder was on trial.
Was he really?
He was crushing the House Oversight Committee, is what Roger Goodell was doing, which we can't reiterate enough. Raj, you're a real talent.
Yes,
He's a real talent. Guy's got a good brain. He's a good talker.
good hair.
Great hair.
It's
Come on,
open.
program.
Come dance.
Come on.
What if he wanted to?
Come on,
What
bro.
if one of these Fridays he comes here and he guest hosts? He sits here in your desk on a Friday. How sweet would that be?
That'd be awesome. He's a great talker. This show might be 5 hours long. I hope it is. Let's go ahead and do that. Imagine me in another city. Hey, Raj. Hey, real quick. Just as he's sitting at my desk, I would just. So, I remember I wanted to ask you. Just 1,000 of them. You know.
What's your first question, Raj? If you have to, what's your first one?
Raj, what took so long?
Yeah. How we get here?
That's probably, you know what I mean? That's probably the first one.
And then the basement.
Yep.
And then we're going right into the recliner. The recliner, the peanut M&Ms.
Yep.
How'd that whole thing start? Everybody said that was a marketing ploy. Then boom, we run right into business probably, if I had to guess. Now, I don't plan any of these questions, so I'm just trying to guess what he would say and then where we would head. But I know officiating would get brought up for sure. I know that would be probably pretty quick, pretty early. Officiating would be number one. And then a lot of player questions, you know, like why not babyface and just say the NFL offers vets insurance, you know, for longer? You know what I mean? Like, why don't you babyface it? Why don't you go ahead and do that? Like, there's a lot of things that I think I would ask that Roger Goodell would give incredible answers to. I think we would make him look good. He's scared to look good. I think that's Roger Goodell. He's scared to look good. That's why he won't come on the program. Back to Sankey. He, as he was leaving here, he said, I love coming on your show. And I said, well, thank you. He said he enjoys talking to us. He says he doesn't feel like he's getting interviewed. So he said he gives his, like, the most answers, like, you know. Sure. And I feel like he gave a lot of answers there.
Yeah.
Like he gave us a lot of stuff. He didn't give us any like PR bullshit answers in there, except for one. What was the one?
When I asked if the NCAA had actual power.
Yeah, which he has to. I think that is like potentially who he is. He kind of does that, and he brought up some good points in giving his just like kind of know it. But everything else he talked about, the NIL stuff from his perspective, that was really powerful stuff to listen to. You know what I mean? And then leaving the NCAA, him listing off all the other champions that they had.
That was sweet.
And his like, yeah, like, dude, he's good, man. He's very good. Your question about him maybe being the next NFL commissioner was the right one. And that's why the question about him, the NCAA doing away and not being worth it, to him is so good because a lot of people in college football are like, that's the guy that needs to be running all of football, all of college football. So that's good. He's the right person to ask that question.
Think about that, though. Like what Herbie said, was that just yesterday, about they need to unionize and all of this stuff. Can you imagine like the legwork that would have to be done for? Like, I don't know how you even start because these guys, the players that are making the money are only there 3 years max anyway. So it's like, how do you ever even start the process of that?
Yeah, Count Chocula, Peter Pan. You know, like that's what you start thinking of whenever it's like, well, they need to unionize. It's like, who's going to run?
Who's the ringleader? Who just says, "Yep, here we go"? And then can you imagine? There's so many college teams. There's so many players. If I was in college and they said, "Hey guys, I need you to jump on this Zoom call and we're going to chat about what we might possibly try to unionize someday," I would absolutely never respond to that text or call or email.
And these kids have no idea. They've never paid taxes. You know what I mean? They have no clue what is the right. No offense to them, they just haven't lived. Like that's just you haven't had to do anything.
They're kids.
Yeah. And your schedule is completely made for you in college football and in high school football. So like, who's the right people to listen to? The people with the most confidence. It's like, oh yeah, that's always the right answer. The people that are just willing to talk are the right one. And then you think about the other side. The business people, the agent people, whoever the representative of it's like, who do we trust to go and represent college kids with these billions of dollars at stake on the other side? You know, like that's going to be a tough position to fill as well. I agree that's the right answer, but I think we're going to take a while to find who should be running that. You would have to literally get like a Nick Khan, like somebody who, somebody that's ridiculously successful, already wealthy. They would have to be like pseudo-retired almost, and this would have to be just like a
passion project or something.
Jimmy Sexton?
He could do it.
I mean, I don't know if Jimmy Sexton's given up his career.
I was going to say, he's got a pretty good business model right now.
He's the one that negotiated the Jimbo Fisher $77 million buyout contract. For those that are wondering who Jimmy Sexton is, he runs it. He runs it.
Yeah.
He's a weapon, that guy. But he would be the right type of person to run it because he knows it so well, but he knows everybody on the other side, too.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, maybe not.
Well, they definitely need help because, like, that contract that Commish was talking about, that was the old Gators D-line. I think he was a second-round pick to Chicago. And that deal was 25% of his career earnings go to the people.
That should never be allowed to be signed. That should be illegal to have a kid sign that.
Yes, that's theft.
Yes.
And obviously, whenever you come from nothing, when you come from nothing and they say, hey, this is what we'll give you, you're just giving up 25% forever. It's like, yeah, hell, if I'm at 75% and more of a million is more than, 25% of nothing or whatever. It's like, yeah, I'll take it. And then they have no idea. And if they go on to have success, obviously they're indebted forever. The music industry is, we're learning more about that now than ever before in the past because of
They sound like lifetime 360 deals where they get a cut of everything for their whole the life of them as a musician. I know in that way Taylor Swift's had all those issues. Now she re-recorded everything on her own, right?
Yeah, and Taylor, obviously Prince was fighting for this way back in the day. So this has been something that has just kind of been the way it is. And as somebody that enjoys negotiating contracts and reading through contracts, and whenever you're negotiating with somebody and they don't think you're going to actually read the contract, some of the things that are put in there is like, yo, I would never in a million years sign. I want to let you know that. I want to let you know I am willing for this deal to die if you're going to put that in. No, that's just standard. That's just standard. You know, they try to outlaw you. It's like, no, well, not for me then. And if you're an 18-year-old kid, it's like, oh, you know what? Have your parents help you. It's like, could you imagine Tim McAfee and Sally McAfee, truck driver and secretary, going in there and negotiating with me to these? No way. They would have no idea what the fuck they're doing. And then it's like, well, you get an agent. It's like, oh yeah, agents are always good. Agents are always looking out for everybody. That's why the music industry has been the way it has been for so long. It's like, I don't know how you find the right person that is going to figure that out, but I hope they do. You know what I mean? I hope they do, honestly.
Good luck. I mean, when there's that much money involved, there's always going to be people in there trying to skim everything off the top and make sure that the problem is young kids will be taken advantage of. And we'll look back at this, who knows what it looks like 10, 20 years from now. But thinking of some of the deals that some of these kids signed, yeah, it'll be criminal. No question when all this stuff comes out.
Yeah, think about how much like car dealers try to fuck people when they're buying cars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's like that's like negotiation there. You get a chance to negotiate in real life. That doesn't happen often, you know, if you're not a person that's in a world where contracts happen. You get a chance to do it, and people are like, well, car dealers are slimy. Like, that's what everybody thinks. Well, the car dealers are slimy because those are the only people you negotiate against for most people. So that's what you think. This is how business is done. Like, everybody who's trying to get a deal done, normally trying to be slimy for their own side, let alone with 18, 19, 17-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been happening in basketball for like 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds. And it's like, I appreciate the fact that he acknowledged that as a problem, though. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate the fact that they at least know that that's an issue, because I want everybody to get paid money. I want everybody to get rich. But also, like, if you get fucked in a business deal, that's something that you carry with you for the rest of your life, too. And, like, that is... We got to make sure we get it all right, AJ. We got to make sure we get it all right. That's what we got to make sure we do.
College basketball is crazy, too, now, because they're doing the high school paid leagues. Like, there were 2 kids that played in that overtime challenge league where it's 16 to 18-year-olds, I believe, and you can obviously be paid, and then you can go to the NBA from there. But 2 of those kids tried to go to college after playing in the overtime league, and the NCAA wouldn't let them, so now they have some sort of suit going on, like, hey, just because I was paid in high school, I should still be able to be paid in college and play in college now.
I mean, what a wild time.
With those leagues, though, there's salary caps, I assume. There's like regulated what you can do, how you can do, probably a payment schedule, like even at the smallest.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're getting all these emojis that are popping up on the screen.
Yep.
Right
Oh, yeah. It happened during the interview.
It happened to me before my thing went blank the other day.
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
It was right on your face and Sankey.
Yeah. There we go. Who's doing that?
Hey. Oh.
Uh-oh. Is that AI?
Is that Bear Bryant's real hat?
Yeah.
Right here?
like
Actual hat?
Yeah, he killed the bird, took the feather, put it in himself.
Yep.
Got that out of his coffin.
Hey, respect.
Whoa.
Actually, he killed 2 birds, 1 stone. Took one of the feathers from one of the birds.
Damn right he did.
Has anyone killed 3 birds with 1 stone?
Oh, yeah. Seen it. My own eyes.
Where was that?
I don't know, have you?
Connor.
Really?
Connor did it.
Connor
Connor,
killed
why
3
you killing
birds with
animals?
1 stone, I guess. Yeah,
How do you think I
They're not
found
real.
out they're not real? Bingo.
Oh, he found the robot brains, Pat. He did. These guys have been eyeballing me, Pat. I think we're going to take a quick 5-minute break so these guys can take a leak. Everyone's
you
been
know what?
yelling at me.
You're talking, so we're looking at you.
Speak for yourself, pal.
Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
If your
I will
little
definitely go take a
bird
look.
bladder can't handle it, then just say
That
that.
is
You don't have
not-
to throw it on us.
Hey, just real quick, too. Obviously, I can't say anything to you. That's why I'm doing charades with the cameraman in the first hour. He's done a fantastic job, by the way. So we are trying to communicate via, like, things. So I don't know what's going on back in that studio whenever somebody's sitting right next to me and I'm having a conversation with them.
Yeah.
And I go, AJ has a question for you. And you're like, nope, actually, I don't. Ty does. Like, what a moment. You just threw me right under the bus.
Oh, no, I wasn't
to
throwing
Greg
you.
Sankey.
That's me. That's on me. That has nothing to do with you. I wasn't able to get in your ear and say anything. I was already dialed in on Ty and had, that was me.
But Greg Sankey thinks I'm some slapdick.
No, he doesn't. Why?
Well, because I throw it to you, and then we're playing a game
And
of
then he's like,
telephone,
he's
throwing
saying, why is AJ throwing? He's not thinking of you. He's saying, I wonder why AJ didn't ask him anything there.
Well, that's why I told
All
you.
right.
I said, hey, just take that question. Just use that one if you don't got
reasons why I didn't want to ask a question right that moment. It was on me, not on you guys.
I appreciate that we just played hot potato with that whole thing. But, you're doing a great job. You're doing a good job. But you left me out to dry there. A little bit.
If you felt I left you out to dry, I felt like I did it to myself, obviously. You didn't do anything. I did that. No question. But we are going to.
You could have just said, like, hey, your 3/4 zip looks good.
Yeah, who does all your fashion? Because, man, you're killing it.
And then you say, well, why you got to ask about his fashion in the middle of a football conversation? And then
But then at least we're out of the situation. You know what I mean? We're out
now we're right back into it. You're right. This is good. I like this. This is constructive feedback that now, because it'll never happen again, obviously.
Boom.
But it is good to know.
No, but I guess I also put you in a bad spot. I put you in a bad spot too, though. So that's on me as well. But I didn't mean to. There's pyro going off fucking behind us. There's a lot.
It's nobody's
There's
fault.
a lot happening.
We're doing great. Everything's going great, Pat. Do you have a bathroom you can get to? Here we go. Team on 3 real quick. Ready? Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team.
Do you have a bathroom you can sprint to?
Yeah, I almost didn't make it back the last time. It is. Stadium's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Stadium is beautiful. And it feels like they're on-field suites. You can actually see the game.
That's
Like
nice.
the SoFi,
Are they
the
elevated a little
SoFi,
bit or what?
It's just, they're farther away. They're not like underneath the bench. So it feels
Yeah.
as if you'll at least be able to see. That SoFi racket they got going on the field,
Terrible.
they ain't got that here at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is beautiful. They got some, I think there's a chef staring at me over here.
Also, most affordable
They have a hat?
concessions in the entire NFL. They do not do these spike prices. There's like bottle of water, $1.50. You can get a full-size pizza for like $20.
Hey, Hawks do that as well, right?
Yeah, they do.
Arthur Blank is like big on that stuff for Atlanta for the people going to the games.
And the Coonan family, obviously.
Yeah,
Of course.
Of course.
This laptop
Naturally.
doesn't work, by the way. I keep pressing play on this. Nick needs me to. I press it, and it goes right back to pause. Boom, goes to pause. I don't know if you have that or not, Pat. Do you?
Technology is a real motherfucker. You know what I mean? It is. You won't know why. You won't know why either. And then if you ask somebody else to come help you, there's a chance it'll just start working, and it's fucking with you.
Be careful.
Like
There's a drone flying around behind you. I don't want you to get hit.
Grab
Can
that
hear
thing
it.
like
Can hear
Sabrina
it.
did. Grab that sucker right out of the air.
Hey, throw one of them pigskins at it.
For real, that would be so sweet.
Throw that Georgia pigskin at it.
Look at him creeping up on it. Oh my! If you get this thing, I'll pay to replace it if you just smash that thing right in their face. What do you think everyone else in that stadium is thinking when they see this guy just creeping around?
I mean, camera guys
like a predator.
Does the drone?
Looks like the drone pilot's paying next to no. Oh, never mind.
Okay, here we go.
Come on over, drone pilot. Zoom out. We can't see.
Uh-oh. See if he wants to.
Oh,
there it is.
He's thinking about it.
Oh,
He's coming.
Kick him. Kick him.
Oh, you have
Get
to
him with the shit kickers. Kick it. Yeah.
Oh.
It's a good pilot.
He'll come back. He's coming back. You got to kick the hell out of that. Smash him right in the ground. Teach him a lesson.
Son of a bitch. Throw the mic
It
pack.
sounds like he's close to your mic. Is he coming over here to take your desk out? Whoever this drone pilot is, I give this guy some credit. He has his eye on the ball, man.
Is Zeke in Atlanta right now?
Oh, boy.
Wow.
That fucker's pretty good.
Yeah. That dude got some elevation quick when he saw you closing ground.
Thought you had it.
I'm in my boots, too. I feel pretty good about the stride that I had. I was going to lay out for that thing.
Yeah.
You got eyes on the pilot? Hey, great work, cameraman. Great work.
Good work, camera guy.
Tell who's flying that?
Yeah, Maverick.
Who is flying? That's a good question.
What if it was Sankey after he left? Like, hey, give me my drone. Let's go screw with Pat.
The flyer's over here somewhere. Hey, that was awesome. Thank you. Can you get the...
He saw it. Yeah, make sure
You
you
get
get the
those
refs. Get the refs, too. It's a good thing they're wearing their full gear today.
I don't think they're out there anymore.
Refs are gone. Refs are over.
Can we see?
No, you're not allowed to
PTZ.
say.
Here we go. I
Maybe-
like that we're working this out.
Maybe get one here.
Yeah.
Maybe get one.
We get one here.
Get one.
There you get one. Can we get one?
Maybe get one here. There we go.
There we go.
In the wall. Oh, there.
there he
Nice.
Oh, he's got the VR headset on too.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a professional.
That guy's legit.
Hey, that was good dancing with you, pal. I appreciate you, boys.
Now
I
get out of
appreciate you,
here.
boys. That guy's saying, don't you put your fucking face on.
Get out.
Man, that dude's probably been dropping bombs from drones for the last 10 years in some
What do you
warehouse
mean?
in Las Vegas.
Whoa.
Jeez.
That's
Hey,
how
hey.
it goes. That's modern day warfare, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's doing it for the country. So
Hell
there's
yeah.
nothing wrong
Hey,
with that.
For America.
Hey, he's the right one. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
the right one.
We saw him.
You see the nimbility of that drone. I saw that thing like turn because I did get kind of close.
Oh yeah.
And it was almost like when you start running, you're like straining. That's almost what the drone was. I think it was like
Pulling some
turning
G's, pulling 7-8 G's. I heard.
Yeah.
Well, and then hitting the evasive maneuvers to just get out of there.
Impressive.
Surprised he
You're a
didn't-
real talent, pal.
surprised he
You're a
didn't
real
launch
talent.
flares.
Oh man, this guy's amazing. All right, we're gonna take a quick 5. We're gonna try to find a way to get to the bathroom, Pat. Hopefully, you can sprint through some of those suites. Drone pilot's nice. Is he taunting you?
Who's that guy?
No, that's his commanding officer.
Yeah, I think so. He had Skycam Wildcat on his jacket.
Ooh.
What? They've never
How's
had.
Wildcat I just danced with out there? I think I just danced with Wildcat. You know, that's what we're doing here in Atlanta. I love that.
They're normal. You think they're used to probably having like a host of big programs chase their drone around, try to kick him and grab him in the air as they're practicing the day before games?
Yeah, you know, I don't. This place is coming alive, dude. This place is coming alive.
Let's
go.
It's great to be out here.
It is coming alive in perfect time too, because I think right after the break we will do our picks, Pat, before the great Arthur Smith comes on the program.
boy. Oh,
yeah.
Around 2:30, we will have Artie Smith. Right now, we'll take a quick break. The boys will get to the bathroom. They've been complaining and giving me the eyeballs all day long. Like, come on, man, let's get off the air. We got to take a break. So everybody, let's take 5.
Bye.
What an honor. What a dream. Being a part of game day was a joke. Being on the field for this is a joke. We continue to live the dumbest life of all time.
What a time to be alive. Let's enjoy the hell out of this weekend in 2023 enrollment.
We are live from an empty Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
All the off-season workouts, all the sickness, all the puking, all the commitment, all the dedication. We got 4 teams left, Coach. What's the vibe of that locker room getting ready for this game?
We're going to swing as hard as we can in this game, and CJ's our leader, and he's going to lead the way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're going to try to make the most dumb television on earth this evening live from this field right here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Darius Butler, 9-year NFL vet, played at UConn. That team stinks, but they're coming back. Stanford Steve here, and this man right here wearing a Wolf t-shirt underneath a sport coat. He works for me full-time. But what are you excited about this evening, Connor?
I mean, Pat, like you said, I have the IQ of a goldfish, so I'm not really taking all of this in strictly because there's so much. The moment is huge.
You know where you make your money, and this college level is the red area. Georgia, number 1. 120 is where Ohio State is ranked,
teams.
which is nuts.
Max Duggan is a dog.
Let Duggan cook.
Connor,
good job
there.
Darius. How are you boys?
Kirk, we say dumb stuff on the internet every day.
You guys be out there, Coach. See if he can cover him.
In the boots.
Clear on you guys.
Connor, you're on ESPN.
How about it?
How about it?
Didn't say fuck, didn't say shit. I was close, but I didn't do it. That's a win. That's a win. That's fun. It's electric. Look at this, man. Look at this.
Hey, Coach, I don't know if you headbutted one of your guys or not, but
Cut yourself shit.
you are awesome.
I got a 6-year-old son, man. I mean, it's
They're going to have to rely upon those dogs. Cade Stover, the tight end for Ohio State.
Yeah, number 8.
He's like 4th generation farmer. Sponsored by John Deere.
Yeah.
Okay, and they don't just put that deer on anybody.
Hey.
Yes. There's going to be billionaires barking. Okay, there's going to be billionaires barking. Grown folks in khakis barking in unison.
Wow. So much for that's got to become a thing next year. No, I'm serious. This close to go. Can't do that. Yeah, that was great.
You all right? You all right? You all right? Help him up. Help him up.
Spill anything?
Nope. You spilled your phone.
Could have been worse. Could have been much worse.
The college football playoffs are about to kick off in Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Peyton Manning. That's an Ohio fucking wet dream, not just a dream, dude. Did you see A.Q. Shipley stacked on top of Cube, on top of Cole? I feel a shot coming. Sound like Taylor. Oh, I told you!
I gotta go. To the bathroom? Let's go, baby. Wait a minute. Congratulations.
And the encore this evening is the reigning, defending, undisputed national champions in a home bout against the Ohio drove down here in a Sprinter van. His son puked twice on the way down here, broke an iPad, had the windows bashed in this morning. Just on the streets of Atlanta here. If Ohio State loses, would you jot this down as the worst trip of all time for you and your
We
family?
love adversity, Pat. We love adversity in Ohio.
In the end zone, Marvin!
Oh, Marvin!
It is so loud.
You can't hear a thing. Marvin Harrison Jr. ran how many routes, Connor?
I think he had a post, then he had a corner, then he had another post in the end zone.
Tough to guard. Nice to know everything he beat. This guy is all about ball. He is all business.
All ball, all the time.
Tunnel screen.
Looks like he's about 7'9", 550. He looks 2 feet bigger than everyone else out there.
D-Butt, look at his dog. Look at his dog.
Look at him. Look at him. One-on-one over there. Oh! Grab that thing.
Touch the ball.
We'll throw back the ref. Give that.
Throw that thing. Sing that thing. I do my ass ball.
Let me punch it. What a run. Again. That two tight ends. Deep shot. He's got him.
Are we live right now? And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Fours up. Put your fours up. Oh, it's coming right to me. Short. That's short.
Any thought of like a fake punt direct snap here, Pat?
That would be awesome. There it is. There it is. Time.
They call timeout. What happened?
The timeout on the fake punt in the fourth quarter is being described by a lot of people as maybe the greatest timeout in the history of college football.
You know, we've had 2 punts faked on us this year. We are very aware and know that people are going to try to steal possessions.
Connor, what quarter is it?
I believe, Pat, if I check my left hand, it is the fourth quarter.
Snap down, hold good. Kick is.
Looks good. Get it, catch it. Yeah.
What a kick to put the Buckeyes up 6.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge your great catch under the goalpost. I want you to know when I saw you make that, I thought for a second, is he going to return it? I had envisions of kick 6 when you caught that ball, so don't do that to us anymore. But
That takes a shot to the corner. And if you didn't know who we were before our show, yes, every day it is somehow this time. Wow, that's super. What a game. Let's put on a great performance. It was a good time, man. From all of us to all of you, Happy New Year. Enjoy the hell out of your evening.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. You pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport! Friday, December 1st. This is hour 3 of the Pat McAfee Show. I am AJ Hawk, sitting here at Pat's desk while he is down in beautiful Atlanta for the SEC championship game tomorrow. Football is on all of our minds, boys. We obviously had a big one last night. We've been talking ball all day long. We have Coach Artie Smith joining us here in a little bit, but Pat and I are going to get to one of our favorite segments, situations that we do. Longest running bit/segment that we've had since the jump. But we also have to look at the beautiful people of DoorDash. Pat, you can see Pat's finger, that left finger pointing up. DoorDash is just surrounding us in the moment. And I don't know about you guys, but DoorDash has changed my life. I don't know where I'd be without it. Mm-hmm. What about you, Pat?
Yeah, well, right now you can enjoy $0 delivery fees and reduced service fees on all eligible orders with a Dash Pass membership. Sign up for Dash Pass and get your first month free. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
Big time.
You said we're surrounded right now by DoorDash. DoorDash is around us at all times. I come down here to Atlanta, and I just pop on a DoorDash. You know, like I like the Zillow too.
Sure.
I'll go to places, and I'll Zillow. I'm like, what's around here? You know, what do we got cooking? If I wanted to move to this place, what is potential here? I'll Zillow. I'll go to towns now, and I'll DoorDash just to see what is on the whole operation there. You know, because it's not just the same stuff everywhere. It's neighborhood favorites.
That's right.
You can get a nice sense of taste of the town from your friends at DoorDash, and then obviously at home makes life a lot easier. I love DoorDash, and I'm thankful that they're on the program. And right now, you can enjoy the hell out of $0 delivery fees and reduced service fees on all eligible orders. What does that mean? Well, you get a little explanation on what an eligible
What's a non-eligible order?
I feel like if you
Probably something that is like too low. A lot of times, sometimes you got to qualify. You have to a certain number you got to hit for the zero.
They're not going to come out and give you free delivery for if you buy like a 99-cent
Bingo.
Yeah, lighter or something.
Spend $10, you're getting free delivery.
Oh, eligible.
Yeah, sign up now for Dash Pass. First month is free, and I love them. You can grocery shop on there.
Oh yeah,
you can do everything. I bought my kids gloves from Dick's Sporting Goods on DoorDash.
Yeah, I think I got a shirt from Dick's Sporting Goods for a show on DoorDash. I mean, DoorDash is like
change the world.
Thank you, DoorDash.
Love you, DoorDash.
DoorDash always
And
finds
also-
me cheesecake factories. Obviously, that's my favorite part about it. But yeah,
Yeah, bingo. They are fantastic. And, you know, you never used to get that delivered. I got a little bit more clarity on a situation that was brewing over there while we were showing the boys.
Yeah.
So drone pilots over here, bros, I think we like them. I think they're even going to send us the footage of me chasing that thing down.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah.
So I'm excited to see it. I watched the video back. I'm very happy I didn't pull my hamstring. I was pretty wide. I was wide open.
You're moving.
Skycam was not the Skycam Wildcat that I saw. It was not the drone. That's the competition. That is the Skycam itself.
Oh, gotcha.
So whenever it started getting off kilter and started racing me a little bit, I think Wildcat, Skycam is like, whoa, we're in the middle. Whoa, what are we? So I think there was a little bit of a dance in the sky between the drone and Skycam Wildcat. And I don't know if Wildcat was necessarily thrilled about the chase that was happening between me and the drone.
Is
So I'm happy
Skycam?
they're on. Go ahead.
Is Skycam Wildcat guy the guy that does the cool camera in that place? That does all the cool little shots from way above on the football?
Oh yeah.
No, I think that's somebody just standing.
It is. Yeah, it's a guy in the rafters.
Even further up.
Is it?
Yeah,
Or a girl in the rafters. Don't be so
Yeah,
come on.
jeez.
Tony.
I've seen the video with my eyes. I believe it's a guy.
I think it's right up there, actually. I think I see it. I think I actually do. See it.
Really? Let's go.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for the camera to get.
Okay.
It's tough. Yeah, it's way up there, but I think I have seen it. The Skycam is just standard, brought to you by the XFL, now on every single football game, Skycam, I think.
Okay. A lot of competition, I'm sure, between the drone pilots and the Skycam pilots. I'm sure there's a lot of animosity there that you do not want to step in between.
Well, we did, though. Like, I think we...
You
I think
asserted
we threw a
yourself right in.
We lived and learned.
A couple people probably
Yeah, I
got
think we-
fired for that.
No.
Who's firing? You firing the drone guy? No way. Did you see the way he was
If
flying
you'd have caught it, though, if you'd have caught it and punted that thing into the third deck, he's out of here.
Yeah, then he's done.
That would have been so sweet, honestly.
Just snatch it.
I was trying. In my head, I'm like, we can get him another one. Like, as you were like, hey, I'll pay for it. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. We can get him another one by tomorrow.
Yep.
If I can get a hold of this thing, I'm demolishing it. That is.
Yep.
I saw Sabrina Ionescu at Oregon when she snagged that drone out of the sky for College Game Day and broke it in half and then threw it on the ground. That's what I was envisioning with that particular drone as they're doing their test run just less than 24 hours away from the SEC Championship. So I was thinking, you and I were on the same page, AJ. You and I were on the exact same page there.
Oh yeah, we saw you creeping around. Let's pop this graphic up and see if we can get to our picks, our longest running segment here on the program. So you started off with a win last night, obviously, right? Didn't you take the Seahawks last night?
Nope. Got bullied in taking the Cowboys, but
you could've
last
fooled
night's
me.
last night for both of us.
It
last
is.
night's last night for both of us.
The past is dead. The future does not exist, Pat. We are right here. We are in the moment. We have Chargers, Patriots. Here we go. Chargers, Patriots. Chargers 5.5-point favorites. That seems like a lot. The Patriots still have a good squad. Defense playing hard. Who do you have here, Pat?
Well, I think I heard Lombo say he actually likes the Patriots in this one just because 5.5 points at home, Bill Belichick, maybe a little bit of a spark. For me, I see Brandon Staley with a little fire on the sideline.
There you go.
I see a little bit of no Keenan Allen.
He
That's what
didn't
Lombo
practice
said.
yesterday and Wednesday. I believe they got Slater back, though, left tackle.
How do you feel about this, Con Man?
I mean, it's Zappy, So the only way that I see this going New England's way is either he doesn't throw interceptions, which he hasn't really proved to do this year, or Malik Cunningham comes in after a slow start, and then it might get a little frisky with New England.
All right, give me the Chargers. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to try to talk myself into the Patriots, but I'll take the Chargers here, -5.5. I think Brandon Staley does. I think he has some fire here down the stretch. And as we move on to the Dolphins taking on the Commanders, Dolphins 9.5 points favorites. Seems like a lot in the NFL. With that being said, who do you have here, Pat?
Yeah, 9 is a lot. And if you watch that game last night between the Cowboys and the Seahawks, they almost covered. Cowboys almost covered that, and they were losing the entire game, and it was 9. So, 9 is a lot until it isn't. And I can't be watching this Hard Knocks in season too much because it's got me believing, Gumpy. I'm falling in love too much with that team from seeing what's going on behind the scenes in that building.
Hell yeah. A-Chain back as well this week. Another big boost.
Give me the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins -9.5.
A-Chain.
They need to watch the poop pipes in that stadium.
Yeah, careful.
It's the time of year where they start busting.
You're right. It does start busting right now when this weather gets cold. But yeah, I'm taking Dolphins -9.5 here. We're still on the same page heading into the Broncos taking on the Texans in Houston. The Broncos are 3-point dogs on the road. C.J. Stroud playing well. So is Russ Wilson. Who you got?
Give me the Denver Broncos in a non-sold-out Houston Texans stadium.
There it is.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I think you might be right. It might be the non-sold-out Houston Texans stadium, but I'm going to take those Texans as 3-point favorites here at home against the Denver Broncos. Tone, you looked up is there some kind of injury I don't know about?
No.
You freaked out for a second.
There was just some troubling news that I got an ESPN alert about. It doesn't need to be brought up now.
Okay, that makes sense. That looks good.
What?
There was a dead Longhorn found at a Oklahoma State frat house this morning.
Whoa!
Before they play Texas, and that's fucked up.
Huh? A dead Longhorn?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
What, they just shoot it right in between the eyes?
I don't know. I didn't get. I just saw the headline. It's it's a little too far. It's a little too far.
What I read, it was a
let's
fraternity
not be
prank.
killing Longhorns.
Is it real?
Was it already dead, though, and they scooped it up and brought it in?
Can't be doing that either.
That's bad. Either way, it's not good, right?
I don't think Longhorns are like roadkill.
No.
That guy's buzzing the tower. He's buzzing your head now.
I'm not from Texas, but I don't know. We don't like that type of stuff, boys.
No, we don't.
That's unacceptable.
It rattled me to my
Oh,
core, and I apologize.
There was stuff painted on it too, so it was just a real piece of shit act.
Did these guys really think that this was a good idea?
Okay, boys. Okay, nobody's going to find out. Is that what they're thinking? This thing's got 100 inches from tip to tip on this horn all of a sudden in the living room. Boys, come on.
Can't have
we
it.
need to play football on the field, not with the actual cow. Okay?
Exactly.
Let's move along.
Here we go. I think I might know your answer here, Pat. I don't know. Actually, we'll see.
I was going to pick Oklahoma State. Now we got a dead Longhorn.
Yeah, I don't know. That's football God's play of the week.
Yep.
Give me Texas. Oh, my. They might win by 50 in the name of that cow.
Revenge game, no question. What about this one, Pat? Right there where you are sitting, the team will be traveling to New York to take on the Jets. Atlanta Falcons, 2-point favorites against the Jets.
Listen, I'm not going to give this answer any differently.
Uh-huh.
Because Artie Smith is standing 6 yards away from me.
Yep.
Okay? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be as non-biased as possible. Give me the Falcons. -2 on the road in New York. Whenever you see this guy, he's a lot more fit than I think you imagine.
Nice.
You think mustache, you think last name Smith, you see Dick Smith in the pub in London,
Mm-hmm.
you think maybe this guy's like incredibly out of shape. You know what I mean? Maybe he's a 300-pound slob. That is not the case. He is tall and handsome. I did not expect this wherever he walks over. Got a nice, wait till you see this guy. He looks, and that is an omen and a mojo that I think is going to be tough to stop this weekend in MetLife. And although the story is one, and we'll ask Artie Smith about this, if the Jets win a couple games, maybe the greatest story in the history of football happens with Aaron Rodgers coming back, beating the Achilles, and then the Jets able to do that. Artie Smith's in the lead in the NFC South. Okay? Yep. They got a lot to play for as well. This ain't about what's going on in Hollywood, his story in New York. He's talking about what's going on in Atlanta. I like the Falcons.
All right, I like the Falcons, obviously, as 2-point favorites at home. You want to roll through and finish these quick before Artie comes on?
I don't think we should. Yeah,
Me
it feels
either.
like we should stop right now. And, yep.
We can pick it up right after Artie. He's getting Artie set up right now on his chair. Nick gets upset when I bend down to talking to the mic, by the way, but it's I understand it picks me up here, but it's something mentally, Nick. It just doesn't.
Yeah, you feel like you got to be on the mic.
You got because normally you do have to eat the mic. You got to eat the mic.
You just
normally.
look like an amateur. That's all it looks like. It looks like you're never speaking to a microphone.
Thank you, Pat.
That's it.
No,
that's what.
Because amateurs hold the mic 9 feet away from their face all the time. I have a practice of eating the mic because I know you usually do have to eat the mic.
Well, Nick says the same thing to me. It's hard not to get on top of that thing. So don't you worry. You're doing a great job. Nick also doing a fantastic job, though, just trying to figure it out.
Thank you
Speaking
again,
of great
Pat.
jobs, the man who this is his house, okay, and his team's currently in the lead of the NFC South. What a big-time winner, Saints. Ladies and gentlemen, head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, handsome Artie Smith.
Yeah, Artie!
Jesus.
Wow.
Great.
See him.
Great
Look,
fit.
he's strapping.
Wow.
Isn't he? He's a strapping lad.
Yeah.
Realize you're
I mean, that's
6'5".
One of the best backhanded complimented intros I've ever had.
No, we don't do that around here. What are you talking about?
That was awesome.
I would never
I loved
do
it.
that. Stadium's beautiful.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then you should have been here last Sunday. It was the loudest I've ever heard it. We got a drone behind us.
That fucker's fast. I tried to chase it down just a little bit
Yeah.
ago. It is not catchable. You know, last Sunday when Luda was in the sky, did you see him?
Actually, I didn't see it when it happened. I heard the song, and obviously, you got so much tunnel vision as you're coaching the game. I saw the video afterwards. I saw, the setup on Saturday, so I knew it was happening. I actually didn't see it during the game.
Did you test out the swing up there?
No. I don't think I'll do that. But
Okay, you're in the lead in the NFC South. You remember not too long ago. How long ago was it, boys, when we were in Georgia?
3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yeah.
3 weeks,
Yeah.
4 weeks, 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was bad energy.
3, 4
But
weeks.
they deserved it. We were going through a little bit of a slump.
But I'm saying now, right?
Now, I mean,
we're all the way
it's-
back, right?
Well, you don't ever want to get out ahead of yourself, but we feel pretty good. We got a big game going up to New York. Kind of a conflict for you. I know I'm a cheaper date than Aaron, but
certainly.
So and I saw you picked us, so that's good. At
Well,
least.
you were standing right
I
there.
know, you're pandering.
Yeah, absolutely. You know exactly
it.
what I was doing there. But let's talk about, are you worried about ruining the story of Aaron coming back with an Achilles quicker than anybody in history? Because if they're not in anymore, he's not going to play. You could potentially
That's
put
not
them.
my concern. He's not going to play Sunday, so obviously big fan of Aaron's, but we got to go win this game.
Yeah, but what about like the fairy tale that could happen there? You know what I mean? Movie.
Yeah, it's not really my concern. That we got to win this game. I know it's probably better for your ratings.
Great.
Right. Like I said, but it's not really my concern. We got to find a way to go beat the Jets up there.
Let's talk about you and Bijan's relationship. Obviously, that has been something that has been speculated upon all season. Last week, he's getting wet in the end zone multiple times. What have you seen from him, the development of him his rookie season, and where do you think we can go with Bijan?
Well, we got a lot of good offensive players. I thought he played pretty well last week. I thought the offensive line played really well. It was probably their best game, and all three runners got involved, and we got a lot of good weapons. That's the encouraging thing, is hopefully hitting our stride as we get into December.
You had beers with that offensive line outside the locker room last week, with how big of a game they had against an NFC South rival.
They got in trouble for that last year. So again, I just try to abide by the rules.
They had beers, AJ. They had beers. AJ, your question for Coach.
I love it, Coach. I may be there for your game on Sunday. I'm excited to watch your squad play in person. Obviously, quarterback Desmond Ridder. When you see what a quarterback goes through, especially a young quarterback in the NFL, like I say a lot, it's the toughest position in all of pro sports. Would you agree with that in one way or the other? And also, like, what is it like to try to step in there as a young guy, and how many things do they have going on inside their head the whole week, let alone on game day? How do you free them up and say, okay, here we go, trust the process, go out there and make plays?
Yeah, you just said it. You try to get them into that mindset. It's easier said than done. It is the toughest job in professional sports. That's what those guys, get paid the way they do, and it comes with the job description. But Desmond's a really tough-minded person. That's why we loved him coming out of Cincinnati. He's had some really good moments, especially when the pressure's on. Late in the game, the third downs, 2-minute, fourth quarter. And it's why we believe in him. But it's a long journey, as you know better than anybody. He did a really nice job last week, even coming back. You're going to hit adversity, and then the way he bounced back from those interceptions and gave us a chance. So we're excited about him, excited about his future.
Speaking of bouncing back, your face, that mustache.
It's quick.
Let's go.
Told you, the T-levels, man.
Hey.
It says a lot about you how quickly you can grow that stash back.
I think so. The team, by the way, if you see that thing come back, right, with it,
so
right?
fast.
Yeah.
Fast.
Can't say that's why, but it certainly didn't hurt.
Well, Luda hanging from the sky helps.
That helped too.
Tone has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, I do, Coach. Do you always dress this cool, or is it just because you knew that you were coming on the show in person today?
I don't have a stylist like some guys in this profession, Matt LaFleur, but
I think he has an eyebrow
and,
person.
just kind of have my own style, man. You got to try to stay classic so you don't go out of style, right?
I said you were a strapping lad.
No, that is great. I mean, I appreciate the compliment.
But to be honest, whenever we just see your face, whenever we're talking to you, I thought maybe there was a chance D tackle, offensive lineman.
I wasn't one of those like 5'9", stubby, 305 portly little D tackles. Not saying I was the most fit guy, but I did take pride in actually working out and being in shape, being strong. So,
are you still able to do that with how much time it takes to be a head coach in the NFL?
You got to find time. You know that better than anybody.
Survive, yeah.
Yeah, you do. Because if you let it, you try to make excuses. I mean, you talk about feeling awful by the end of the week. You got to make time.
So this season's flown by for us. We're just like we're in week 13 already.
Yeah.
I know. It's December 1st.
College football championships happening this weekend. For you, I assume it is so fast. Everything just kind of one day after another.
Yeah, it is. Like you blink, and old coach said this. Like the season starts, you blink, it's Halloween, then you realize it's Thanksgiving. All of a sudden, it's New Year's. It's just the way it goes.
But to be at this point, to still have everything in front of you has to feel damn good.
It does.
What has the messaging to the team been?
Well, I mean, it's same. The consistency. Like I've always thought this. The really good teams are playing their best football at the end of the year. So hopefully you get into the postseason, and that's when you want to peak. You don't want to peak in September, but you want to obviously play well enough where you have a shot to go win your division. Get into the playoffs, and then all bets are off then.
Oh yeah, Connor has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Arthur, I was going to ask about global warming and politics, but I figure I'd say that for a rainy day.
Well, I appreciate that.
I do want to ask you, however, hold on. There has been some DNA recovered in Peru that people are saying are aliens. It doesn't kind of mirror what our DNA obviously is like, and they're saying that here it is from a unknown species. What are your thoughts just in general about aliens as a whole? And also, if you want to dive into Peru, if you're a big fan of Peru, please go ahead. I would love to hear about it.
Well, I'm a big fan of Peru, but I'm going to stay out of this one too. I mean, the more you start thinking about space and the solar system and really the universe, it could take you into weird spots, which I'm sure you've had some deep conversation. I can tell by that the way that mullet's going.
Yep.
You probably have.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll stay out of that one on air.
I think that on air, sweet.
Okay.
Let's just turn these off.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get you duped for that one. Yeah. And then it just all of a sudden the video leaks out later. Yeah, I'm not that type.
No, we're not that type of media. We wouldn't do that to you.
Come on.
I would say this, and I like to keep this in mind as you have these deep thoughts about the potential extraterrestrials. Mm-hmm. We'll beat their ass in football. You know what I mean? Yeah. You line them up in an Oklahoma drill, they have no leverage.
Nope.
They will have no idea what to do, and we will alpha them with the game.
I would agree with that one.
You know what I mean?
But the rest of the stuff, the technology, I mean, I don't know if what's real, what's not, but but certainly in the Oklahoma drill for sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying, on the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not talking about in the sky with the drone in the sky. We're talking about on the field, on the turf.
I would agree with that, yeah.
In the trenches.
Okay, so we're good then.
We're good there, yeah, in the trenches.
Which is where you win ball games.
Absolutely.
You firmly believe that? You think that's the identity of your team and that will always be an identity of a team that you coach?
Oh, I mean, look, you want to play well in the lines of scrimmage. I mean, but, certain years, may, depending on how your team's built. If you build the team around the punter and then Peyton, I mean, that's what you're going to lean into, right? So you got to play the strengths of your team.
Winningest decade of all time. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, I know you said that there's not exactly a correlation between you growing back your mustache and you guys kind of winning and getting that NFC South lead again here. I've grown out a little bit of a mustache, trying to.
It's a handsome look.
Okay, I appreciate that. I'm trying to will my Iowa Hawkeyes to a victory in the Big Ten championship. Now, it might not be as full as yours, but could you? I mean, any tips, from a master mustachioed man on how I can make this thing look a little better than it currently does? We're just one day into this thing right now.
Yeah, definitely get in the weight room.
Well, I mean, I'm past that. I'm past that.
Well, it helps. You still need to do that. So.
What about summoning the power of that mustache to maybe win the Big Ten tomorrow? Where they're.
I can see it. I mean, we got Parker Hesse back last week. Direct correlation. He's an old Iowa Hawkeye, converted defensive end, old Iron Hawk winner.
What college did you go to?
North Carolina.
Oh, man, had a chance this year.
Yeah, I did.
And then they lost in a non-sold-out stadium.
Yikes.
Yeah. Well, I still root for the Tar Heels, but I'm sure it was frustrating at the end.
You don't get to pay attention to college ball during the season,
I mean, you know how it is. You catch it when you get to the hotel. Sometimes it's on in our we're on the road in the meal rooms and stuff like that. You're certainly aware of what's going on, but you don't sit there and watch a game for 4 hours.
So I'm from Pittsburgh, NFL town, Indianapolis.
Which is a shame that you don't have a stash. Like, how many people from Pittsburgh?
Yeah, but look at my dad had a great one. Look
Bill
at my hair
Carr.
color. You know what I mean? It's
Russ
just-
Grimm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mike
I worked with
Ditka.
Russ. I mean, Russ might have the best stash. And
Yours
those are
is-
great ones. Cower. I mean, those are elite ones. Ditka.
Yours is getting up there, though. You need to know
I
that.
appreciate that.
There's some good
We got to win
jurors.
some more games. Or
Wand stash.
Russ might have had the best.
But for me, it's not the right color. You know,
That's true.
I can't do it.
Yeah, the blonde is. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would have to do the whole eyeliner thing.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
No, I don't want to do that.
No.
That's disgusting.
Bob
Down-
Sala.
anyways. But yeah, he did that to his whole beard. You see, Coach, you're playing this weekend. Don't say anything. You're right. That's well. Go look at us, looking out for people. But fuck, where was I headed?
Pittsburgh.
Is that in your contract? You're allowed to.
Oh, Pittsburgh's a.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pittsburgh, NFL town. Indianapolis, NFL town. Down here, it's like the South. It's different. You know. Do you experience like that? This is a college community. Is there any difference being in like a SEC country type team as opposed to anywhere else you've been?
Oh, I think it's both. You got some diehard Falcon fans. Like, they love the Falcons here, which is awesome. And I felt the same way when I worked in Tennessee. And then growing up in Memphis, people love football in general. And, you know, obviously the Falcons have a great fan base here, but all over the Southeast, I mean, the SEC is like a religion. Yeah. So they're two different things. I mean, I think they're both. And there's absolutely people who are passionate about the Falcons, but the SEC, I mean, it is a religion.
And in the NFL style, number one in the NFC South. Just a couple weeks back, they were calling for you to get the hell out of town. And now what are we doing, boys? Maybe hanging a banner up here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Woo! We can't thank you enough for all year, pal. Good luck this weekend.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Hey, remember, though, if the Jets aren't in it, he's not going to come back and play.
That's between you and Aaron and the Jets.
Thank you, Coach.
Go Falcons.
Thank you.
You have a big part in that.
Absolutely.
Rise up.
bro.
We still don't have the
I
FedEx
picked you guys.
deal
I
either.
picked you. Remember that? I picked you guys -2.
Oh, well, just glad you picked us.
Is Dick Smith?
So, but that is a good question.
Yeah, Tony brought up a good point.
I don't know if he ever works. Only time I see him, he's in a pub hammering beer.
Yeah, we'll have to audit that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, as a shareholder, I mean, you ought to demand to know what he's doing.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
We should start asking some more questions.
We'll get that done.
How many brothers and sisters? How many? The whole family?
I'm one of 10.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Where in the
That was
list? Where are you?
I'm the 4th youngest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
6 oldest.
6.
Tomato,
6?
tomato.
Well, I don't know which one you count.
Yeah,
I don't know which one you count. Because whenever you count like people's years in the league and you look at Wikipedia.
I know that always screws people up, right?
Yeah, because you count the first
I
year,
know.
but it's
Yeah.
you do the math. It's not. So you're the 6th oldest. That's awesome. You got 5 elders.
You guys are struggling with math.
7. All right, anyway,
six old.
Yeah, listen, it's not. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
We don't know his family. I don't know his. I wish I did. Honestly, are we ever going to get invited to a holiday?
Absolutely. You guys are coming this summer.
The summer,
We're flying
yeah.
you in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everybody.
He's 6'8".
I'd bring everybody. Yeah, we got room for everybody.
Wait, what do you mean?
we jet
weren't
ski?
we weren't
Yeah.
before, Arthur? What the hell happened?
Dueling grilled cheese just for this game.
What is this? What is this?
The 2-foot-long dueling grilled cheese.
Eat it all.
2 foot tall
So
dueling.
This represents both teams, UGA and Alabama. So we have pulled chicken on one side, brisket on the other.
Ooh.
Specifically for SEC championship.
Just joking.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Is that the Falcons
Matt, I appreciate you.
team
I'm gonna
side?
eat the hell out of this thing.
Enjoy it.
Thank you so much. He did have a great beard. That was good. He would have a phenomenal mustache if he wanted to.
He did. He would.
If he really wanted, I think he could. Thank you for the hospitality.
I appreciate it.
See you,
Good
brother.
seeing you, brother.
Have a good one, man.
All right.
Thanks,
Hey,
Coach.
boys.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Good
luck, Artie.
He's strapping.
Yeah.
Is he 6'8"?
He's huge.
How tall, Artie? How tall are you?
I used to say 6'4", but probably really 6'3".
That's not true.
He said. Did you hear what he said there?
Yeah.
He said he's 6'5". Artie 6'5".
Yeah, he's 6.
Oh, okay.
We need to start talking about him in the coach wars.
Yeah, I think he can handle himself.
He can take Vrabel.
How pissed is he when we talk about it? If he ever sees clips of us talking about coaches fighting and we never have put his name in that list, I bet he gets so upset.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, he's fucking.
I was seeing his arm. He's wearing that vest. His shoulder capsules, his arms are jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I think he's still working out on a pretty regular basis. This is Dolan grilled cheese, boys. This is just in town here for the SEC championship.
You got to eat the whole thing.
Looks absurd.
Is this like a challenge? You got to eat it under a minute or something?
So this one's chicken with a grilled cheese, and then this one is the brisket, I believe.
Ooh.
So I don't know which one's which, though. I don't know which one's Georgia, which one's Alabama. What would it be?
The bread looks real good.
Would Georgia be brisket?
See, I was going to say chicken because of Chick-fil-A and whatnot.
Oh.
Sure.
Oh.
Good point.
Jeez.
Oh, that bread looks scrumptious.
It does. Those bell peppers?
Oh, this looks really good, doesn't it?
Oh, you can
hear that
what a crunch.
What a crunch.
Perfect crunch.
Best bread crunches I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That was a movie.
Pretty good.
That was a movie.
Pretty good.
Is that the Falcons team chef?
I think so. What do you? Are you the head chef here? He's head chef. Can you grab that handheld right there? My man. I think his name's Matt. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's connected. I apologize. That's on me.
No, all good.
So you're the senior executive chef for the stadium?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this was chicken, you said?
Yes. So we have pulled chicken on this side and then brisket on this side.
I was about to say, that did not look like chicken as I was eating.
Yeah.
Which one's for who?
So this is the Alabama. It's got the Bama white barbecue sauce, pickled green tomatoes, and this one over here, brisket, caramelized onions, and a Tillamook cheddar.
How much does this sandwich go for?
$25. Not bad. Not bad.
$25?
$25 for that.
Ask him how many it usually feeds.
How many people normally eat this?
I'd say we'll probably cut it in 4, so I'd say 4 people easily.
That's a
could
good
eat that.
price.
Wow,
Oh,
looks
my
good.
God,
Nice.
it looks good.
What you think?
The Alabama side's much better.
Yeah. Good
What if he
stuff.
hated it? If you hate it, though, you probably wouldn't say anything.
He can't hear what you said. I would say if I hated it, right through his face. Okay. I would, because I'm never meet this guy again. Hopefully, I get a chance to eat his food again, though.
Yes.
You did a phenomenal job, buddy.
Thank you.
Do you guys do
Appreciate
specialty foods for every game?
We do, yeah. So we come up with it's actually right up there, Molly B's. So that's named after Arthur's mother, Molly Blank. So we do a featured item every game, and it's just for that game. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Nice. What are some other, obviously you got the hot dog, the nachos.
Yeah. So we have a lot of the fanfare. I have the board right over there, actually. So that's everything you can get for $20 at the stadium. You get pizza, pretzel, drink, popcorn, chicken tenders, fries.
For
Goes on
$20?
days. $20.
Hold on. We were
Yeah.
talking about this earlier in the year because I think the Hawks do it as well with the Coonan family. The Blanks, I think, wanted the experience to be good, so that's why everything isn't ridiculously overpriced.
Exactly. Yeah. And that'll never change. That's been since we opened the building. That'll never change.
Oh, you've been a chef here a long time?
Yes, 6 years. Yeah.
Killing it, Matt.
Appreciate you.
Has he ever met Guy Fieri?
I am, yeah. I'm from here. Yeah, originally California, but moved here probably about 12, 13 years old. So been
Any
here a
celebrity chefs you got any beef with? Or
Guy
anything?
Fieri?
while.
You know
No,
a guy?
no, not at the moment. I don't.
What about Bobby Flay?
Bobby Flay, cool guy. Cool guy.
Guy Getty?
No,
Yeah,
he slept,
absolutely.
He slept with Ari's wife.
Yep.
What about Rachel Ray?
Rachel Ray?
Rachel Ray, yeah.
Guy
He's
Fieri.
Good. He's good.
Do you so like for us, we'll watch something and be influenced by it.
Yeah.
Does that happen in the chef
Oh,
world?
yeah, absolutely.
Who do you think you pull from the most?
Ooh, honestly, I use the internet. I use everything at my disposal, so always doing research, Instagram, and just, trying to draw inspiration and always be innovative, come up with cool items.
If you're on Chopped, you do good?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Have you been on any of those
I have
shows?
not, no.
Come
Not
on.
yet.
Oh,
on,
okay.
dude.
Guys,
Hey,
grocery
this is
game.
good.
Thank you.
I appreciate the hell out
Absolutely.
of you. Matt Cooper.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Good work, Coop.
Matt.
Good work, Coop.
That was awesome.
The Alabama one's really good.
That's the pulled
The
chicken.
pulled chicken.
I'm more of a chicken guy than a pork guy myself.
Okay.
So I think I would naturally say that. But like this one, what is this, a pepper, obviously?
Fried green tomato, I think he said.
Jeez.
I thought he said sweet pickle.
Yeah, I thought it was pickle.
Oh.
I think it might be.
What's the green thing on here? He said all the things you guys just said, actually. Pickled something tomato.
Pickled green tomato.
Pickled green
All right.
tomato.
So not
Everyone's
fried.
right.
Not fried, just pickled.
It's legit, dude. This one's good. If you're coming to the game tomorrow and you're watching this, you shouldn't be watching this. First of all, there's something else on the SEC network that's definitely better than whatever show we're doing right now. I learned that from Sankey. How about they got both coaches on there tonight?
Yeah, that's sweet.
It's incredible.
That's an event.
Yeah.
They're doing that thing live. They're going to be sitting together. Good for them. I can't wait. And I like the fact that he pubs the SEC network. This thing is so good. This thing is so delightful. All right, let's get back to our picks.
Yeah, let's pop this graphic up. I think we've gotten through almost maybe half of these games. I think we left off the Detroit Saints game, right, guys?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay, Pat, here we go. I know you're killing that sandwich, man. I bet everyone else behind the camera sitting there waiting for it to be over so they can go grab a slice of that themselves. It does look very good. Pat, here we go. What do you think? Lions are 4.5-point favorites in New Orleans. Ooh, what is this game? What's going to happen here? Who do you have?
I'm worried that on Thanksgiving,
Oh boy.
Are they broken?
Wow.
it wasn't an anomaly.
Whoa.
I'm worried
Oh, no.
that what we read on Reddit last week kind of was true. I'm worried that maybe all the Goff that we've seen where he's been great isn't who Goff is.
Oh no.
But that won't stop me from believing. I don't think this is the same old Lions. I think this is the brand new Lions. And I think on Thanksgiving, you can have a bad day. People thinking about turkey. People thinking about stuffing.
What?
People thinking about ham.
What?
People thinking about sweet potatoes.
What?
People thinking about yams.
What?
People thinking about lasagna.
What?
Whatever the case, that can happen. I believe in the brand new Lions, and I believe they go down to the Bayou, and this is a great bounce back game for MCDC and that entire team against a reeling Saints team where I don't know what the future looks like down there.
I have a hard time picking the Saints here, honestly. What was Derek Carr saying to that guy? He was getting pissed off at the someone asked him, "Oh, you keep asking the same questions. I'm gonna give you the same answers."
About the red zone offense.
Yeah.
Couldn't score.
He wasn't really pissed, though.
No, he wasn't, but I understand being frustrated with different questions that continue to come the same things over and over. But I do know now, like watching, it does it's tough to keep it, just sit there and try to be cordial and try to give great, polite answers. That's not always easy to do. So I like Derek Carr's got some fire, some passion. I love that about him. With that being said, I'm gonna have to take the Detroit Lions -4.5. I think.
Good pick.
I think Dan Campbell gets these guys back on track.
Dan
I
Campbell,
do think it was an anomaly.
Dan Campbell used to coach at the Saints. Aaron Glenn used to play at the Saints.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Brunell used to play at the Saints. And JT Barrett also used to play on the Saints. All part of the Lions coaching staff. I don't know if you want to call that a revenge game, but they're going home with a W.
That's where Brunel made some investments, and then also
Genius.
Smart one.
Deuce Staley, is he back on the sideline for the Lions too after getting released by the
should be.
Carolina Panthers?
Not yet, but I really hope they do bring him home.
Okay.
We'll see. All right. As we move along, we both have the Detroit Lions there. Let's go. Arizona Cardinals taking on the Steelers. This is a game that Lombo likes the Steelers in. Cardinals are 5.5-point favorites on the road in Pittsburgh, Pat.
No,
they're not.
Opposite.
Dogs,
They're not.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And I think, you get a chance to hear Mike Tomlin speak about TJ Watt being the best. Oh, thank you, Fosso. Foss looks good today. You guys should see the fit.
I bet.
He has a
Really?
sweet beard in Atlanta, doesn't he?
He looks phenomenal.
Show us, Foss.
He's got this jacket. He knows.
Tell him to show his face.
I actually just saw his face say, "Fuck it, here. I will come walk over here."
Yeah.
Okay.
I am not your puppet. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Is that a model?
This guy.
Shoes. Look at his shoes.
Look
at
how
his shoe
cool
game.
that
Look at his
jacket
shoe game.
is.
These shoes.
Get the shoes.
Yeah, I mean this is
Jeez.
this is a Fosso fit.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
is.
Fosso fit,
Those feet played for Real Salt Lake, baby.
and others, Philadelphia, I think as well.
Whoa.
Fossos.
The Union?
Yeah. Hey, senior vice president right there.
No big deal.
ESPN.
I still don't believe that.
ESPN.com.
I'll be honest. I've given that some thought. I don't believe it.
So here's the thing
created the
about old
website.
Fosso. If this ends up working, this show here on ESPN, like long term, Fosso might be like a real big power player in the entire world, like 10, 15 years from now. You know what I mean? That's how this whole thing. Now on the flip side of that,
Exactly.
So let's think about that. We love Fosso. We love everything about Fosso.
Love him.
This could go one way or the other for him, and that's a lot of pressure because of how much we like him. But also, this guy is awesome, legit.
Love you,
Fosso
Love you, Foss.
Fosso is awesome, and he gets it on the shins for some of the shit that we do. And I mean, to be completely transparent, I do not care personally.
Nope. Nope.
But I do care that Fosso has to take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
he's a
makes
good
sense?
guy too. Yeah, I know.
It'll all be worth it when he's arguing with other billionaires on media rows and stuff like that in 10 years.
Bingo. This is a guy on a morning show that came in, you know what I mean, with the sweet hair. What's his name? The guy with
Corey.
the-
Yeah, Corey. Yeah.
Corey.
There it is.
Corey.
Billy
Got
Crudup.
Dawn?
Billy Crudup.
John Hamm?
Billy Crudup.
Billy Crudup.
Oh, John Hamm came in later.
Yeah, he's playing
It's a good
Elon
season.
Musk.
It was a good season.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Hey, did we finish? Did you guys finish Squid Game reality challenge?
Yes.
Not yet.
No.
Hey, it's a great show.
And
Is
you,
it good,
you
Pat,
were,
really?
you were right about that last game with the acting and whatnot. That was great TV.
Great television. I mean, it's like 25 minutes straight where it's like, okay, here we go. Let's do this. Couple dogs out there.
Couple dogs.
Such a good show.
Couple dogs. I cannot wait. I don't love how I want to just be able to watch the whole thing and be done with it. Don't love that I got to wait for a week now, but it is what it is. I've been very, very impressed with that.
So, Ty, why are they giving that much money away? $1 million would have been enough. I think $4.5 million. Okay, we're sweet. Thank you for doing that. That is certainly life-changing money. Whatever we find out at the end about it all, I can't wait for it to continue to unfold. I think they got it right here. Like, release 4 episodes so they kind of dominate the weekend. And then another week, let's do another 4. So they're kind of getting, people can binge 4 episodes. You're still being able to binge. They're not giving out all their shit at one time, which I think some shows and some platforms don't like doing anymore. They're like, we're going to do this like the old school 1 episode a week type thing. I think they got it right here. And then with the finale coming out all by itself, I really appreciate what they've done with this. Netflix has done with this. I just would like to go on record as stating that.
Yeah, I get the finale piece. I guess the only reason I don't love it is because that was the whole point of Netflix when they first did it, was like, hey, we're just going to release everything at one time. But I also got lucky because I didn't watch it right from the get-go, so I could kind of just burn through 8 episodes or whatever it was in a row. But I didn't know if I'd love it. It has been a tremendous watch.
Is this what Mr. Beast did? How is it? Like, didn't Mr. Beast do the whole big situation?
Yeah.
Like, is it like that?
His is similar, but I don't think he had he didn't have the resource. I mean, I suppose he could have.
So I'd assume the characters are good. If you guys both if Pat likes it, because usually 3 minutes in, you might not be watching. So the fact that you like it makes me intrigued to at least give it a shot.
It's worth it. You're just watching a social experiment happen.
Bingo.
So they must have casted the right people then. Because usually you had to have some people that are characters to make a show legit.
456 people casted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's great.
See, I don't know
show.
anything about Squid Games other than Mr. Beast set up the whole crazy set during COVID and did all that, but I don't even know the origins of what is the origin.
Well,
of
and that's what's
Squid
nice is I don't think you necessarily
was a
need
written
to have
show.
seen Squid Games to watch the show because it is just like
I wasn't going to.
It, like Pat said, it's very similar to like Big Brother. But then it's just got, I don't know. It's tough to describe, but if you watch it, it is. It's a fascinating social experience.
You guys sold me. You sold me. I'll watch for sure, Pat.
There's a lot of lawsuits coming out of it.
True.
People getting hurt bad?
Allegedly, from what we see, it's vastly different than it actually happened. What'd you say, Nick, in that stop, go,
red
all
light,
day?
green light?
Yeah, they were like stopped for like 45 minutes, but on TV it's like 6 seconds.
Yeah, the way they edit it, you have no idea how long those people were in that dormitory for. You have no idea how long the games are taking. It looks like it takes like 20 minutes, but I assume, and what we read was they were like stopped and going for like 45-minute intervals and having to get everything reset and have everyone hold a pose for 45 minutes. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, that's part of the game. You're winning $4.5 million.
Bingo.
I assume that's what.
One person?
That's what.
Yes.
Winner take all. Oh, I like that, man. That's pretty good. So people will backstab. People will do some crazy things to try to win, I'm guessing.
Bingo.
Yeah, there's been a few of that. But also, like, the games are just, like, so, I don't want to say amateur.
They are.
They're, like, so amateur. And it's, like, the stakes on these little, like, just the dumbest games imaginable. There's, like, $4.5 life-changing money on the line for it. It's awesome.
Right.
I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to give it away.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't. I'm loving it.
Oh, okay. All right.
How many episodes in are you, Connor?
2 episodes in, halfway through the 3rd episode.
Oh, you got so.
How many are there?
I know 9. It said.
Yeah, I believe there's been 9 so far, and then the finale is next week or something like that.
I just dropped mustard all over my left leg.
Son of a bitch.
You got a tied to
I didn't even know the Alabama side of the sandwich had mustard on it until it landed on my leg. Worth it for how good it tasted.
Yeah, definitely worth it. Let's pop that graphic back up there. Oh my gosh, you guys are ahead of me. This is unbelievable. Oh my gosh. Did we pick Cardinals Steelers yet?
No.
I don't think we did. I'm actually I don't know where I'm going here, Pat. What are you thinking, Cardinals Steelers?
Yeah, so I'm with Lombo here. I think the Steelers are kind of reinvigorated after the Canada firing. Normally it's a head coach firing, that can really lift a team and get them going and almost always guarantee that they're going to win the game after a head coach gets fired. It's like a thing. Matt Canada seemingly had that effect on the boys. I don't think it's over. I think they're just beginning. I think Faulkner, the new OC, right, Diggs?
Yep. Sullivan's calling the plays.
But I think they're just getting into their bag. I think they're just learning stuff. Freiermuth having a career day. It's always good to have a tight end play.
Huge.
You know, might as well have a tight end in 2023. They're just learning how to play like varsity level high school offense football there. So I'm assuming that's only going to get better. And I think Cardinals are in a spot, although I like Kyler. Acrisure is a home field advantage for real.
Make us
Give me
back.
the Steelers and TJ Watt.
Bud.
All right, you're taking the Steelers, and they are 5.5-point favorites at home. Minka Fitzpatrick is back this week from a hamstring, I believe. So that is good news for Steelers and their defense. Yeah, I got to go Steelers here. I love their defense. I love what their offense kind of opened up last week, pushing the ball down the field, actually throwing in between the numbers. Pretty cool to see. I want to see Kenny kind of flourish in this kind of new role that they have right now and what they're doing as we move on to the Colts taking on the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. Colts 1-point favorites on the road. That's a big deal, Pat.
Nah, don't act so surprised.
I'm just saying, to be a favorite on the road, yeah, it means you're a good squad.
Hey, Foxy, pull up that playoff thing right now. If there was to be playoffs, you know who would be in? Oh, who's that?
Boom.
The Colts.
Oh, they're in the hunt.
Oh, who's not in? No, we're not in the hunt. We are in. Right, look, I don't know if you see it.
The playoffs
right,
don't start yet, though. That's the problem.
But for the conversation we are currently having, the Indianapolis Colts are a playoff team. So that's just what the world needs to understand.
You're right.
So what? We lose the number 4 overall pick. So what now? Oh, I don't know, Minshew Mania. Okay? Not only is he leading the Indianapolis Colts, he's also leading my fantasy football team.
Yeah.
He's leading that fantasy football team after we lose Joseph Burrow a couple weeks ago. Oh, you lose Jonathan Taylor? We got Zach Moss. You ever heard of him? He was running for more yards than Jonathan Taylor before Jonathan Taylor came back. So it's like this Colts team with Shane Steichen, they have a mentality and a mindset of a Vrabel-led like Titans team. So for me, it's the playoff caliber, Super Bowl champion caliber, Indianapolis Colts going on the road and getting a massive win, 1 p.m. on CBS.
Okay, Colts. You're taking the Colts as favorites.
We are live. We are live right now. We are live right now. Do you know that? You son of a bitch. We are live, Herbie.
What'd you do?
Oh, he's live. We are live right now, Herbie, okay? Well, hold on. I'm going to put you in the microphone. I'm going to put you in the microphone so they can hear you. Hold on one second. Go ahead.
You son of a bitch.
What? What did we do?
Did you watch the game last night? I mean, all we do is complain about Thursday night. I texted you during the game. I get nothing back. Did you fall asleep?
I was enjoying the game. I hang out with my wife.
Family time
last night.
I mean, you can't. I mean, what's going on? I'm thinking of this dude's missing a doozy tonight. I know the boys stayed up for it.
Listen, I know you're probably in Vegas now because you got a big game tonight. I was going to send you a text this morning, let you know. It was nice going to bed with you guys last night, watching a football game, and a good game.
You know what? You guys had Greg Sankey on, just breaking it down with him. That was tremendous.
Okay, he said some real shit in there, Herbie, don't you think?
No, that was fantastic. You guys, that was you showed he's a human. That, as you say, that was terrific. All right, I know you guys are in the middle breaking it down. I'll let you go. You got a lot to get to the bottom of.
No, let us know about tonight. What should we think about tonight?
Hopefully a shootout, man. Hopefully it's one of these games, 45-42. I mean, you know Oregon's going to get theirs. I just hope Penix. He's got his slot receiver, McMillan, who's been eased back the last couple weeks. He's so valuable to them. So if they have all three of their receivers, I think Oregon plays so much man. It could give him an opportunity, if he has time to throw, to kind of spread the defense out, make some plays. Again, Oregon's going to leave their corners on islands. So hopefully we get a shootout. Which quarterback has the ball last Pac-12 championship game ever. Winner take all. Man, it's going to be a blast. Great stadium. Going to be fantastic. Too bad you and the boys aren't out here, but we'll try to bring it home to you and make it sound good.
Hey, we appreciate the hell out of you and Fowler. Safe trip here to Atlanta afterwards. Can't wait to watch tonight.
Can't wait, brother. All right, tell the boys, hey, have a good weekend. See you soon. See you tomorrow.
All right, see you.
Hey, baby Kirk.
Love you, Herbie.
Love you, Kirk.
He can't hear you.
Okay. Yeah.
I hung up.
He knows what I mean.
But he'll hear.
He'll watch it back. Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet boys.
The street talk?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about?
You know about street talk, boys?
Yeah.
He's talking about old Uncle Clay coming on. First
Yep.
episode.
Awesome.
Clay
Fastest
coming
growing
on.
show
That
in
whole
America.
thing.
Incredible.
Fastest growing
like-
show in America. Okay.
Well, of course.
Duh.
How long can you have that? Not get into it. I'll get into it. Because a lot of people say that thing, not just street talk. I'm just saying, like, how long is that for, you think? Like, at the beginning of fuck it, never mind. Herbie, great guy.
Great guy.
Love
This-
you, Herbie.
the college football world has been too kind to us. Don't you think, AJ? Like, way too kind to us.
Oh yeah, I believe for myself, for speaking for me, yeah, going to game day set on Fridays and doing some of the watch-alongs, yeah, like it's a joke. People should not
Not all the fans
treat us like
obviously,
they do treat us. Like everyone at ESPN, like we're ragtag operation walking in there, hopefully not trying to upset anybody, and they've all been awesome from the jump. So yeah, I give them a ton of credit.
But Herbie also knows we're live. He watches like every day, all day.
Herbie
You know what I
texts me. Herbie's been texting me for years about stuff being said on the show. I'm like, geez, okay, he'll be watching 2 hours and 15 minutes in back in the day. I'm talking like back in the day.
Yeah.
Herbie would be listening and watching, and he would text me things out of the blue about stuff we were talking about. I'm like, all right, I appreciate you listening and watching, man.
I really do appreciate the hell out of these people. Legit. I appreciate the hell out of these people and everything they've done. And Herbie, what a talent. He has been mad all week, though.
Yes. What's going on? Is like, are we getting to like a boiling point where he just gonna freak out?
He doesn't
Public
want.
freak
He
out?
doesn't want to see Florida State.
It's the last 4-team playoff. No one wants to see Florida State. Like, that's just the reality of the situation.
It's not their fault.
It isn't their fault.
They deserve. They've earned.
You're
that
only saying this,
right.
O'Con, because the quarterback got hurt,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. If Jordan Travis was still playing, hell yeah, put
Yeah,
him in. They
agreed.
win the ACC for sure. But it's just a different situation now than it was 3 weeks ago.
All right. Hey, listen, that's how you feel. I think that's how Herbie's felt. We haven't heard him exactly say what his Final Four is, though.
True.
And,
True.
You know, he's just been making the plea like, let's make sure we're looking at who the best teams are as opposed to
Sure.
the most deserving. But that has been his message. He's been the last week or so. He's called what, like 45 games this year already? I mean, he's powering.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's
12 this
powering
weekend
through some
alone,
stuff.
feels like.
Legit.
Yeah. So we're happy. We're lucky. Great to hear from him. Let's dive back in and finish
do it.
these picks before they kick us off this field.
I have the Titans at home against your
Oh.
Colts, Pat. 1 point. Give me that 1 point. I like that. I'll take it all day long. Carolina Panthers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Man, what's going on with either team here? 5-point dogs. Carolina is in Tampa Bay, Pat. Who you taking?
So is this Tabor's first?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the first
Yep,
one.
It checks out 100%.
Didn't we just,
Oh, yeah.
literally, I just.
Yeah, with Pierce.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, give me the Panthers.
Okay.
Give me the Panthers just because that's how it goes.
What it Diggs? What is the stat?
100%. Interim coach game. First game that they coach is 100% wins every single time.
So I like to always talk about how that has no impact on this game, and you got to. But you know what? For this, I'm taking it. Give me that. Give me the Panthers.
100%.
Yeah, I feel like this is a weird thing to happen. So yeah, let's try to keep it 100%. I don't know if it will or not.
And the Bucks just went to Indy, and teams that just played in Indy 0-1,000 after you just come from the Loud House.
Really?
Yeah, bingo. Thank you. All these stats seem very real. too.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
It's Friday.
They're just too beat up after you
Yeah.
you play the Colts. You're
Yep.
just it's black and blue all week. You're just
Eardrums
struggling.
ruptured.
Yep.
Man, okay, I get it. I understand that.
And they had to take Adam Vinatieri hitting that anvil.
Yeah.
And
True.
that sent actual shakes
Yeah, it did.
through the entire stadium.
Picked up on the
bottom of
Richter
their
scale.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bottom of their feet might have been vibrated a little bit.
That guy is absolutely jocked, and it was awesome
Jocked.
to watch him annihilate that anvil and just.
Strap.
I was looking for him to throw that thing in the crowd, or throw it all the way down to you.
Catch.
And one of your box on the field, Pat. San Francisco. This is the game. Here we go. San Fran, Philly. San Fran 3-point favorites on the road in Philly.
Yup. I've been talking about it all week. We're very lucky that this game's happening. Shout out to the NFL getting this
good
one
work.
right at this particular time. This is a huge game. This is beautiful. These are two very good football teams that are going to be around late in December, obviously, and then into January, and maybe even February.
Wow.
Okay, maybe even February for both of these teams. There's a chance that they can make it, which is why we are so incredibly lucky that it's taking place. I've been saying it all week, and I'm going to stick with it now. I love the Johns, okay? I love Jason. I'm a big fan of Jalen. And I didn't even know he was a sex symbol until like 3 days ago.
Yep.
And he's got haters because of how attractive he is. So, that makes me like him even more. This guy's life is just filled with a bunch of hate because of how great he seemingly handles everything that he does. I think Sirianni's hilarious. I think he's an incredibly smart football coach, and I think he's funny. He's the type of coach that I would want to play for. He's the type of coach that I pull for. That team's just not at the spot that they can be at yet this season. They have less losses than the San Francisco 49ers. But I think this particular loss from the Niners later in the season, we're going to look back on and be like, you remember when they were kind of stumbling around winning games and the Niners did a thing and then that kind of projected them into this playoff run? I think that's the story that comes out of this weekend. And I think the Niners are playing how they were playing at the end of last year before that NFC Championship game. And if you recall what that was a buzzsaw. And that's what I think this Niners team is. It didn't matter if it was on the road in Seattle that I got to see with my own eyes, or if it was potentially any other team that they were playing against. So give me the Niners just because where they're at right now versus where the Eagles are at. And I think it's going to be a beautiful game to watch, 425.
Yeah, this would be a fun game to watch on TV. This is one of those games where I would absolutely love to be there, be in the stadium, and feel like the pregame atmosphere, especially with all the animosity between these teams and the talk back and forth. I love everything about it, but I'm with you, Pat. I like the Niners -3 on the road. I just think, I mean, what if you're Philly's offense and you just look across and you see like everybody on San Francisco's defense, like everybody.
Yeah, but you know what they're thinking.
Yeah, you have that on both
They're
sides. That's why it's such a good game. You have that for every player on the field can think that every single play. Are you kidding? We're playing all Pro Bowlers, like all stud. Like everyone out here is a stud, and they're huge physical freaks that have made plays. It seems like great mixture too. Vets, young guys. I love it. But give me San Fran -3.
And the styles are similar, so it's like it's going to be a good football game. What's
So
the over-under
pumped.
there?
Yeah, what is the over? What does it say?
47.5. I would take the under on that one as well if we're just kind of throwing out more bets, I think.
Under?
Yeah.
I don't know. One of these defenses is going to have to score. Someone's getting a pick six. Someone's going to strip sack, pick it up, score. I don't know which one, though.
Big game, tension game. This is a big tension game.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
This is a
it
big, we don't want to be the... Personally, I just think the under happens because I think it's going to be a great football game. I'm very, very pumped for that one.
I think either way, whatever happens in this game, it's going to be tough to not overreact to the outcome of whether whoever wins or loses. They're going to want to crown the winner as Super Bowl champs, and the loser go, we told you they were no good. They knew it was just a matter of time.
When the lights
Looks sweet.
go down in Atlanta. They're setting something up. Something's going down out here.
Who's performing?
Mercedes.
Do you know who's performing tomorrow?
National anthem.
I think 2 Chainz, Ludacris, Jeezy, Outkast, Zach Brown.
Zach Brown.
I think everybody that claims Georgia is going to be here tomorrow singing
Hogan?
music and songs.
Smart.
Hulk Hogan plays the bass.
Maybe.
From Georgia.
Hulk Hogan from Georgia claims Florida, though.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Is Andre
Tampa.
3000 doing his new Pan Flute album?
I do believe there will be a 3 Stacks fiddle
Nice.
being played out here at some point. And remember, the devil went down here looking for a soul steal.
That's right.
True.
Tomorrow, devil's going to have the eyes out for a fiddle. I think there's going to be a couple around.
Oh, nice. What's the next game we have here? Okay, speaking of tight games, Browns, Rams. Browns going on the road to L.A. Browns are 3.5-point dogs on the road. Do we know, is Joe Flacco starting or not for the Browns?
I believe so because DTR didn't practice yesterday either.
Yeah, still in concussion protocol.
Is this a Lombo game, Pat?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Lombo likes Cleveland +3.5, and I will join them. Give me the Cleveland Browns. Myles Garrett in L.A. Going to want to put on a show, I think.
Yep.
I like the Browns +3.5. Maybe the Rams win. We like Matthew Stafford. Love him. Love the guy. But give me the Browns +3.5.
Yeah, Myles Garrett on that SoFi, nice, tight turf they have, too, man. That dude is going to be flying out of his stance, man. Move him all around the place. Line him up in the center one play. Oh, I'm rushing the edge the next. Give me the Browns. So the Browns are minus or plus?
+3.5.
They're dogs, I guess. Obviously, the quarterback situation plays a big part of that. I'll take the Browns as well as we move on to Kansas City taking on Green Bay Sunday night. This game's going to be sweet, man, especially with how Green Bay has looked as of late. Let's see if they can continue that. I think it's going to be – this is like one of those games, huh, Ty? Like, either the Packers, here we go, we have a chance, or mail it in. That's what – I'm not saying that, but I think that will be the reaction from other people.
No, for sure. I think they've won 4 in a row. They're starting to look good. They're obviously much healthier now than they were last week. Kind of like a mini bye, playing on Thanksgiving. But we'll see, because it looks like the Chiefs did kind of wake up a little bit in the second half against the Raiders. But I don't
December.
know.
It's December, though. Chiefs know, hey, this is what matters.
For sure,
Right,
and this is supposed to be when A.J. Dillon, you do not want to tackle that guy once it gets cold. So hopefully that happens. I just got a sneaking suspicion that the Packers might win this game.
Whoa.
I do.
Oh, I like that. I like that the vibes are high with the Packers. Hell yeah. I mean, it's been quite a roller coaster here in this transition year into the Jordan Love era. I think they're after. Don't get me wrong here, Ty. Kansas City Chiefs, obviously difficult opponent, Super Bowl champions, but you guys have a pretty good stretch coming up, right?
Yeah, after this one, I think they got the Giants, Carolina, the Bears again, the Vikings, and Tampa Bay. That's how they end the season.
Yeah, so there's like a very good future road for this Packers team. If they were able to steal a win here.
For sure.
If they were able to steal a win here, that would be absurd. I don't think they do. I think, to your point, December football and a lot of chatter about Chiefs team, and are they not, and who are the weapons. This feels like a Patrick Mahomes game where he's dancing on the field. That's what this one, in my eyes, personally feels that way. I could be wrong. Obviously, I've been wrong about a lot of things in my life. But give me the Chiefs -6. Travis Kelce is going to be back to, they ran some exotics to get Travis Kelce open
Couple exotics.
last week.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated, because normally it's like, hey, Travis, get open. And it's like, well, what if he can't? Because there's 6 eyes on him on a play. It's like, let's go ahead and design some stuff to get him open. Let's design some stuff to get him into the game because he is an absolute weapon. I appreciate the trickery to him. I appreciate that they're finding ways to find him. And once he and Patrick get back to where everybody expects them to be able to play, this Chiefs team is right back into the conversation of continuing the dynasty again. And Sunday Night Football feels like a time where Patrick Mahomes would do that.
For sure.
Personally.
It does.
So give me the Chiefs.
Sunday Night Football, especially in Lambeau, this setting, December football already, this is when it truly matters. This is when the teams like the Chiefs kind of, put their foot on the gas pedal and realize, hey, this is what we're built for. But 6 points, I feel like, is a lot. I'm taking Green Bay +6. I think if the Chiefs win, I think it'll be maybe by a little field goal or something. So maybe the Packers can find a way. What's happening?
Do we know if there's going to be any?
I do know her South America tour has wrapped up. I do know that.
Okay. I'm saying, is Brittany and Tay, are they doing any of their handshakes on Sunday night?
It's a good question.
Good question.
That's a different ball game.
In Lambeau, they better respect the game, okay?
Well, they'll be up in a box.
Yeah, Taylor, who is falling in love with football.
She is.
Okay. I'm sure she's been flooded with NFL films and Steve Sable talking about Lambeau.
I hope so.
You know what I mean? I feel like she wants to experience NFL. I think.
Is this where the parents finally meet, or did the parents already meet?
They have not met.
Because think of what better place than Lambeau Field in a nice box like that. Place is pristine, Pat. You've called a game there. Like, it is very nice, especially on that club suite level. Man, this might be
Curly Lambeau. Curly Lambeau knew what he was
disrespect.
doing.
Oh, he did.
Allegedly, they are postponing the meet until the holidays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smart.
The holidays are. Sorry.
What holiday?
Oh, you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Christmas holiday.
They're opening presents together Christmas morning, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Grammys,
The parents are, yeah.
What state?
Like Home Alone in New York City.
I like that. You think Travis is going to sing? You think they sing in the morning?
Wait, what do you
Probably
sing?
should. No, they're going to go caroling.
What do you sing on Christmas?
Yeah.
Anything?
Carols.
There's Christmas songs.
Do you just sit around like the breakfast table and sing?
Yeah.
Well, no, they go caroling.
They're going
Yeah.
caroling, you asswipe.
Okay, good. I doubt they'll get any attention.
Rocking around the Christmas tree.
Anyone here been caroling?
Rocking
Yeah.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Nope.
Every year.
It wouldn't shock me, Tony, if you do go caroling.
Yeah, every year I go with the United Way.
There's kids behind me.
Oh, yeah.
On the field.
Those Brady's
Maybe
kids?
Don't say the fuck word.
Yeah, what is going on?
You guys are doing great, kids.
They're
Go
setting
to
the
school.
field up or what?
Yeah, what it?
Yeah, we got to make fun. You made your pick. You got the Packers?
Yeah, that was our last game, right?
Yep. Sunday Night Football.
It was.
What a good one.
We also got the last DoorDash L wrap in. That was good. Good work, Foxy.
So now what's on the docket? Do they have you? Are you going to go like wrestle some animals or do anything cool, like film some cool segment?
It's championship weekend. AJ. Okay.
Don't need
I'm
gimmicks.
going to study film on these boys that are going to be playing for championships and playing for rings and playing for reunions, maybe 10 years from now. This Miami, Ohio team, they win the MAC championship, 2033. Guess who's coming back?
Who's that?
All of them.
this Miami of Ohio football team. The boys want to have celebrations for the rest of their lives at all of these schools. The boys love the locker room, and they want 10 years from now, 15, 20, 25 years maybe even. Who knows where they're at. They want to be able to come back, have reunions, and say, you remember when we won that Big 12 championship against Texas? You remember when we won the MAC championship against Toledo? You remember when we did the unthinkable and we beat Michigan when we were 22-point underdogs in Indianapolis? That's what's possible this weekend. That's what guys are playing for.
Pumped.
So tonight, I'm not riding the animals. Okay, this ain't Montana State.
No.
I'm not going to I'm not going to rodeo.
No, it's championship weekend.
Okay, I'm not doing that. This is championship week. I'm watching film.
That's right.
I got guys to break down. I got a playoff committee to talk to tomorrow morning on game day and give some thoughts and takes. And it's the weather's so terrible. I don't think anybody's doing anything.
Yeah,
if
sir.
there was opportunity
Two
to ride an animal, I would probably.
Hey, is that toilet still clogged from last year when we were in that stadium?
Oh, I would assume so.
Fox.
I would assume so.
Definitely.
It's a fair question.
The guy said it was splattered all over the walls.
The TiVo toilet?
Whoa.
Whoa.
He said it was explosive. I didn't say TiVo.
I didn't say anything.
Definitely not Timmy.
That guy's in the college football
Timmy's
Hall of
dunks
Fame.
are solid. He's not squirting.
This is disgusting.
That's the problem. His dunks are too solid.
Well, yeah, the pipe's not solid enough,
Exactly. Thing was the
especially
size
for
of
that type of thing.
a goddamn nuclear warhead.
That's right. You think this 2-foot sandwich here is big?
Those kids are so
You think
slow.
this is big? Huh?
Yeah.
You think this is?
That ain't nothing.
You think this is big?
That
These
bread.
pipes ain't. Yeah, that's
You're saying there was something in the toilet bigger than that last year?
Yeah. Double the size.
That's what we were told. All right, that's what we were told. This is Journalism Sports Network. That's what we were told.
That's what we were told.
Well, it might be
Twice as wide.
It might have
too.
been the aliens, honestly.
No.
Well, he might be one.
Yeah.
Hey, let us know how it goes off camera with Artie Smith about alien talk. He said he would engage.
He's gone. Yeah, he's gone. He's out of here. He's watching film too.
Going to MetLife.
Strapping lad.
He's a big son of a bitch.
6'4", 6'5".
6'5".
Like guard.
Like, is Shams that way? Is Shams 6'5"?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Shams is
No.
If you had to guess Shams' height, AJ, what do you say?
6'3".
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
I think he's 5'10".
Oh,
We don't know.
That's great.
I have seen him shoot a
There's
basketball.
not an insider on Earth taller than 5'8".
I don't know.
5'6".
Well, I thought
5'8".
Pelissero might be a little.
He
taller.
plays the guitar, so that he stands on his guitar.
What about Jordo Schultz? He played basketball.
Jordan's like 6'1", isn't he?
He's like 6'6".
I said an insider.
Yeah, he's analyst, friend, source.
Well, he's Bleacher Report's insider, right?
He's on his way.
Has he broken anything lately?
Tons.
Schultz Report's always on fire.
He's got that signed Ichiro baseball glove. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got the drop on the Ohtani news.
Schultz, need the news. Need the news.
Now.
I guess there's here's an announcement. Speaking of very tall people. Next week, from the winter meetings, we will have the Jet Passon. on the program.
Okay, Jet.
It's been a long time.
Gas it up.
Very tall people on the program.
Insider.
Jet Passon coming on next week to talk a little baseball. I assume the only thing I will know to ask about will be where the hell's Ohtani going and why is he going to Pittsburgh. Now, I did read, Connor, did read that Shohei Ohtani said that he would hold it against programs and organizations if his free agency experience was made public.
Yes.
So that being said, I would like to say we have friends very close to the Boston Red Sox, and they said that Shohei had a great visit up there. They said that Shohei saw the entire town.
Oh, yeah.
They said that people loved him. Shohei was there for 17 hours. He took BP there, too, to showcase to him that everything was good. So the Boston Red Sox are telling everybody about everything that Shohei was doing. Ain't that right, Con Man?
Yeah, that is right. There's also a couple billboards, I believe, in Boston. However, I do believe the Red Sox consulted Yoshida Masataka, one of Shohei Ohtani's good friends from the Japanese baseball team that won the World Baseball Classic. So although he did say that, I also do believe that there was some inside info the Red Sox had, but it was also reported that the final three teams are Dodgers, Cubs, and
Reds.
Not the Reds.
No.
Yeah.
Blue Jays.
Oh, I
Blue
thought
Jays.
so I don't have to ruin. I don't have to ruin the Red Sox.
No.
No, they are already out, apparently.
Yeah, Morency
Oh,
broke
okay.
that yesterday.
Speaking of insiders.
I can't tell if that was serious or
No,
not.
it really was.
What do you mean? He broke baseball news about Shohei
Yeah, he said,
Ohtani?
down to the Blue Jays. Blue Jays and Angels. Dodgers, maybe.
ETC.
You have to understand the Rogers Network owns the Blue Jays. They make $15 billion a year. They can pay this guy etc.
Sports Ridge.
He's gonna be in Vegas for a Super Bowl.
Already
Can't
is.
wait. He's our last guest on Friday. That's how it goes.
He's in there now waiting.
Tradition.
We're running out of juice a little bit. You know who you need to bring in?
Yeah.
Gabe Morency with his sunglasses.
And that jacket, yeah.
That jacket. Evil Knievel.
Uh-huh.
Evil Knievel. Well, Pat,
All right, they're
let's
kicking
wrap
me
this
out of
sucker
here.
up.
Are they-
Yeah,
are
you
they
got to
good?
get out of there, don't you? But before that drone takes your head off. He was buzzing the tower when you and Artie were there. I think he was peacocking a bit.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't like it, but there's really nothing I could do. That thing's fast.
I was going to see if you could play possum and sit there, like act like you're dead, and then he'd get close enough, and then you just turn and boom, blast that sucker right out of the sky.
That'd be sweet.
There's children right here waving at me right now.
Don't worry, they're slow. I saw them running. They're super
Yeah, Diggs
slow.
already told you those kids are so
Don't be
slow.
judging those kids. Don't be. These are good kids.
Dude, they're so
Come on.
slow.
It's about perspective.
These are
We
good
can't
boys.
tell.
Good boys, sweet boys.
Well,
These are
you
good
never know.
boys.
You never know.
These are really good boys there. So, yeah, I'm going to get out of the, I don't know what family thing's going on that I'm ruining right now, but it's certainly time for me to get out of here. AJ, great job over. Hey, AJ, you make that football into the hoop looking out to the court to your right.
That one?
Yeah, 25 people,
Hawker.
$500 on this Feel Good Friday. AJ Hawk with a baby dude.
Ooh, close.
That's the right shot, though. High right.
Another one.
20 people, $500 if AJ Hawk and drink.
Oh, he's trying to go right at it.
Straight line.
I like that.
Didn't
Guys,
Chuck
pinpoint
drink right in?
actors.
Was that Chuck yesterday?
You're good.
Yeah,
you're good.
I mean, there's been a couple of us that have done that. The bank seems to be the best option, though. 25 people, $500. If AJ Hawk
right
would
in
do,
again.
Oh, man.
You need
Ooh.
to dry
There's another one
lick,
over there.
lick your fingers like Drew Brees.
Baby Lord.
You son of a bitch.
You!
This guy.
It's like Jenga. You drop one.
This guy.
Jenga. You drop one thing here.
Pat does it every day.
Ah.
He takes balls off there every day and doesn't drop anything.
What?
Pick it up.
Pick it up. Pick Lordo
Pick
up.
what up?
Baby
Lordo.
Lordo. Baby Lordo.
All right. Jesus.
Can we throw it?
Hockey was so awesome last night.
Throw it?
No.
Throw it.
I'm gonna throw it.
I mean, I have one. I got one at Walgreens
Do you
too,
want your
pal.
teeth kicked in?
Okay, well, you're right.
Louise, what was that, dude? What was that all about?
I've been drinking out of this thing today. That's maybe my problem. See my satin? See this?
Keep the plastic wrapping on the.
Oh yeah, we're still.
You knew he was going to walk in and see that thing and automatically.
Yeah.
Just
Thank you
drank
for
like
being so-
62 ounces in that one sip. Jeez, this thing is a volcano.
I don't know if we're selling those.
Hear that?
I think those are. I think they are just like. I don't know if we are actually. I have no idea. But Yeti sent like 100 of those.
So this thing's
There's
like
a lot of-
what, $1,200 probably then if it's Yeti?
I have no idea. I do know
Probably.
it's a.
You buy a little
A lot of
Yeti
liquor.
cooler. It's this by this. It's amazing. It'll keep stuff cold for 6 years, but yeah, it'll cost you $14,000 probably.
All right, you guys have a good one, bro. Enjoy the hell of the weekend. Ty, I'll see you tomorrow night. I think, huh, pal?
Hell yeah, brother. Looking forward to it. Very excited.
Awesome.
What
All
if the
right.
Iowa Hawkeyes do it?
Final prediction.
It's possible.
Iowa wins.
Derek?
15-13.
Love it.
Wow, what an elbow!
What a shootout.
Wow.
What a shootout.
Is that five? Is that 5 field goals?
That's a touchdown, a field goal, another field goal, and a safety.
Boom.
Boom. Drink it in,
See you
Wolverine
there.
fans.
They can score in so many different ways.
Again.
Thank you for Torrey Taylor getting on the board.
That's
in the
right.
Championship.
That's right.
You know, maybe Iowa deserves to be in the whole thing because if you look back on that punt return touchdown that should have happened, that's not a loss.
No.
Wipe that off the board.
They won that game.
Yeah, I assumed if they won, they're right in. They're definitely in the college football playoff because, hey, we beat Michigan. They're undefeated, right?
Right? I mean, you tell me.
Oh, you
Football math.
Hey, you can laugh and giggle. What's Ohio State doing this weekend, Jackass?
Hanging out, watching the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Exactly.
Fair play. You're right.
Exactly.
Hey, you beat us. You can do whatever you want. Like I said, you can plant the flag, whatever you need. I'm a fan. I want to see what happens.
Is that why you're being a horse's ass and making these snide remarks and jokes?
I have not. First off, I actually give Iowa a chance. You listen to like Kirk.
Oh, do you?
Kirk, other people, you guys
Okay.
mention Iowa, you hear them instantly laugh, shake their head. That's not my initial reaction.
Well, yeah, because
I know the power of the Hawkeyes.
You couldn't beat Iowa, so you understand what's going on.
You're right. Well, you definitely could and did, but didn't always beat Iowa. But not every time. You're right, though.
definitely could and did.
Yes.
So if we are keeping score, which they did on a couple of those things.
Those are some good Iowa football teams, though. Tough dudes out there. With that being said, Pat, we're going to wrap this sucker up. Hopefully you can get out of the way so those kids don't take your head off. They don't mess you up. But you will be back here next week, obviously, hosting. I don't know. I don't want to give up anything. I don't know what's happening.
You just thought to yourself as you were talking.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. I know nothing's been said. I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
Next week there's
We're doing a show.
Beyond the show.
We're doing a show
next
5 days next week.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Overreaction be live from New York.
Okay.
Monday's going to be live from New York. Overreaction Monday's going to be live from New York. And then there's a chance next Friday we're in Foxborough.
Here we go.
Look at that. Okay.
So next week could be a pretty busy week for the program. And excited about that.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome. That being said, guys, boys, appreciate you. Everyone behind the glass, appreciate you guys. Great being here. Love when I can come in here on Fridays every once in a while. Monday, tune into the show. It will be somewhere as New York, as Pat said. Friday, we will be in Foxborough, most likely. Army Navy.
Potentially.
Yeah. We don't know.
That's a big potentially.
It's a rumor we read on the internet. We don't know for sure yet if that's
No, it's
real
not a
or
rumor. There's
some red tape.
TBD.
TBD.
Well
Former
said.
Navy next
We
year.
never know. We never know what's going to happen. But either way, the show will be going on 5 times next week, bringing the same juice as always. Can't wait to see you guys. We'll see you on Monday.